Dahn.
Let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Feel Good Friday, Christmas Eve, December 23rd, 2022. This sports show starts right now.
Football!
It is great to be here. We didn't know if we were going to be able to be live today because of the storm Elliott. That crashed through the northern part of the United States of America last night and happening today. I will say that the calls for the world to have to stop because of Storm Elliott were greatly exaggerated, I do believe, although there is snow on the ground here in Indiana, and it is cold as the dickens.
Yeah, real chilly.
It is -9 before the wind chill, before the feel like. It is -9 actual temperature. It's chilly out there. It is breezy out there, but it certainly was nowhere near as bad as like a snowstorm.
No.
It was
No
nowhere
blizzard.
near as bad as like a sleet storm. I think they thought that maybe that the cold weather that has arrived, and it certainly has across the country. I put out a bird call tweet this morning, a roll call tweet. I said, hey, how's the weather where yins are? It's -9 here in Indiana. I seen -40 over there in Montana.
Wild.
I seen -20 over there in other parts of the Midwest. There was people sending me photos of -15, -30, -20.
What?
0 was almost like a heat wave for some parts of the country today. So I understand that the cold is certainly something to worry about. And I do believe we had a pipe, I think, bust.
Yeah, we got a leak.
I think we have water dropping from the roof right now onto our gym floor. And obviously we just bought this place and spent millions and millions of dollars to build it. But yeah, I mean, the tech didn't work there for a while. We got that figured out, I think. There'll be some things that happen every once in a while, like a light popping on, popping off, even when it has no power. Why is it a strobe light? We don't know. We're not light experts.
No.
1 minute before we went live, we were sitting on this stage and we heard the boop, and it's like, what is that sound? Is that a clock going? And then somebody who has been a homeowner of an old-ass home in the past that has seen a roof maybe give in when there's a little bit of moisture above it. It's like, oh, we have a leak. Something is falling. Yeah. And me and Connor look like Inspector Gadget. Started walking. That's a good one. Started walking around, and we zoned in. Boom, right there. Steady stream just dropping down. Quick thinking, need a garbage can to catch the water. Let's do that. Quick thinking, the top of the lid is going to come back down because of the way it's operated. Connor sacrificed a pair of his sunglasses.
That's right.
Shoved them into the middle of the trash can so we can collect the water. I assume this is going to be a much bigger problem going forward than just drops onto our gym floor. But now is not the time to worry about that. We hope you all left at least a sink dripping so you didn't have the problem. We did. We tried to get ahead of this. We do not know why this is taking place, but nonetheless, we are live on this Feel Good Friday, December 23rd, Christmas Eve, middle of Hanukkah. I still believe Eve is happening, and we hope everybody is having a fantastic time. I think everybody's off, I think, for Christmas.
I believe so, if the weather.
Out here, a lot of businesses were canceling, and across the ticker, it used to be, when we were growing up, like school districts that are like 2 hour delay or canceled. Here in Indiana, I don't know if this is normal. It was just like businesses popping up on there. Closed, 2 hour delay. This business is closed. Business is closed. I'm like, this is very smart. And then all those businesses, most of them this morning, this is it. We're open. We're open. So I think it was maybe a little bit exaggerated on what was potentially going to happen with the freezing cold Jack Frost from Mother Nature. Still a little dangerous out there. Saw cars spun out, but this isn't as bad as it could have been, and we're thankful for that, and we hope everybody has an incredible holiday season. Now, moving on. That's going to be a real problem.
Yeah, it is.
They're going to get repiped. We're going to have to do this is going to be a full thing.
Yeah, you can see kind of the massive little almost hole forming right on the other side of that Thunderdome logo.
So Tim McAfee just checked the blueprint of the building. There's no water pipes up there, so that means the ceiling then is just giving in, right? That would be there's a crack in the ceiling.
So maybe was that snow got into the air intake pipe,
But there isn't that much snow. So if that little amount of snow got into there, even more, we're fucked for the future.
Yeah, that's a terrible problem.
So that is an indicator that we have a lot more problems coming. And I am 35 years old, and I have lived a very dumb life. I became a homeowner when I was 23.
Hell yeah.
And just kind of had to start handling all that type of stuff, which I think is normal. I guess 23 is kind of normal. A lot of people rent. I shouldn't have purchased. I did. And I've lived in some houses that have been worn just because they're so big. I'm like, oh, give me that house. And
yeah.
Like, why is this house so cheap with how big it is? And then you get in there and it's like, oh, nobody has changed the shingles on the roof for 30 years.
Your old house.
Exactly. Had to move out because there was black mold down in a particular part of it. So
they re-shingled ours, though, right? I remember that.
This building?
Yeah.
Yeah, we paid for it.
A great job they did.
Huh? Because
Seems like they missed one spot.
Yeah, because I had learned, from previous situation, it was like before us moving in there and having to deal with the whole problem, let's do a little prehab to this place to kind of get ready for it.
They even put the liner above it, right? Isn't there a liner that goes above our shingles too? Like something weird?
No, we have that gray. What's that like?
Like paint, insulated,
vinyl. We have vinyl.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We have vinyl over top of it, so it's like we have double layer up there. We thought. So it turns out Winter Storm Elliott is a little bit of a son of a bitch. He's a cheeky thing.
Yeah.
Was able to get into the Thunderdome, but that is not for us to worry about right now.
No.
We would definitely have to worry about that going forward, though. I assume it's going to be a nightmare to deal with. Hopefully, we'll be able to do that after the Super Bowl. Nonetheless, speaking of the Super Bowl, big win last night for the Jacksonville.
Yeah, here we go, Jags.
We knew the weather was going to be crazy. It did. The rain did come, and it came in bunches. There were shots last night on Amazon of them shooting the lights and then the rain falling in between it, where it was coming down, and there was a lot of wind blowing all around. And I thought we were maybe bamboozled. I thought the over was going to hit. It did not. The under was just fine. When Strafolsky got in, I thought there was a chance that the Grey Cup champion, the man who was shirtless in a parade in temperatures like today, chugging beers with a wool coat on in Canada celebrating a Grey Cup victory, was going to come in and fuck it all up. I thought he was going to maybe rattle off 3, 4, 5 touchdowns with the New York Jets. With the way that crowd reacted as soon as he stepped on the field and Zach Wilson was benched, I thought we were about to witness a Strafolsky magical Jet moment. And we did. We saw some great plays.
Yeah.
A lot of people were mocking his throw to Uzama for a first down, saying he was way behind, way slow. It was a first down. It was his 5th read. What do you want from old Strevler? It's cold as hell. It's windy out there. Wide open, probably could have scored a touchdown, but nonetheless, the wind was crazy. We saw it all night.
Yeah.
He brought a juice. He had a big-time completion to Garrett Wilson for a first down later in the game. Ran a couple options, ran a couple zones. Certainly ignited the Jets a little bit, but it was not enough to beat the Trevor Lawrence, Doug Peterson led Jacksonville Jaguars. Whenever you think about this Trevor Lawrence character, we have to talk about his whole entire story whenever we're going to give him flowers, because there was times where people thought he was not going to get any flowers ever in the NFL. There was times where people, the conversation this morning, seen it on a couple different shows. Ryan Clark, who we have respect for, his football brain.
Absolutely.
Biggest bust in NFL history. Ryan Leaf, Jamarcus Russell, Zach Wilson.
Oh, no.
That's what Ryan Clark just said on this Feel Good Friday, December 23rd. Now, that isn't exactly the most holly, jolly take. Okay? It's not the most holiday season take, but it is a pretty real one.
Yeah.
After watching Zach Wilson last night get booed out of the stadium, and then watching the Jets teammates all rally around somebody that is brand new to their team in Strafolsky, and then the Mike fucking White chants and everything that has taken place over there, we can assume the Zach Wilson days are gone. We thought there was a chance that was going to happen with Trevor Lawrence as well.
Sure.
We thought the number 1 pick and the number 2 pick of last year's draft were potentially going to be busts. Trevor Lawrence goes into the Urban Meyer-led Jacksonville Jaguars. Urban Meyer, obviously, very successful college football coach. Very successful.
Wins everywhere.
Nobody can doubt that. Utah, Florida, Ohio State. Win. Now, scandal, leave.
Sure.
Scandal, leave.
That happened.
Scandal, leave, win, though. That's all Urban Meyer has done. So the thought of him maybe winning in the NFL was expected, I think, by some people, certainly the Khan family that owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. It all went a different direction, didn't it? It went down the toilet, both the regular flush way, and then if you go to Australia, flushing the other way.
That's right.
It went down this way and down that way in the toilet in Jacksonville. And we just thought Trevor Lawrence was going to be another great quarterback, lost to the cause of the fuckery that is the NFL. Not given an actual opportunity to be great, maybe not even that great, maybe overhyped, maybe in the men's league couldn't do it. Then these last 7-8 games here,
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence with Doug Peterson, he has been spectacular to watch. He's large, he's athletic, and he's a tough son bitch.
Yeah.
The Toxic Tables here at Boston Connor, at PMI Mitt sitting in for
yeah,
Todd
Mitt.
Schmidt. That'd
Hey,
be
Mitt,
Mitt.
yeah.
One
Hey, Mitt.
half of the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboys, Tone Diggs. And a man that's joining us for the first hour here, live from Manhattan, Ohio, actually has a similar jawline and hair as Trevor Lawrence. Can't wait to get his take. Ladies and gentlemen, college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup champion, COVID survivor, AJ Hawk.
Hey, baby AJ!
AJ, great to see you. Merry Christmas Eve. Thank you for joining us early. Let's continue where I was there. Trevor Lawrence is spectacular. He's a tough son of a bitch, too. That hit he took late from Michael Clemens, rookie out of Texas A&M, who plays on their punt team, and blind. This is This play is a nothing play at the end of the game to secure the win.
Christ.
It's an incompletion. That's a 1995 tackle in the NFL. Trevor Lawrence hopped right the fuck up, jogged right off the field, and then after the game, Trevor Lawrence, Jesus. He got low bridged too. Schoolboyed in that
Smack.
thing. Speared and low bridged. He gets up, and after the game, he shows zero signs of being sore. His jawline is immaculate. This dude's a ball player, AJ. I saw emotion, I saw talent, I see skill, and he's seemingly an incredible leader as well. The boys have rallied behind him. What did you see out of him last night, AJ?
I mean, absolutely what you are saying, but Trevor Lawrence, like, how quickly did he get rid of the ball? Like, he had the ball, like, boom, catch, boom, 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 like everywhere. Like, at times when he needed to with the weather, he found a way to get rid of that ball so fast. Like, it was just I thought the offensive game plan was good with the weather and the elements and everything. And I think he looks in control, man. He looks like, hey, these guys believe me. We have a great offense around me, and let's go win some games. And now they could possibly win their division.
Shout out to Fitzy. They can. 2 more games.
For sure.
2 more games. They got
crazy.
the Titans last week at home will be to win the division if they can handle business next week, which, with the way this Jacksonville team is playing, we're going to assume they are. They go from being Clan-Tan, laughed by their own fans, laughed out of the building by their own fans, to potentially winning the AFC South, sneaking in the playoffs, and being a team that I don't know if they have enough weapons yet. And I seen old buddy tweet.
Darius Slay
tweeted, wait till Calvin Ridley, who's fresh out of a fucking gambling situation, comes back onto that team. He's a dude.
Yeah.
They're gonna be loaded with weapons. This year, I don't think it's realistic for Jags fans to think they're gonna win a Super Bowl.
No.
I mean, maybe crazier things have happened, but I don't think it's realistic to do that. But goddamn, they gotta be thinking 2-3 years from now, with the contracts they have, how long everybody's kind of locked in down there, with the money they will spend because the Khan family will invest. You gotta be fucking pumped down in Duval, AJ Hawk.
I hope they are. I mean, it's been a while since people have had a whole lot of reasons to be excited, I guess, in Jacksonville. What year was that, 2014, that Blake took him?
No, it was 17.
2017, then they blew it up immediately afterwards. Blake gets paid, everybody gets pissed, blow the thing up. Jalen's fighting the coach, Doug Marrone, all the complaints against the 25% of the league's complaints from players about the building came from the Jacksonville building.
Not good.
Then they end up in Clanton situation. First overall pick, couple years in a row. Urban Meyer.
Of course, finger guns.
Now here we are. And I was listening to Trevor Lawrence talk to Fitzmagic after the game on TNF late night.
Of course.
Overnight.
Night show?
Après-vous.
Post-game?
Post-game night
No,
show?
I believe it's late night.
It has a cool name.
Yeah,
it has a different name than everybody else's.
TNF After Dark?
That's like what I'm thinking.
It has the SNL theme, I know, going into it.
Yeah, it has like it's like its own show. The after show is its own show. They were inside because of the rain and the wind.
Yeah.
They did a Christmas gift thing that was fun. I enjoyed it. Nightcap. There it is. So it actually has its own. It's a different show than the pregame show, even though it's the same people. They treat it as a different show. They were chatting with Trevor Lawrence and Fitzmagic, who had that incredible sweater on. Yeah. Everybody else is cold. You know, Gonzalez actually got a Snuggie from the Amazon production people for Christmas.
I thought he had a sweatsuit on.
Did you see him?
They got him a Snuggie
makes sense.
in this after dark nightcap show or whatever. What's that?
Did you see Fitzy with just chilling on set, solving a Rubik's Cube?
So was that during nightcap or no?
I think it was earlier.
So during nightcap, he actually gave a gift to Richard Sherman of Rubik's Cube portrait that was put together of him and Richard Sherman as stepbrothers pose.
That's awesome.
Like this or whatever. Good show. I literally watched, the first time I ever watched the entire show, I don't know if it's always that entertaining. Pretty entertained. I was pretty entertained while I was watching it last night. Fitzmagic was talking to Trevor Lawrence, and Fitzmagic made a couple comments. He was like, it was very apparent that the person that was calling plays for you has played in a rain game before. So Fitz was like, as quarterback to quarterback, it feels like that was something I picked up. I'm like, I didn't even think about feeling as if the play caller has no idea what you're going through. If you're a quarterback and the play caller's making plays and you're like, man, I can't fucking do that. Yeah. Obviously that has happened in the past for Fitz and probably other quarterbacks. So that was a fun little thing. And then he talked about what Peterson has done. And he said basically just adding tools into his toolbox so he has answers when people do stuff is what Doug Peterson has done. The checks out of plays and other plays, him having all the answers, Trevor Lawrence talked about. I have all the answers now, and Doug Peterson has allowed me to have all the answers and allowed me to make checks and change to another play and help me out. Him talking about what him and Doug's relationship was on that TNF nightcap was, hey, it's like, they are... That feels like a team that's going in the right direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that feels like a relationship that's only going to grow and get better with time. And they're both like, Doug's going to understand as time goes what Trevor does best, what I can do, where I should put him, what I can ask him to do. And Trevor's going to also know what Doug may be calling in certain situations too, and they can kind of be on the same page.
Yeah, the whys.
Yep.
I think that's a massive deal. And you had to call plays for a defense, obviously, as middle linebacker. And I know it's not as in-depth as offense. Because
I had to repeat plays. I just had to repeat plays. You don't have to call them. If you have the speaker, you're just regurgitating what the coach is giving you.
Well, that's what quarterbacks are doing too. I mean, I guess we can dumb down everything that everybody does. Okay, yeah, this person's repeating.
I mean, no, not calling plays. The coordinator is calling the defense. I'm just relaying what he's calling.
Okay, got it. So anytime we say the quarterback's calling plays in the huddle, we should say relaying plays in the huddle that's being sent in, unless they are a quarterback that's calling their own plays. Got it. Anyways, you trying to defer credit. Got it. Yeah. Okay, anyways, you were the person who is relaying a message from somebody much smarter at football than you, much better at football than you, to everybody else, okay? But I think you understanding the whys of something's getting called is a big deal, even on the defensive side of the ball, because if somebody on the field, if you say something, they say what? You go, hey, we're going cover 2 right now, let them eat, whatever. Like, they just like one of those quick little, like, clarifiers for everybody else on the team is a big deal. I think the why and knowing the why is a big deal, and I think Trevor has that with Doug. I think that's good. It's
huge.
Yeah.
Isn't that how you learn? Like, that's how I learn, at least. I know everyone learns differently, but if I know why we're doing something, you can retain it and you can understand, okay, even if I disagree with it, well, I think this is stupid. I disagree with how we're playing this, but I do see where coach is coming from. I think we're wrong, but I understand, so I can do this and understand why I'm doing it.
And on the defensive side, just a quick, and I didn't play, I'm not the all-time leading tackler for the Packers, so I hate when other shows do this. Should have AJ do this, but I'm going to say it, and if I'm wrong, you let me know. But if the D coordinator is deciding, hey, we're bend but don't break right now, like we are, and you're in the other teams like 25 or 30, and you're calling something safe, there's going to be guys on the field that are like, hey, why aren't we, hey, we need to go. And it's like, we're letting them get yards right now, and then we're going to tighten up in the red zone. Like that is something that happens on the defensive side of the ball, right? I assume that takes place.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't. It's not usually like talked about a whole. Okay, guys, we know. Like you just know going into the game, hey, they're going to get their yards, guys. But when it matters, we need to bow up and we need to keep them out of the end zone.
Exactly. So whenever the play is getting rallied in, it's like, why are we doing this? This is why we're. Even if we don't think even if all of us don't agree with it, here's why we're doing it. It feels like Trevor and the offense have that thought. And that motherfucker can run, too. Yeah. I mean, watching Trevor last night was awesome, dude. It was really a lot of fun.
When we got rid of that last ball, he got killed. Sorry, Con, man, I believe it was you. But getting rid of the ball alone was unreal. And then the fact that he, like you said, that was a hit from 1994. Like, that's what it used to be.
Hey, I think that was also.
Yeah, was he too far back? Was he more than 12
They didn't call intentional grounding, but I think he goes back into the box.
Once you leave it, though.
You're gone forever.
Oh, okay.
All right, never mind. I'm wrong.
That makes more sense.
But cool, like, he got up right from this. He also, what was that, 3 weeks ago, where he fucking snapped his leg in half and then came back into the game?
Oh, yeah, at halftime. Going into halftime.
Against Detroit.
Yeah.
Hey, I think we love Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, yeah. He's
Definitely.
a guy for sure.
And Trevor, you never had to prove anything to us, okay?
No.
You never had to prove anything to anybody. People have been talking to you, and Kirk said since 8th grade.
Yeah.
This dude. 8th grade, he was taller than everybody, just like he is now. 8th grade, he was throwing the ball better than everybody. They're like, 8th grade, this guy's the guy. Had no fuck-ups, okay? So we should have been paying respect to that, although there have been people in the past that have similar resumes that have gone on to be busts in the NFL. For us, with it being Jacksonville And with that first year going the way it goes, it's almost like as a show, it's hard to allot or invest time into this guy. Awesome. If we're going to be an NFL show, it's like, it's hard to do. Then you watch like last night and then these last 7 weeks and the highlights and then the game flow and the energy he's shown. It's like, oh, the NFL's got a fucking guy. Like, we are lucky that this dude is now in our league, I think. I honestly believe that. And I can't wait to watch him continue to grow.
Yeah, like you can add him to the pantheon of great young quarterbacks for sure. And especially when you were talking about, last year thinking about bumps.
Love that. Right there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Just that one little thing right there.
Yeah.
Love it.
Man, this dude could put on 30 pounds of muscle, too, between now and the next 5 years.
Just like that. And I don't think he has as big as the Teflon vest. Looks a little smaller there. He still has it, but it looks a little smaller so he can be more active. I think we're probably going to bolster that a little bit. I assume we're probably going to get a little bit bigger. You know what I mean?
Think about it.
Over the next couple years, we're trying to project what we feel like Trevor Lawrence is probably going to look like. He runs, though.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, he was running.
He was,
51 yards last night.
Yeah, behind ETN, he was their, top rusher. And then when you're talking about what's his name, Doug Peterson, Kirk talked about on the broadcast, like finally there was some sort of consistent, same guy every day coach that he's had. And you've said it before too, like sure they struggled in the beginning, but wasn't there part of Trevor Lawrence that had to like re-trust these coaches?
Yeah, I think that's what Peterson said.
Yes.
Peterson said was our biggest hurdle was earning the trust of the players.
Yeah.
Like the player-coach relationship was tough. And the trust he's
That's
talking
a Super Bowl winning coach as well. Not that recent, like not too far either. Like that's crazy that they had to do that.
He's going to have 2 statues outside of stadiums in the NFL. Doug Peterson. Could you imagine he fucking wins with the Jaguars? Oh my God.
Jags would definitely, they would give him one, wouldn't they?
They might put one on top. Jackson
right.
DeVille with his cheeks out
Skydive off of it.
might jump off the top of the Doug Peterson statue at the top of the fucking stadium to bring the ball in if they are able to win there. But I don't think it means like trust, like, hey, this guy's going to rob me or steal from me. It's like trust is trusting their decision making, trusting the strategy that they're going to go with, trusting hey, he's giving me the tools, giving me the weapons, the whys. Like that's the trust that Peterson was talking about. It sure appears that they have that, and winning helps build that very quickly, and they're doing a lot of that
Plus,
lately.
in the last 3 seasons, he's had to play in God's name, image, and likeness. He's had to play in the devil's name, image, and likeness, and
now he's in Doug's.
Yeah. So I mean, that's not the easiest transition, but it feels like he's kind of found the sweet spot here with Doug.
Human. He's a human.
Yeah,
He's a human. Regular person.
He's celebrating.
Okay. It's a hell of a transition. Something
Tough 3 years. Tough 3 years.
That's crazy, isn't it? He goes from Dabo Sweeney, who literally straight face. Like, the way I think about this, our program's been built on name, image, like, no.
Not what you're doing.
Gotcha, bitch. God's name, image, and likeness. And then you think about Urban Meyer.
Exactly.
Urban Meyer the next year.
Kicking players.
Allegedly. That lawsuit was dropped.
Okay.
But any other of the things that we had heard from him there, Florida, Ohio State, anywhere.
All of them.
Dabo, that's legit. Everybody says that is legit.
Yeah.
Will Shipley, the running back that we love, he came out and said, imagine Dabo getting dragged for saying what he said, because I guess we showed it because we were like, brilliant.
Yeah.
We were pumped. We were pumped for Dabo for thinking of that. Like
Hit a home run.
When Dabo thought of that, he was, yes, like that is such a good line that as a public speaker, which Dabo Sweeney is, I was pumped for him that he thought of that. And you could see that he was pumped that he thought of that as well, because as he was setting it up, his smile grew 3 sizes. He started, you know what I mean? He started beaming almost ear to ear. And that happens on this show sometimes.
Sure.
You know, there'll be something that AJ thinks about, and you'll see in his face like, oh, something's coming. There'll be something that drops into my dumb brain, and I get like, oh, I cannot wait to get to this next sentence that's coming. You can almost see it. Dabo was like, you know, he could feel it. And everybody that's ever played for Dabo loves him. Everybody that's ever played for Dabo loves him. And that is something that should be talked about when Dabo says any of the things that he says. And Dabo says some Dabo stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
But the reason why Dabo is beloved, I think, by his players is because he's always Dabo.
Yes.
So we just have to remember that. That boy, Dabo Sweeney, is an incredible athlete. He still does knee drive arm swing out of those Clemson games, but he lives by one way, and it's all the time. It's not like he's a fugazi, I think, and that's why his players love him. Then you go to Urban Meyer. complete opposite end of the spectrum, right? We're just fucking winning games however we got to win.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I don't give it. God's name, image, and like, is God paying anybody? I don't think so. What are we talking about? We're in the almighty Benjamin name, image, and likeness business over here, and there's obviously multiple ways to win. There's multiple ways to win. But him going on that roller coaster, I would assume Doug Peterson was like,
Nice.
all right, here we go. I got to bring this guy back to the real world. I got to bring him back to the real world. He's been able to do it. And congrats to all the Jags fans down there. Mitt, you're joining us here on stage, and it's a beautiful thing to see. Trevor's your generation, and have you heard about this guy all the way through high school, college? Did you know about Trevor Lawrence? And what were your expectations as a guy who grew up in NFL locker rooms? Mitt literally grew up in NFL locker rooms. What were your expectations of Trevor, and what have you seen from him, pal?
Trevor Lawrence, definitely.
There we go. Hey, that's good. That was good.
Definitely one of those just people that, I mean, I was graduating in 2017. I think he graduated same class or a year younger than me, actually. And I saw him throughout high school, throughout college. It was kind of like just waiting for him to get to the pros. Goes to Jacksonville, and then last year happens, and it's just like, okay, we have no idea what's going to happen with this kid. He buys in to what Doug Peterson had, and I kind of thought that was going to end the same way that Urban Meyer did, but looks like now the last 5-6 games they're balling the fuck out.
Hey,
like,
very feasible,
really
Mitt. Very feasible, Mitt. A man who grew up in the NFL. Literally, this dude was shagging balls for me when he was like 12, 13 years old. Friends with everybody in the room because he's a kid. And I will say, you had a good person. You weren't scared to go talk to people, which I think is a big deal. He learned a lot. Grew up in.
He told me he ate lunch with Andrew Luck almost every other day.
Bingo. And there's not a lot of people doing that because Andrew is literally eating all by himself because he's in there and out of there as quick as possible.
High-level conversation.
He got a chance to chat with everybody, but it's very feasible. Doug Peterson, new head coach, offensive guru, comes in there. Previous regime's draft pick. Like, there is a chance that Trevor Lawrence after the season, if it does not work out, just like Zach Wilson right now.
Yeah.
And it's all like, what could have been, what could have been. And I know everybody that's watched Trevor Lawrence in Clemson and in high school would be like, some team's going to sign him quick and they're going to get lucky or whatever. And we would hope that would be the case, but very feasible that this year didn't work with Doug Peterson. Yeah. Very, very numerous examples of that happening in the past. It not taking place and it going the opposite direction, that's what everybody's praying for and hoping for on bad organizations and bad programs. Fucking shout out to the goddamn Jacksonville Jaguars for figuring it out finally.
And you mentioned previous, regimes. Like, how about Balky? Sitting in the pocket, still kind of trusting his process. He goes out, gets all these guys. First guy he basically gets, big name that we all thought, oh, he overpaid for Christian Kirk. This is going to be another Jaguars just going right down the tubes. And then Christian Kirk's unbelievable. Evan Ingram, they did a one-year deal.
Big game last night. Chuck said, watch the tight ends.
Big tight end game. And he's been good.
Back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
Crushed it.
Ingram's getting going.
Oh, yeah. He had 2 touchdowns
Sure,
2
Giants
weeks ago.
fans love seeing that.
Let's start talking about some other shit,
drops.
too. Let's start talking about some other shit, too. We talk, good call there, Mitt. Let's start talking about some other shit that we don't talk about with the Jags. No state taxes.
Nope.
Right?
Beautiful weather year-round, pretty much.
There's a beach there. Jack's Beach is there.
Timmy Tebow is from there.
Yep.
You can obviously get a meet and greet with Tebow, potentially, hopefully. But there's a lot of things that Doug Peterson, if you build up that team, you can sell. Like you can warm most of it. It has been cold, and I've played in a cold game in Jacksonville. I don't know.
I mean, cold for Jacksonville, though.
Yeah, but like 40, 50, I think.
It's supposed to be 30 this weekend.
It's supposed to be negative. It's -9 here.
Yeah.
So
Trevor Lawrence is the number one thing you can sell to free agents and other
Bingo.
people, too. Even whether you're a receiver or you're a defensive player, whatever. Hey, man, look who we got. This dude's like 24 years old, 22. Who knows what he is. He's going to be here for a long time. He's going to be playing very well. Don't you want to come be a part of it?
Get a house. Overton went down there and snapped.
Enjoy it.
Nice.
He had a house on the fucking beach. I was watching his Instagram stories. He was posting like sunsets.
People love living there, man. They say it's great.
It's unbelievable.
I was like, I did not know, because we played down the Gator Bowl and we had some good nights down there at Jack's Beach.
What?
What a place.
Couple penny pitchers.
Hey, there's some white trash parts of Jacksonville. I will say, hey, they appreciated us down there.
Oh, yeah.
They appreciated our West Virginia team down there at Jack's Beach.
Hell yeah.
We had pretty good relationships. That we had a blast at Jack's Beach, but I was only in there at night. And I guess I did know that there was a beach there, but it wasn't until Overton was playing there where I was watching his Instagram stories. He had a house on the fucking beach, like right on the beach, and like a beautiful spread. I'm like, how much was that? Hey, how much was that house? How much was that?
Shoot me straight.
Hey, shoot me straight. Because like you go to like Marco Island on a beach, you go like Miami on a beach, Fort Lauderdale on a beach.
Different.
All these things are like 15, 20 million. Nobody's thinking about, or Tampa even over there, they have like
West
some
Palm,
key.
yeah.
Nobody's thinking about like, oh, I want to go live on a beach. I'm going to go to Jacksonville. Your football team gets good. I think there's going to be people that are like,
Oh, yeah.
Jacksonville will become a popular
Hey, is
place.
the new facility
Tampa.
going up too? Remember, we heard like $500 million facility was going up when Herbs got there. Is that still happening?
We don't know if Martin is still in production or not.
Not positive. But that was the plan. Yeah, build
That'd
it
be
up.
awesome.
Yeah, it's under construction next to the field. Scheduled to open prior to the 2023 season.
Sweet.
Yeah, but look at Tampa.
Sports
like you just
Performance
said.
Center.
Like Tampa was shit 4 years ago.
Whoa.
Like the city?
I mean, go Boach, but the city itself was kind of trash.
Whoa.
And their sports fans also.
No, we didn't know about it. We'll just say we didn't know about it.
Sure,
It
we
wasn't
didn't
trash.
know.
We didn't know.
Great city.
People didn't know about it.
Okay, but as someone who has family in the area, Tampa has been looked at as a bottom 3 city in Florida. And, you know,
Really?
that's not me
He
saying
also
that.
has family from China.
That's
so-
right. I've been to China. I've seen the Great Wall, AJ.
This guy's cultured. His family's cultured. Tampa, China, Boston.
What? And that's why I have such Philly, and that's why I have such a problem with Jow, because I've been there and I didn't flip. But when it comes to Jacksonville as a city, it can become that kind of destination, especially because you know, not only Trevor Lawrence, Christian Kirk's 26,
What?
Ridley's 25, Javon Walker,
ETN.
Josh
ETN,
Allen.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, like all these guys they have
Jeez.
are unbelievable
Hey,
and young.
and Peterson seems to be cool.
Seems awesome.
Linebacker's name.
ETN, okay. AJ, is that when you knew?
My God,
Is that when we knew? You think?
Yeah, probably.
yeah, it was early.
As soon as it happened, I'm recording it live. I'm
Yep.
recording it live.
This one.
I was actually recording it. This one, I'm like, all right, no, we're good still.
Yeah.
Definitely
We're-
now. Yeah, here we go. We got 4 downs.
We're still good because it's at the 2. It's not too close. You know, they gain a yard on first down. Now we go again. And it's like, this is definitely going to be the case. I start recording it so I can celebrate just like the Christian McCaffrey thing.
Oh man,
He was in. He got pulled backwards.
he had it.
It was like a fucking yo-yo. His body came back half an inch. And then as I'm watching it live, I just wanted to post the video. I was like, oh yeah, now they're too close. Trevor Lawrence going fucking just QB sneak. Could it be a touchdown? Commercial break and somebody got hurt right back on the other side. QB sneak. It was at that moment I'm like, all right, they're feeding Etienne. Okay?
Yeah.
But this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough to get another opportunity like that. It's almost like the football gods hated us. Had a lot of super professional gamblers, which I'd love to hear their percentages. Tweeting, you can't pick a touchdown scorer and an under. It was like, yeah, that's why you get plus 500.
Yeah,
that's
right, it's
yeah,
massive
you do.
odds.
You do.
I think I
do
responded
that.
to that professional game.
You do that. That's why it's like,
Yeah.
boom. That's all you get. We think this is going to happen. We also think with that happening, the odds are going to get better because we also believe this is going to take place because of the fucking weather. So I'm about sick of those
Listen,
people.
when you're
I'm about
3
sick
inches
of those.
short, okay?
Not even. I think it was like
You're
an
1
inch.
inch short. Like, all right. Like, I could see, like, if he had, like, 16 rushing yards on the game. But when 3 times he was within the 1 yard line, like, fuck off.
Gashing him too. Like he ran unbelievably,
I love
and you know, granted he dropped that one ball, but recovered his own fumble. But there were times where he was ripping off, you know, 15, 11, 10-yard gains, and then for them to get down there basically on his shoulders and to not reward him with a touchdown. You know, we've been talking good about Doug Peterson. I'm not so sure anymore.
Is Doug Peterson going to lose the trust of the locker room?
I could see that now.
Because you know what I mean, AJ? We should talk. I didn't want to talk about it, especially after everything we just said for 30 minutes about Doug Peterson, how great of a job he's doing. And Chuck Pagano's like, they went out and they win the division. How do you not give Doug Peterson the coach of the year?
Texans.
What are the odds on Doug Peterson to win coach of the year?
Actually,
He was
so
fourth
they're-
yesterday.
They're currently, as a team now, minus 185 to win that division.
We go Texans, Titans.
So coach now is Sirianni, DC, Shanahan, and Peterson was, I believe, 1,600 yesterday or 1,200, but he's still 4th.
All right, we should get that in.
Yeah, you might as well because
going
they're going to beat the
season
Texans.
awards.
And with
Yeah,
Tannehill,
I mean,
Tannehill's done
I would
for the year.
imagine they win their division. You got to give it to them.
What about?
Home playoff game.
He's
in
plus 1,200 right
Jacksonville?
now. Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
Yeah.
All right, I'll just quick 500 on
I
that.
feel like the
I talk about bets on the show and think about them, and I've been learning that I don't end up putting all of them in.
Yeah.
And then I'll wake up the next morning and I'm like, I won.
Yeah.
I said that was going to happen. And then I look at my account and it's like,
Oh no,
you didn't put it in.
still off.
So now, if you've seen the last couple of days, I'm saying I'm not doing it anymore. As soon as I think of it, if I have a firm belief in it, I'm fucking going for it. Yesterday, I put in the Cleveland Browns under in the middle of the show.
Boom.
The
that's
Saints, Browns. No Saints media can travel into Cleveland. It's no media from New Orleans. It's going to be, I guess it's going to be, how is it over there?
Because of weather?
How is it over there?
It's cold.
I'll tell you what, AJ. Driving to the office this morning, I thought to myself, Elliot, not even in my top 20 of winter storms of my life.
No chance.
Let's be real.
Not even.
Wait, I got emails last night of things starting late and not opening until noon or whatever. I'm like, what are we doing? Let's go.
Dude, they're canceling. They were telling people to cancel Christmas, basically. I listen.
It's freezing cold. I'll give you that. It's cold. I was shoveling my driveway. Yeah, my hands are cold, but I'm fine.
But they were acting like, and I grew up in the cold. We all did. We all have grown up in the cold. I don't remember a time where I was being told that because it was getting cold, a flash freeze was happening. They were acting. They were actually describing it as a flash freeze, and I'm like, I've been a part of like some winters now, like 35 of them. You know, at this point, where it gets real cold and there is snow or sleet or something like that. It has never been described as like, hey, it's going to drop 40 degrees in 1 hour and everything's going to become an ice skating rink. That's the first time I've heard that. And them saying that, it certainly stirred a little panic around a lot of people.
Weren't grocery stores like jammed again? Like it was like COVID was shutting down and people were buying everything and taking bread. And
I went yesterday or 2 days ago. All the meat gone. It was like I only wanted like 2 things.
It is a holiday.
Well, and that happens though. Like when people are calling for like 1 inch of snow, people go out and do that.
No, I concur, but I think there's great responsibility that comes with the power of potentially scaring an entire country.
Big weather.
I agree.
Like scaring an entire country. In this one, and we didn't want to. We wanted nothing. We wanted this type of storm to happen, so nobody. Hopefully, there's going to be people that are going to get in accidents. There's already been there was 2 accidents on the way to here.
Yeah.
But that's standard snow on road shit. Like that happens in winter.
Also, dumb driving.
Yeah, if you're going to drive like a Charger on 22s. If you're going to, which I saw over here, if you're going to drive a Charger, which is rear wheel power, and they're on 22s, like souped up custom 22s, probably not the best if the road's covered with water, snow, let alone sleet, snow, and water. And that happens. So there's always going to be people that end up off the road, and that's going to cause situations where potentially people slide in and hit them, and it's not good. Winter causes problems for driving in general. But the mass hysteria basically around this one, like cancel Christmas and everything that's going to happen, I don't think it was needed.
I agree, but for Browns, Saints.
What's that, AJ?
No, the people will probably say, well, it's good that you were prepared, though, and you didn't get caught off guard and everyone died.
Yeah, so I thought of the meteorologist, actually, after our show.
Thank you.
After our show, right? Like because as I was driving in this morning, I was like, how am I going to talk about this?
Yeah.
Like, how am I going to talk about this? Because, like, just as a human who's grown up in the cold, you know, old man, a truck driver, so driving in snow is like something that old Tim prided himself on and everything like that. And I'm driving around. I'm like, how am I going to talk about this being a fugazi in the holiday season, them canceling Christmas? And then if I do, how are the meteorologists going to respond? Well, they're going to say, it was better to warn people and save lives than this thing come in and kill people during Christmas. Oh, you don't get to have Christmas? Oh, sorry. We were trying to save thousands and thousands of people from dying in a flash freeze that the world has never seen before. I can rest my head at night knowing that I was thinking ahead for you. And even though you can't see that now, we were thinking for you, and we're happy that it wasn't as bad. It's like, okay, but COVID didn't have Christmas. Year after didn't have Christmas. Some people have been scared to travel during the holidays. It's like the first year where people were ready to kind of get back together and see people for the first time in a long time. So whenever you're telling people cancel plans and cancel everything, I understand it's a tough job. Hey, tough job. Tough job.
Yeah, sure.
But you better be fucking, if we're making up new flash freeze calls.
Bingo.
I mean, let's make sure, and maybe it's still to come though. You know, we got a fucking pipe.
Is it?
I don't know.
Is it over? Do we know?
No,
it feels like it's over.
It's supposed to be cold and windy for the next day.
Yeah, it's going to be cold. It's like it's the winter.
Cold.
But we need to find out, what son of a
Hasn't been this
bitch
cold
created flash freeze. Because that was my whole entire thing. Like you said, we all have grown up in like winter towns and cities, and we have seen winters, and we've seen a lot of snow. But for me, at least, flash freeze was something I never heard in my entire life. So I don't know what meeting all these meteorologists kind of met up together and say, hey, look, it's going to get really cold and it's going to be windy, so we need a new word to get these people to understand how cold and how windy it is. Instead of just saying, hey, it's going to be really windy and cold, we need to say, hey, you're going to get a flash freeze. Basically, everywhere you drive is going to be like a skating rink. They're going to scare you. But also, the roads, pretty standard winter roads.
Sidewalk out here. Couldn't even, -9.
Yeah.
I've been a part of like not even negative, 12-degree days.
Sure.
Where you get on a sidewalk, still drove somewhere, store's still open. And you can slide. You know what I mean? You can slide down the thing. This snow is so dry because it is so cold, I don't even think it can freeze.
No, better traction.
So, like, where was DiNardo? Where was the modern DiNardo to say, like, this is probably not the right thing to do, scare people to fucking death right now after the last couple of years that have happened? I don't know. That's what we'll wait on, I guess.
Yeah, but
Use Cantor. Remember, you told us.
Yeah.
Jamie.
I don't want to have to. You have a much bigger affinity for Cantor than I do.
I love weather.
Cantor ain't Joe Nora.
No.
Miss you, Joe.
No, it is.
Thank you, Joe.
Love you, Joe.
And I think the thing, too, is that...
You see this? Go to this one here, Foxy.
Yeah, I wore that for a little bit when I was there.
Don't let your head... What makes you think you could put this crown on, AJ?
Wow.
What makes you think this is...
Out of respect for the DiNardo family, you know that. I'm hoping there's a couple kids coming up that are going to be stars on TV.
Read this. Read it.
Yes, sir.
Read it.
I can't read it.
24-hour DiNardo weather watch.
Hell yeah.
That's what we needed.
Yeah.
Instead, what do we got? We got a bunch of
he
people
wouldn't have
lying.
panicked.
Flash freeze. What is that? It's cold. We get it. It's cold. It's winter.
Well,
I'm worried about. The only thing I worried about was like people are going to lose power and the grid can't keep up. That's all I worried about.
And that wasn't really the massive warning, was it?
They didn't say anything about that, but that's happened in the past. I know, like when the grid's overloaded, they're going to choose who they can shut down. But like I haven't heard any talk of that now, so that's good.
Once again, we would like to say that we're happy that Elliott was not what they said it was going to be, because that could have been chaos.
made our lives better.
If the entire world was just frozen, that's going to be problematic. Power grid, traveling, anybody having to go anywhere, impossible, hospitals, everything. Sounded terrible. Happy that didn't happen. Follow up. You brought a lot of misery and anxiety to a lot of people's lives. The amount of people just in our sphere that was worried about traveling and dealing with older members of their family and everything like that, it's just... Is this going to happen every time? Are we going to fall for it every time?
Well, that's
There'll be another one in a week.
And that's the biggest problem, because if that one in a week is real and it's not like this one, then a bunch of people aren't going to take it serious.
And we're bad people.
Exactly.
Because we even pointed out that one of
Who
these...
cares if they don't take it serious? What does that change? Then all of a sudden they get out. Oh, hey, roads are too bad. I got to go back home.
Sometimes it's too late.
Sometimes people don't go back home, AJ.
Yeah.
Can you sue the news?
Nope.
Like if they don't make it extra, like don't go out, can someone just sue the fuck out of them?
Inducing panic for inducing panic. I don't think you can do that.
Well, we have to do this with every time we kind of take a shot at a profession. We have more respect for the fucking Doppler than probably any other show out there. Just would like to let everybody know that.
Creator of the Doppler.
Project Bundle Up right here with Joe DiNardo, 24-hour DiNardo weather watch. It's a big part of sports. The Doppler is a big part of sports, especially in our sports gambling world.
Bingo.
So we have appreciation and respect for meteorologists, weather people, the Doppler as a whole. Seems like y'all motherfuckers are starting to cut promos for entertainment as opposed to inform folks for their safety. Just something to think about as we move forward. Yeah, I guess you got to worry about ratings for business and everything like that. And weather is certainly something that leads news whenever it happens. But let's not always just cut promos.
Not for long. Not for long.
What's that?
That's not going to be for long. You think the generations below us are going to be turning the TV on to check out a weatherman? No, it's on their phone.
Weather affects everybody.
Yeah. And
I
it's
know.
on
I'm saying
cable.
how you consume your weather content is changing, and young kids are not watching the local news for that.
Oh, yeah, I'm going right to the weather app.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Like everybody.
-2 right now. It's getting warmer.
Yeah, exactly.
It was -9 earlier, low -10. Now it's -2 here in Indianapolis, Indiana.
It is cold, but we have had cold temperatures in the U.S. before, so I don't know why we're losing our minds now.
Yeah.
Breezy, it said. I walked
It's very windy.
I walked outside, and from car to here into the Thunderdome. I have an electric car. I hope everything I just said might be
Gonna need
taken
that
back if that thing can't turn on after we get out of here, which is a possibility.
Need to show up later.
Yeah, I don't know.
Big game coming up.
But I walked from car to Thunderdome, and it wasn't like the cold. I didn't feel like it was the coldest I'd ever been in. Now it wasn't, I guess, because in Minnesota it was like -12 or something like that.
Minnesota was bad.
It was like -12.
I'll stand by that. Might be the coldest week I've ever been a part of.
Montana. I was just in Montana.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So cold. But I was just sitting there for 3 hours. Walking from car to Thunderdome. I didn't even think it was that cold, but it might have been so cold that I didn't even notice that it was cold. I get in here, Ton Diggs got 5 layers on. Yeah. I'm like, it's not even that cold. He goes, well, it's cold. I'm like, kind of a bitch-made cat, though, when it comes to weather. He said, absolutely, that's the case. So,
I own
It's like if you walk out and you know it's going to be cold, though, you're like, oh, it's going to be cold, right? Like,
Yeah, it's all mental. It's like what McDaniel said. It's like, hey, people,
it's not all mental. I mean,
It's not all mental.
hypothermia.
for sure, but a lot of it is like, hey,
Pneumonia
yeah,
and stuff
when
like
I
that.
am outside,
You're not getting it walking to a car, though.
yeah, exactly. Like when you're
If
walking
you don't wear
to
a
your
coat.
car,
Yeah.
So if car breaks down, though, and you're stuck
a
out,
problem.
I guess that is something they should have been warning us of.
American underdog. You should have learned that from Kurt Warner. But
How about when he gets out of that Bronco or GMC?
it was a Bronco.
What happened?
that was a
No.
Bronco.
Oh, no, you're right. It was a green.
Chevy?
I see it right now.
Yeah.
In the movie?
Somebody had
Blazer?
Snowstorm?
The Chevy Blazer?
I thought, maybe.
I can see the car as well. Packers green.
Yeah.
Go Pack, go.
Go, Pack, go. He's in the middle of that snowstorm in Iowa.
Yes.
Fucking pulls his car over side road, says, hey, you wait here. I'm going to run 17 miles in this Arctic weather to go get some gas.
Guess what?
Made it.
In a half hour.
That's what fucking Kurt Warner does.
Bingo.
Then that night he went right into a square dancing bar.
Brenda?
Hey, we doing that? We're doing that with him out of Arizona, right?
Yeah, that was already
Super
put
Bowl.
together.
We've already. He's agreed to that.
Oh, yeah.
Kurt Warner's been putting out some great tweets. Kurt Warner's becoming an internet guy.
Yeah, big fan.
Have you seen that, AJ? Have you followed along?
I think I follow him. I need to check him out. Maybe I don't
Have to.
follow him.
He's starting to put out like actual punditry tweets, like
Nice.
utilizing Twitter as a way of like content, as opposed to just like NFL Network. He does it because on Sundays he's great.
Really good.
Yeah.
I watched the NFL Network kickoff show. Him, Mooch, Irvin, Rich Eisen, Cynthia, Rachel Panetta.
Steve?
Who?
Steve Smith?
Yeah,
on
Steve
there?
Smith.
Yeah.
I think he's got pieces. I think he does Thursday.
I was going to say, does he do the Thursday pregame show?
Mooch is on there, yeah. But Kurt Warner's starting to like really put out tweets. This one, 777,000 views, impressions. Twitter now putting out impression numbers on tweets because Elon said that he would like the world to see how active Twitter is because which has been a stat for a long time, 90% of the users on Twitter do not tweet. They are just mere spectators. So Elon wanted to showcase that there's a lot of spectating going on. And although your tweet might not get as many retweets or quote tweets or likes that you would think it should to be a good tweet, the amount of people that are seeing it, Elon thought was a good idea to show. I think it was a good move by Elon. I think this right here, this 777,000 views on a tweet is a good move by Elon, and I think it's a smart move by Twitter as a business, especially as they're getting into this advertising world, trying to make it a profitable company. It's also good for people that have real Twitter followings, as opposed to those that might be fugazi.
There's a lot of those.
Keep an eye out for that number exposing a lot of people.
You'll see.
Okay,
You'll
this
see.
number.
Name names. Who?
I'm not naming names. You'll be able to see it. Literally, there's a fucking
You're
scoreboard.
talking people that buy followers?
Yeah, or
That's
people
still going on. Like
Bots.
that's a real thing still.
Yeah, because there's still people that fall for it. There's still people that fall for the bot followers, and then whenever they're presented with the numbers, this guy has this many followers, he can bring in this many people, and he has a big name because maybe the person's popular from yesteryear or something like that.
Sure.
So it's like there's still olds getting bamboozled with these numbers. So now that he's put a scoreboard on everything.
It's awesome.
Used to just be a scoreboard on the videos. used to just be a scoreboard on YouTube for concurrence and views and everything like that. Now there's a scoreboard for every single tweet that's getting put out there. That's going to affect some people that are notable.
Oh. It's already affected me a couple of times.
Yeah.
I was going to hit tweet, and then I said, well, what happens if, like, say 50,000 people see this tweet and, like, 6 like it? That's not a good ratio. I'm gonna delete this.
No, it is. 50,000 people see it.
That's good.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah, but that
add
was a
those
shitty
in.
tweet.
Bro, no, that's the new thing. The new thing is just people not feeling obligated to tweet or retweet your thing because they gave you a view. That's
It's a billboard, right?
This is YouTube now, bub.
My fragile ego cannot handle it.
No, this is YouTube. This is Pornhub. You know, like Sean Latham used to have an entire bit about the people that take the time to rate and judge porn and they like star and like it and do that whole thing. It's like Twitter is now that. The people aren't going to send the time to do the retweet, quote, tweet, or like. Maybe they will.
Yeah.
Maybe people will remain as active, but I think people will be thinking they're doing enough just by looking at it because it's counting, if that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah,
So
mentally.
I think you should look at the other one as opposed to how you're viewing it. Personally, I think.
Add that view number, Tony, mentally to likes. So say you do get 6 likes, but you get 50,000, views. Just say you got 50,000 and 6 likes.
Yeah, but in my head,
Well, you can't do that. Those are two different things.
49,994 people saw it and hated it. 6 likes.
That's very negative. You need to stop talking about yourself like that.
Yeah, that's why, you can just split it up. No, it's not a like.
If
but
50,000 people are looking at your tweet, 50,000 people are interested in you and they're at least following along and it's real, so they don't hate you. I think this new number, though, is going to become the number that people are going to be touting.
So many people scroll Twitter and don't do Twitter, a.k.a. AJ Hawk is one of them.
Yes. So AJ's one of these.
Is this better for advertising and stuff like that?
Yes. This is better for everything. Not good for the
Who
people.
cares about likes?
For the
Likes
frauds.
are so stupid. I watch people scroll through Instagram and just like. I mean, what are you doing, man?
So Instagram likes matter, I think. Instagram likes matter. Twitter, I never thought likes mattered. For me, I thought likes was the biggest waste of a stat on a platform for Twitter. Retweets, quote tweets, which used to be the same thing. I've lived through a couple different eras of Twitter now, and I've done Twitter through a couple different. You used to have to copy paste tweets,
To retweet.
put RT before them, and then put parentheses quotations around it, then answer on the other side of it. And Twitter was like, "Oh, this is how everybody's doing it. We'll add that in there a year and a half later, 2 years later, or whatever." So like, there's been a lot of different eras of it. Likes, I never made sense to me. I didn't understand why anybody was like it. Well, it ends up on your homepage. Yeah, but if you're liking some random tweet, you probably like too many tweets. Probably dilutes all your tweets anyways. So it doesn't mean anything. Likes meant absolutely nothing. Retweets and quote tweets meant everything. I think moving forward, that number is going to be what everybody's looking for, personally.
So round of applause to Elon for a good decision here, right?
This is great.
absolutely.
This is a very...
Good job, Elon.
Everybody loves what he's doing, right?
No.
Not everybody.
Now, everybody that doesn't love what he's doing is stating that they don't love what he's doing on his platform, and everybody's seeing it. So
True.
I don't know.
I believe that.
I thought they're leaving. I thought you were leaving.
Number's
People
being
leave.
moved to the other side.
What's that, pal?
The number is he put out a poll. Do you like it on the left or do you want us to move to the right? And the right one. So I think it's moving.
Yeah,
The right always wins, Tony.
yeah, he clustered.
I don't know what that means.
You need to relax. That is not the case, actually. That is not the case. Come on, man. Come on. That is literally not the case in the world that we're currently in. So keep your shit out of this. You too, cowboy hat.
I said I don't know what that means.
I didn't like. They changed up a lot of the things.
Hated that. Yeah.
There's some things that they just need to stay away from, but Twitter has been doing this since the beginning.
Yeah.
Since long before Elon became in charge,
Messing around.
there's been changes to the app and to the platform that people have loved, people have despised. Like, this has been something that's been happening for a long time.
What is that?
AJ, your pace.
Is that you beeping?
That's not on my side. It's you guys.
What the hell?
It's gone now.
What's going on?
Who, dude?
Is there a truck?
This
This
place.
is Storm Elliott. Anyways, Kurt Warner. The more I watch NFL analysts on TV, I'm reminded of how, as a high school coach, we could monitor how much film kids watch. Let's do the same thing with analysts and post for all to see, so fans know who to listen to. So much to wade through and too many comments that don't reflect the tape, in my opinion. He also said something last night that I thought was incredible, not just this one from a couple days ago. So, like, I've enjoyed Kurt Warner utilizing Twitter. Kurt Warner also good. I think he's good. Everybody that's ever played with him loves him, right? Marshall Faulk sang his praises. All his teammates sang his praises. And he might be, I don't want to say like, I don't want to phrase this in a
Too good of a guy?
Yeah, like you never. I don't think we've never heard him swear, right?
Might be too PG. I think,
he might
maybe.
be. Everybody thinks maybe he's too
Yeah.
PG or something like that. I think his tweets have been great. I hope he continues to do that. And I would like to let Kurt know we love it and we love you on Sundays on TV. I think you're great at what you do. Honestly, I think he's great at what he does.
I think he's. I love that. Yeah, like you said, he's getting more active. He's getting more involved. And I think Kurt should eventually do more and more TV and more games. Like, I think I value what he says. I really do.
Everybody's talking about that silver jacket he had on. Nobody's talking about his voice.
He should call it like I feels like he would be unbelievable calling games. Like I like to hear more from him
Saturday night
about
what's
going on.
This Saturday night,
Acrisure,
Who's he with?
Steelers, Raiders, 50th anniversary.
Is he with Rich?
I don't know.
Let's go to a tweet from last night. This is the tweet from last night he put out. Don't care who you are. You can't evaluate QB until you see them play at next level, period. Good college tape, average college tape. Great arm talent, average arm talent. Good pro day, bad pro day. Guys with each of these are good and bad in NFL. You make best guess and hope mentally they have it. And that's become, I think, almost the mantra of every single draft of former players.
Yes.
We have no idea who's going to make it. It feels like fans always have much more hope on who's going to make it. It feels like scouts always have a lock who's going to make it. And coaches are obviously thinking that they can coach a player into becoming a significant player on their team, no matter who it is. Former players, though, and guys that have been in the locker room are like, my heart's been broken too many times of a guy that I thought was going to come in and be a fucking game changer for us. And guess what? Shitbird. Guy cannot play in the NFL. He got paid. He doesn't work nearly as hard as he probably did in college. This guy can't figure out a thing. This guy can't learn the signals.
Yeah, interesting.
Rich Bisaccia seems to be struggling with that with Aaron Rodgers. Love that entire press conference. But that happens on a regular basis. And I like that Kurt Warner, Hall of Famer, one of the greatest of all time, one of the most notable of all time, is also pushing that message to people, because hopefully it should set in around draft time that these expectations that get placed on these guys are fucking lost. I don't think that's the right thing to do. And also, let's not assume that just because a guy goes number one overall that they're going to be the next, Peyton Manning. It's like that is not the case. And more often than not, they're busts than they are make it. And Zach Wilson's going to get cooked. Zach Wilson's not the only guy that was supposed to be great and isn't going to be great. You know what I mean? Like this happens at every position.
Did you see? So like going off with Kurt's. I don't know why I keep calling him Kirk, like Herb Street, but off Kurt Warner's tweet. I saw some clips from Zach's pro day again last night on Twitter, and I'm like, look at it. That's, and I think it even said like, hey, this is what people saw with Zach Wilson, and like how he could throw the ball and move. I'm like, dang, this dude looks unbelievable what he can do, and it's just that hasn't translated consistently yet to the NFL field. I'm not writing him off and saying he's done for good.
Well,
I would love to see him in another system, a system. To see if that changes anything. I don't know.
So Baker, when he arrives at the Rams, everybody loves him because they win. When he left Cleveland, seemed like Cleveland didn't like him.
Everyone hated him.
Yeah.
Carolina, I think everybody likes him still. I don't know. I think it was. I think everybody likes him.
Everybody. Yeah.
That's the thing about Zach Wilson. That if he goes to a new place, he's going to have to figure out like. He said he wants to become a better player and everything like that. And I agree. Like, definitely have to start learning defenses and learning and understanding why things are happening. I think his biggest thing is going to have to be, like, it was loud last night, okay?
Very.
Whenever Strev comes in. With what the booth – and shout out to Amazon, a little crowd noise last night.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Normally they've had that muted. Normally they haven't had it as, like, controlled as much. Last night it sounded – we had some sound, which was incredible to hear. But his teammates haven't really come to bat for him much.
No, not at all.
And that is more telling, I think, than any of the shit on the field.
That's the scariest thing about all of it.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
You, especially another team thinking of taking a chance on him, which people will. Like, that's what I would worry about. Like, yeah, we know this dude has all the physical talent in the world. Now, how does he see the game? How does he see defenses? But number one, do his teammates respond to this guy? When he comes on the field, do people get excited or do they sigh and roll their eyes?
Well, in the locker room, day to day, meeting rooms, practice.
Right.
Like, that's the distraction
It's tough
thing.
because isn't that tough because it's not tough for us to understand, but it's tough for some people to understand. Like, yeah, how this dude walks in every morning, what time he gets there, how he carries himself. Well, does he go and talk to the? Does he just have like the natural leadership abilities where he can hold guys accountable, but he's also like boys with everybody on the team.
Yes.
And that's a really tough thing to have, and it doesn't seem like he has anything near that right now.
Yeah, being a quarterback in the NFL is a really tough thing to do too. So like that's a part of the job description. It's like, hey, you are
hardest job in professional sports, I think.
It's a part of the job description is have a relationship with everybody. And Hugh Jackson on that Hard Knocks with Baker.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was him or maybe it was Haley. I forget who it was. Comes up and goes, what time did you get in here this morning? Whatever. And he goes, 8 or whatever. And he was like, Tyrod's in here like 6 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
And Bake's like, well, that's not really my thing. And I think what Hugh wanted to tell him is like, even if you don't think that's your thing, like everybody sees
what
that
time
you're
going in.
So whenever you fuck up on the field, a lot of people's first thoughts are like, oh, this dude, you hear stories about Peyton. He's in the building, he has film at his house, he's in there. You hear stories about Tom. You hear stories about Aaron having this photographic memory, knowing where everybody is. And then you see your guy, and he's like, no, I'm more of a feel guy. I kind of come in there. It's like, okay, yeah, you're a feel guy. That's fun. I'm missing out on playoff checks because you
stink.
Are not coming in at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And even if you don't do anything, even if you go into a room all by yourself and sleep for 2 hours, at least people have seen you around the building go in. It's like, oh, this guy's taking it serious. That's a part of the job of being a fucking quarterback. That's a real thing. Sorry about it. Not an easy job. Part of the job. It's just like when you're in football, part of the job is working during football season. Like this is just like a part of the job. And it's just, I don't know if that's always understood by some of these guys that inevitably get run out of buildings and also don't live up to their full potential. It's like, it's not just reading a defense and making a throw.
No.
It's fucking not losing the locker room when you don't have your best game. Because you've seen guys have bad games and then their teammates come out and be like, he's working. We got nothing. We have faith in this guy.
Because they know how much he cares, though. That when they know how much he cares, they might. It seems like the Jets are probably wondering how much Zach Wilson cares about the Jets and being the starting quarterback.
Yeah, Mike White seemingly in there before him.
Yeah, people love Mike White, and they're wearing his T-shirt. And as a Patriots fan, it stinks to say this, but look at the Bills. Like when Josh Allen goes down, there's probably 2 or 3 guys sprinting over to him and helping him up. Like it's not just the on-the-field play stuff. It's like the fuck you stuff too. The same thing that we were all worried about with Trevor Lawrence. Like, is this guy just a quarterback, and can he actually tell the team, hey, fuck this, we're not playing well? Can he get pissed off? Can he make a mistake, rip himself, like motherfuck himself on the sideline and then go back in and, have that it factor and bounce back? And like, it feels like a lot of times why they're a bust, because you don't know how that works. And sometimes it does get kind of, muddied almost, because like look at Malik Willis. Malik Willis, maybe he doesn't have the, NFL skill at the moment. He's only a rookie. He's barely played any games. But like when you watched his pro day, the entire team is like jacked up around him. Like you learn a lot about the type of teammate a guy is, and that is just as important a lot of times, especially for quarterbacks.
Amen. It's tough. The quarterback position's tough. You got to be the smartest person on the field. You got to make the best decisions out of everybody on the field. You have to outwork everybody. Mm-hmm. You can't have any fuck ups off the field, and you have to be an absolute dog. That's a tough thing to do. People have been trying to find him for a long time. The Colts are on like their 50th quarterback since losing Andrew Luck, trying to find that guy.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like the Jags have a guy. I feel like the Jets don't. And I did not love the fact that this was starting to become a trend. I seen it on Twitter last night.
That's right.
I seen the amount
that
of
would be interesting. You never know. He might be a good fit.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
That was AJ. What you're doing is you're continuing something that I was trying to kind of nip in the butt.
Just brainstorming. I'm brainstorming on it. I'm trying to think like, you know what? New facility, new coaching staff, some weapons around him, a good defense. Maybe he settles in well in Indy.
So that's that second sentence right there. And I can understand why people were sending the tweet, but I don't love that this has become a thought for everybody. Well, that QB is getting booed out of his own fucking stadium. He might be good at some points.
He looks good in blue and white.
Well, Colts are going to trade for him.
That looks like a Colts
two-time captain.
That can't happen, though. That cannot be how this – I don't need people tweeting me that, okay?
Well –
that'll be an easy jersey swap that somebody could do.
Put a C.
Easy.
But we don't need that. That's not the new Colts, okay? That's not what we're known for.
Brand new Colts.
And,
Wow.
let's wrap up hour 1 here.
Also, though, maybe –
Tim McAfee just walked in Did you see the look we just gave? This guy might have
what's he-
7 layers on.
Yeah, he's got ghillie suit
Really?
snow pants on right now.
Cut to him.
He just went up the stairs up here to go probably get to the
disappeared.
water.
Yeah, he might be on the roof at this point.
That beeping we might have heard is probably Tim.
Good point.
Splunking in the
Probably.
Yeah.
the annals of this place, trying to figure it out.
Configuring his helmet.
He's got 7 hoodies on. He's got.
Yeah.
He appears to have a
8?
woods camouflage.
Yeah.
Overalls 5X on. Definitely with some underneath there.
Yeah,
He
Snow
said he
pants.
was at the gate and he was trying to use the blowtorch. He was like, the wind is way too strong out here. The blowtorch is going out.
Tim was trying to fix this gate. Okay, it's a power gate. It's negative
Is
9.
it frozen shut?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And actually, even worse, it freezes open.
It freezes
You
open.
got to keep it open. You probably need to. Yeah, I don't know.
Keep it open? Yeah, that's where we are. Tim wanted to come make it fully operating. This will happen for 2 days. We're not going to be in here for the next 3 days. He was out there in his fucking full thing, blowtorch doing it. It's like probably better use of your time in negative 9-degree weather, Tim. But I appreciate you doing that. Found out about the drip. I assume he took at least 1 layer off, but he
He is stacked to the gills. There's no chance that he isn't sweating right now.
Tim!
I don't know if he can hear you because he has those 8 hoods on. So he might be covering his
Can
ears
you
right
turn?
now.
No, you won't be able to see. Can you come back? Are you in the middle of something right now?
Where is he?
Oh, he's not happy.
No, he's
he's
not.
pissed.
Are you?
Why?
He's not happy about something. This
Who's
thing's
he pissed
leaking.
at?
He's
Probably
whoever.
being
This is the
outside.
pipes.
Yeah, he's pissed because he was outside in a ghillie suit with torch and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Well, didn't he have like 2 weeks of like Army Ranger type training like a year ago? Didn't
Yeah.
you say he went and lived in the woods for a month or
Yeah,
something?
listen, he had a couple friends that were in the military that got him to go out into war practice a couple times. And Tim was ready to go. Tim was ready to go. Look at what he's wearing right now, dude.
War practice.
This
Dude,
dude had
I
war
mean,
practice
it's
with a
paying
couple
off.
of his buddies. You look awesome. Can we get a camera on? Which one are you going to? Look at this dude. Turn around,
No,
Tim.
is he
Stop.
is that a sniper?
Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Look at those pants. He just went walking through, hood up, earlier, right before we went to a
dog.
break. It was hard not to notice. What's happening up here, you think? Condensation. I thought that was going to be frozen.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Is that the crow? Did the crow
Yeah,
bang the
it's
hole for the snow to
spitting
come
snow
through?
into it.
Crows in the glass, got it. We got a family of crows that beat the fuck out of the Thunderdome. We've been told they have good memories, though, so we were trying to get on their good side. I've been trying to shake their Hans.
Yeah, let's go shake the crow's Hans.
They don't want to do it. Thanks for your work, Tim. Stay
Thank
warm.
you, Tim.
Head boy
Oh, Tim,
Tim.
don't fall off the roof.
I want to let you know right now, Tim goes walking outside. There is a family of deer that live out here. They ain't fucking seeing him.
No. You might walk into them.
They might walk
Probably
in.
he wears
might
white. He
stroll
probably has the
into Tim.
white. Does he have the snow ghillie suit too?
Oh, like
No,
Mark
see,
Wahlberg?
he's very pissed that he does not have the snow camo. He right now is thinking, need snow camo for next year.
Would be
Just
Tim
in case we go
Reese.
into an Arctic war. Tim, I will say this about Tim. Obviously, incredibly hardworking human being to a fault. Like, will never retire.
Yeah.
Has no idea how to retire. What do I do with my time if I'm not working? You know, like that type of thing. You put a gun in them motherfuckers' hands. We're talking.
Yeah, you're
Hey.
yeah.
Pinpoint.
We're,
We're talking John Wick.
Yeah. Button on the
I believe you. I believe it. Believe
I remember my first time going to a gun range, I think I was like 11 maybe. I think 12 is when you can get your hunting license. So I was 11, had to go through the entire course. They had me shoot this M1 gun where to load it, you got to fucking shove it inside. And then they were like telling you like, hey, don't get that M1 thumb. And I'm like, what's that? They're like, you leave your thumb in there too long, that thing will fucking just slice off your thumb. I'm 11 years old. I'm like, Tim, why are we?
What the hell am I
why
doing here?
Why are we doing this? So I fucking loaded in there. And like my first shot, I think it was an M1. Or, it might have been a 30-06. They might have put me on a 30-06, literally like first time shooting. 30-06, big time.
Yeah, recoil.
Big time recoil. I'm 11 or whatever. So I shoot. I missed the target. Never seen Tim be like, that's not my kid.
God damn it.
That is not my kid. So then, then gun comes back in. Tim's like, let me show you this thing. He fucking grabs it. And it's like all within the thing. They're all shooting there. That's what you're aiming for. Do you know that you're aiming for the middle? I'm like, all right, here we go.
Okay.
All right, here, let me get back.
He throws it back. Does he throw the gun back at you? Figure it out.
No, he's like super gun safety guy. Too.
Have to be.
Super duper
Good.
gun safety guy. Yeah.
I need him to help teach my kids.
Well,
I think that is a trait that like people in big cities hate, right? Because gun violence is obviously something that's terrible, but
yeah.
it's going to be really difficult to get gun. And I think there is a common sense. Okay, there's guns out there that should not just be as easily accessible as they are, and Hopefully that'll happen. And
Crazy people shouldn't be able to get guns.
Bingo. How do you fix that, though? We have no idea. We're not the ones that are going to fix that. We all agree with everybody, though, that thinks there should be some common sense and into the whole thing. I'm on your side. But as somebody that grew up in like a hunter's family, I think it's going to be tough to get Tim to ever, hand over his shotguns and his 30-06 and everything like that. Now, all those other guns that are available out there for people that obviously do incredible damage very quickly and are supposed to be in actual fucking wartime. Like, I don't know why anybody has the capability of doing that, but I don't know enough to talk about any of that shit. I'm just telling you, those hunters, that's like their life.
Oh, yeah.
Tim used to put that shit that we see him wearing right there, he used to put that in garbage bags with deer piss and fucking leaves for like 2-3 weeks before we go hunting.
Prep.
Get the smell in.
So you get the smell in that garbage bag, right? And Sally doesn't want it in her house, so that's in the back porch or whatever. But then as soon as he puts it on, I'm with him,
Oh yeah, it stinks.
So I'm just walking through the woods, mountains, which is like deer piss all, and it's like they're like, no idea we're coming. It's like, I hope not. Jeez Louise, I hope it's worth it.
Yeah, it's next level. Like people, even I feel like in those states that might not love the entire gun market per se, with people having them. Like there's even a group of those people that will go out northern New York. Even in Massachusetts, you go up to New Hampshire, or Vermont, or Maine. Like there's still pockets all over the country with people like Tim who love to hunt and actually have some sort of need for a gun.
There is common sense to be found there, though. We're not going to be the ones to figure it out, though, are we?
No,
absolutely not.
Not a chance.
Let's get to a break, and then let's come back for hour 2 on the other side. There's a lot of sports stuff we should knock out, and then we should probably try to bounce here a little bit early. It is a holiday weekend. It is cold outside.
Yeah, it's winter.
There's snow on the ground.
I'm trying to figure out the freak out situation.
It's the flash freeze freak out.
Yes, that's why. It's because we've heard something that we've never heard before, and it was flash freeze. But hey, while we were talking about the weather, actually, we need weather insiders, not weather pundits. And I feel like we had a lot of weather pundits these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, every other branch of news
Bingo.
has the insiders who are the actual news breakers, and then all the other people just kind of broadcast the insiders and give their takes on
Bingo.
it.
They're pundits. We don't need those people.
The Doppler is allegedly the insider.
I was going to say, is Mother Nature
how you
the insider? Or?
How you interpret the Doppler, though. That's what sets
team.
them apart.
Yeah. The Doppler's the insider.
Doppler's the insider.
So AI would be the insider.
And Twitter, though.
We need a rap sheet.
I don't think they exist.
Yeah. Not in the weather game.
Certainly not this year, we know.
Yeah, where's Joe DiNardo's son?
We don't know if that nepotism isn't a.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah, we don't know.
All right.
I'd assume a DiNardo is better than everybody else on a Doppler, but not 1,000% sure.
Okay. Family business. Just figured.
Connor, what do you want to do?
Probably throw. I haven't made a basketball shot from the stage or
Why'd you take your ring off?
in a long time.
I was going to throw.
Okay.
I'm not pooping.
Wasn't sure.
For the Doppler.
Here we go.
Hell yeah.
Doppler shot. Yahtzee. They look so good. Boom.
That's it.
Got it.
Let's
go!
Absolute money.
How about that, weather
Absolute
people?
money.
Suck
You've
it.
been dialed in.
Retweet this tweet to enter to be one of 10 $500 winners on this Christmas Eve edition of the Pat McAfee Show here. You retweet the tweet, you reply with saying something nice to somebody, wish somebody a happy holiday, wish somebody a Merry Christmas, and put your hashtag in that tweet to be officially entered. You could be one of 10 $500 winners going into the holiday season. We can't thank you enough for joining us. We'll be back on the other side of this 5-minute break. Be a friend, tell a friend, take 5.
Big brain football.
Man, I love this.
What is it about this spectacular game that we all love? The passing, the running, the hitting, the kicking, the scheming, the drama, the athleticism?
Let's go. Right here, big drop.
I think it's a combination of all of those things, but I believe it all boils down to this. The competition level is fucking awesome.
For the win with 2 seconds left.
A finger can literally be the difference between a W and an L.
What a turn of events!
It's what makes football wildly fun to watch and in turn, wildly fun to bet on, but I digress. The reason I'm doing this segment every week is to hopefully grow the respect for the game and to give love to the players who make all of this shit happen. Not just their skill and their amazing playmaking ability.
What I really like is the finish, man. Not a lot of guys would be able to make that 6 points.
This will be all about respecting these guys' big fucking brains.
Strong like bull. Smart like tractor.
You gotta be smart in this game, man.
Coaches usually get all of the credit in this beautiful minds of football space, but I want to shine a light on the players' brains.
Let's go do this thing, baby. Let's go.
Stuff like Mahomes and Kelsey cooking up a last-second drive in one of the best playoff games of all time.
They're playing like that, that seam is open.
That ball go down immediately.
Bills rush 4, Mahomes throws, Kelsey open inside the 40, breaks the tackle and down.
And stuff like this, all from week 1. How about scary Terry McLaurin recognizing a corner is playing lazy cover 2 technique all game, telling everyone and their mother about it.
Gotta let us run by that dude, bro. This cover 2, bro. They playing it so lazy. They're playing lazy over there all day.
Then, in the 4th quarter, when it matters, Carson Wentz hits Terry behind that lazy cover 2 corner.
Taking a shot down the field. There's McLaurin. Out of the den. And in.
That's big brain football.
Come on, man. Hey, I've been lazy all day. All day.
How about Sunday night in Dallas? Tom Brady asking Mike Evans, "What you want, babe?" And Evans calling his shot. "Give me the fade."
Yo, Tom said, what you want? Tom said, what you want, man? I said, fade.
He knows the man across from him and knows how to beat him.
I know how to get him. He trying to do that little stab. Yeah. I slow blade. Back out. I slapped him so hard right now at the line. Watch me see him. I slapped it out of him.
That's some beautiful, big brain football.
Hard to beat in the air, Mike Evans.
Which brings us to our main feature this week, Josh Allen. He doesn't just have a big arm, he doesn't just have big cojones, he has a big old brain too.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Up 14 against the world champs, 3rd and 4. He's across the line from a man who called him trash just 4 years ago. Allen knows that that particular man peeks and cheats himself, a big brain player trying to gain an advantage, often with eyes more on the quarterback and less on the receivers.
He's thinking you ain't gonna throw a ball deep. So five is literally looking and not even worried about you on the trips.
Allen knows Jalen Ramsey loves sitting on routes, especially on 3rd and 4, the money down. So he tells his guy, Mr. Minneapolis Miracle himself, Stephon Diggs, "Hey dude, don't run the called route, just go deep."
Can you take us through the touchdown, just what you saw in that play?
Josh told me, showed me just run.
Allen's hunch that 5 would peak and Diggs could get behind him paid off like a same-game parlay.
Their corners were really looking at the quarterback, and Diggs just ran a heck of a route.
Zone cover, Jalen Ramsey was trying to read the eyes of Josh Allen and let Diggs go past him, and Josh Allen soars it over Ramsey's head.
The look on Josh's face when he runs up on Ramsey is quite a, "What was that, pal?" moment. I'm sure he's saying something like, "I knew you would do the exact thing you just did, so I told my guy to adjust and we beat your ass." That's not trash, Jalen. That's not a garbage pick. No, that's big brain football.
Took him off and he gonna squat. It was simple. I knew it. It was simple. I said, "All right, go."
I hang my hat on as a player that he got that dog.
D lineman fumbling after running 50, 60 yards, 46 yards to give the Chargers a first down and the ball back again. This is a tough series. 42 seconds left in the 4th quarter, 17-17. Old buddy striding out. He's going to score a touchdown. No, he's not. His thigh is going to knock the ball out of his hand.
Drops the ball.
See ya.
Oh, my Lord.
He was about to get stripped right there, too.
I would like to say to old buddy there, yeah, it looked like there's potential punch coming from the backside regardless. We understand you're a much better athlete than we are. We understand you're better at football than us. We understand at this moment you thought you were scoring a fucking touchdown to beat the Chargers.
Yeah.
With that being said, you can't fumble it with nobody touching it but your forearm.
The best part is, too, he did return it to out of field goal range, but literally the next play, Justin Herbert just right back into field goal range.
And then Cameron Dicker out of the University of Texas kicks his 2nd game winner this year with 2 different teams. in which he has only played for 2 different teams. This guy's fallen into the kicker carousel and has showed up both times, both for the Eagles and for the Chargers. Excited to see what he does going forward.
Okay, so here's what I think. I don't know. I would love to ask him. I would love to ask what the scheme is.
Is this a read here on where the middle linebackers lined up right here? Are you able to shift this? Are they able to change this to the center pulling as opposed to the guard pulling with where the linebackers lined up there?
Yeah, that's why we wanted to be kind of in a spread formation right there, just try to put as much width to the formation as we could. And then ultimately the second part of that is being able to sell on a known passing down. I think that was the 2nd and 10, being able to sell drop back pass, the illusion of our drop back protection. And then ultimately what's going to be the best angle of departure for whoever's going to climb to the second level to try to block 57, because let's not forget who that down player is, whether it's 95, 98. The Jets have a fantastic front. That the goal going into that game was to hopefully just not let them wreck the game. And sometimes that's easier said than done with those types of players. But anytime you can get Dalvin Cook in space with the football in his hands, whether it's 2nd and 10, 1st and 10, really doesn't matter. It's something we're trying to always do. And I got to continue to find ways to do that, but also don't want to miss an opportunity to credit our offensive staff. Some of the ideas that they come up with every week, it makes it fun calling plays.
That's seemingly unstoppable right there. Spread them out, so then you got Mosley kind of on an island right there. If he lines up head up, we'll have this guy pull, and if he lines up off center, we'll have the center pull in there. That's an option that they can put in there. This modern NFL with all these rules, you're obviously a massive part of it. We need to start saying your name a lot more whenever we start talking about young offensive things.
Hey,
Why?
let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston
Hello, beautiful people. Merry Christmas Eve. It is Feel Good Friday, December 23rd, 2022. Hour 2 starts right now. Football is already in its 16th. Wow.
God damn.
16th weekend of an 18-weekend season. To my left, you're right here, AJ Hawk. Attaboy,
Yeah.
AJ. AJ's name is synonymous with hard-hitting football.
What?
Green Bay Packer football.
What?
He's a Super Bowl champion.
What?
A college football national champion.
What?
A Ryder Cup champion.
What?
A video game shit stirrer.
What?
An NBA pundit.
What?
Father of 10.
What?
COVID survivor.
What?
The jolliest old Saint Hawk.
What?
AJ Hawk.
Hell yeah. Woo!
AJ, 16th weekend already. And if we don't tell you, Talks Tables here at Boston Connor and at PMI Mitt sitting in for Ty. Ty, have an incredible holiday, pal. We miss you. One half of the Hammer
Dahn.
Cowboys 10 Diggs is here. In the back, we got Evan Foxy, Viva Lazito, and running the audio today in place of Nikki Nuzzini at Bruce Brown.
Yeah.
Good work, Bruce. And I don't know if Bill's back there with you or if he's in his office, but old Billy Tubes is also working his ass off today, and we appreciate him. Tim McAfee's climbing up in the attic of this place to figure out what pipe did what and why we got drops in the middle of our basketball court. We are incredibly happy to be here on this Feel Good Friday. Anytime I get to have a Friday in this seat, I get excited about it, AJ.
Yeah.
AJ, I get excited about having Friday. You know why?
Oh, yeah.
Because that means I get to just go home after this.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. In that, hopefully that car turns on, you'll be out of there.
That is something.
How many
It'll
miles
turn
did you
on.
have? When you parked, how many miles did you have?
Oh, I'm real.
What percentage
you're
are we
good?
at?
I'm at
you're
like
fine.
90% or
Damn.
whatever. So I'm real high up there.
Was
Should be
it
good.
plugged in last night?
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, you're good.
what's like the difference if you leave in the cold? Have you noticed like how much it falls?
No, I do not know.
I thought
It says
batteries
the-
charge in the cold.
No.
Thought you
They
put
die-
batteries
you
in
don't-
the fridge.
You don't get as many miles when it's cold.
me,
I
what?
know that.
I'm just worried the whole thing's going to lock up.
I have jumper cables.
How? You can do the Sidewinder thing. You can do the LeBron Sidewinder walk.
Better babies, you know.
A crab walk, dude.
There's been a couple times where I've hit the unlock button on it.
Yeah.
and it's just asleep or something like that, and it doesn't
Happened
even
to me.
move.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't even move. Doesn't even say a thing. Doesn't even light up its lights. Doesn't even say hi. Great to see you. Doesn't unlock the door. I'll have to push the button on the side of the door, and it'll unlock it, and I'll go in. Then it'll wake up, and it's almost like, oh, sorry about it. Like that's
Still here,
everything
huh?
just starts like firing off real quick. So I'm thinking like with it being this fucking cold, which it is. It was -9 when we got here, -2 now. Probably getting warmer. I have a warm front coming in here a little bit later this afternoon in the
Sun
middle
will
of
be
this
high.
winter storm Elliott that was supposed to. This was
You were
kind of a bitch-made storm here.
Yeah.
Now,
Same with the
it's
name.
definitely a storm. Definitely warranted a conversation. Snow on ground.
And it's cold.
Cold as shit. But the flash freeze, I believe, was drastically overstated, AJ.
If you don't feel comfortable driving, definitely you should not drive. But if you need to go somewhere, go somewhere.
Unless it gets worse than what it is now, and obviously we don't know how it is where you live.
Four-wheel drive definitely helps, though. I agree. If you're able to have four-wheel drive, that's a big thing.
Yeah, if you're going out there in a Civic or something like that, or the guy that was in a Charger with 22s.
Bold move.
That's in the middle of definitely snow-covered roads, like shouldn't do it. But this has been pretty standard snow-covered road drive day today.
Not flash freeze.
It might have changed here as we were in the show. We don't know. We obviously have something leaking up here from the roof, so the cold and the storm was real. But it being like a once-in-a-generation type thing, I think, was drastically overstated. And that's good news because hopefully more people will be safe this holiday. AJ, we talked in the first hour about Trevor Lawrence's greatness. We talked about how the Jags are all the way back around. We talked about the Cleveland Browns and the Saints this weekend. The Saints not traveling in there. We haven't really covered many of the other stories around the NFL. I think we should do that right now.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Jeremy Fowler wrote a scathing article on ESPN.com. And I only said that just because anytime you describe something as scathing, it seemingly gets more attention than if you don't, because scathing gets used a lot these days for a lot of things. Fowler basically said, Cliff Kingsbury's going to be gone. You know what I mean? Cliff Kingsbury is going to be gone. Are the Cardinals nearing the end of the road with Cliff Kingsbury? This was a pretty long article. It was on ESPN Plus, good exclusive content. Bruce Brown read the entire thing, kind of gave us the Bruce's notes, as in the Cliff's notes before the show started. Bruce, what was your big takeaway? Basically, like Cliff Kingsbury's gone after this year, and it's just been doomed for the last year or so.
Definitely, yeah. Like somebody has to go. Not going to be Kyler because of the contract situation. So kind of writing on the wall that Cliff's out of there and that Bidwell will be the owner will make that decision at the end.
Maybe
of the year.
Cliff will just resign. A source close to Kingsbury speculated, tired of the bullshit. So those who know Cliff Kingsbury, why? Well, I don't know.
Then he won't get paid. He wants to get paid. He needs to get fired to get paid.
Oh, the resigned. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know you were talking about that.
Oh, my
still.
bad. Yeah.
No, yeah. To be honest, I apologize for this because I'm normally the one that feels like we have to state the obvious.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had to even address that. But you're right, we do, because it is somebody close to him, which I was
just
going
signed a deal. Has what, 4 years left, 5 years left too?
A lot of money. A lot of money left on deal. And coaches, $800 million is currently being paid by NFL owners to fired coaches and fired general managers currently because those contracts are guaranteed. Unlike the players, the coaches and GM ones guaranteed in most places. So you fire them. There's so many Bobby Bonilla's in the coaching ranks of the NFL. People you don't even know or never even heard of getting paid at least $1 million a year for probably the next 5 years golfing right now.
Colts.
That signed Frank Reich's getting $9 million through 2026.
Sheesh.
20
year. Wait, nine a year?
Yeah. $9 million a year.
So awesome.
Through 2026. Congratulations to Frank Reich.
Boy, Frankie.
Amazing.
Frank, it didn't work out when it comes to like wins and
$9 million.
the
Success.
the trajectory of the team and everything like that.
Potential.
But we always liked Frank as a person. I didn't like that he said stinking, but he's a super religious person, was a preacher and a pastor. I think he went to one of those schools to become one of those. He lives differently than I do. I have a lot of friends that are like that. They understand that I am who I am. They are who they are. I like Frank Reich as a person. I think Frank Reich is an incredibly competitive person. Sure. I don't think it was working as him as our head coach, and I think it was very apparent that was the case. Now, did Jim fire him too early and we would have got the same results if he didn't fire him and just let him stick around? Probably. Now hindsight is kind of seeing it that way. But a change was coming. Frank Reich getting $9 million through 2026. Frank Reich, former player, still getting paid by the NFL, almost $10 million for the next 5 years, 4 years. 23, 24, 25, 4 years.
Players and coaches' pension on top of that as well.
In 5 years, really, because this year.
Oh, pension. He's already getting that.
Oh.
Yeah, because the coaches get a big old. You add years as a coach too.
What's that? That's a 401k thing?
I don't know what how it's separate when you're a coach. I know a lot of coaches that I had were like, well, I played 12 years. I got a pension from the league coming, and then also like I've been coaching for 18 years, and you get stuff that adds up every year as a coach too.
Is it 45 or 55? I think you take it out 45, but you get penalized like 10% or 15% or 20%, some incredible percentage. And then 55 is when you can actually tap into it. I think it's they take our money.
62.
It's 2-to-1 match. 2-to-1 match by the NFL. It's good. It's good. Now there is a max. You can't just put like, hey, I'm gonna put $2 million in here.
Yeah.
There is a max that
it was 15, I believe, when I was in.
Yeah, 15 or 20. What was it?
Yeah, 20. I think it went up to 20. You could put in 20 as a player.
And then they would match 2-to-1, so it'd be $60,000 going in there every single year, and then it would get. I forget what it would go up to with interest and benefits and everything like that. But like Vinatieri was inching very close to being like play. And then can take a lot of fucking money because he's played for fucking 20-some years or whatever. That's an incredible setup. We appreciate the NFLPA and the NFL figuring that out. But to your point about Frank Reich, he's collecting that, and he's collected his $9 million, and then he was with the Eagles, where I assume he was good for Frank, man.
Yeah,
good contract.
He got the job done.
So there's no way that Cliff Kingsbury is going to resign, is what we're trying to say to close source. And thank you for getting us to dive into that entire thing. But the follow-up quote, and who knows how close of a friend we should consider it if they are saying he would resign and just give up 4 years worth of a contract, but tired of the bullshit. I wonder how many people Cliff has pillow talked with about all the problems inside the Cardinals, because that cannot get out. That can never get out. Whoever Cliff is telling that he's sick of the bullshit cannot be a lot of people, because in his early stages of the contract that he's in, with the early stages of the relationship he's in with Kyler, he has to know that cannot kind of leak out anywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm fascinated to see how it all goes, but they're gonna have to do something over there, AJ. It certainly isn't working out at all. It's ugly. It's ugly.
Hey, in that article, I thought was interesting. They talked about. I mean, who knows these are anonymous people, right? And I don't know if anyone's name is in there for quotes, is it?
Don't.
Whoa.
What are you doing? That's all I'm saying. I believe that's the case here.
No, don't say I believe.
Don't say clown.
Either way, whatever it is, I do believe, I do not believe.
No, it's even worse.
Stop
doing this.
Now you're mocking it.
You prick.
They said that Cliff wanted to get rid of Kugler, the O-line coach, earlier, and then all of a sudden this incident in Mexico. And then they push him out, and they said Bidwell didn't want to pay to fire the coach, but he's going to pay to fire Cliff and pay him a lot more for 4 years, 5 years after that.
A lot of different narratives coming out, you're saying, AJ?
Yeah, like what you tell me, the owner didn't want to let Cliff move on from this O-line coach early in the year when he wanted to, because he didn't want to have to pay him off.
Allegedly.
Pay him for the rest of the year. Allegedly. But then if Cliff is gone, you got to pay him for 4 or 5 years or have a big settlement with that guy with millions of dollars.
Yeah, but your star player is the one that has the qualm with Cliff. Like, I don't know if Kyler had a big problem with like the O-line coach, maybe, but like if it's the head coach, play caller, that the guy that you're paying $160 million guaranteed to doesn't like, then you do have to take that side, because that one's worse than Cliff's.
Mid has a lot of pseudo uncles that are NFL coaches around the NFL who have definitely been fired before and had to pick up their family and move it. What are your thoughts on it, Mid? How do you think this gets handled?
Well, isn't Bidwell the same guy that last year, I mean, they had success, they went to the playoffs, and then they didn't get their playoff checks. That's a big fucking deal.
Coaches didn't get the playoff check. Allegedly.
I think that this is the same guy, and I think I'm remembering the story right. That's a big fucking deal with the coaches. So why did he sign, if he's tired of the bullshit, why would he sign again just to basically circle back and just do this whole thing again?
It's money. It's all money. Everything's money. That's why Cliff. There's no way Cliff would resign.
Yeah, and Cliff knows. I get fired. I get paid too. Like what? It's a great. It's not a bad. It's not. No one wants to get fired, but if you get fired, you want to have 4 or 5 years left on your deal.
Everybody wants to have success. Because if you have success, you have a lot more money, a lot more opportunities. That next contract, guess what? Going to be a lot bigger than this one if you have success. And once you get money from somebody, oh, this person has money, they can feel the effect of me. They have a lot more money. Let's have success. Everybody wants success. But if you're staring down, you know, it seems like this is going to be a tough road. I don't know if we got it here or if I'm the right person to do it here, which can be acknowledged by people at some point. Getting fired as a coach is not the worst thing that could happen in the NFL.
No.
Now you're going to have to pick up your family and move. Families are used to that, though. But to your point about those playoff checks, coaches' families and coaches' salaries, the assistant coaches, those playoff checks that are supposed to be the same as the players, everybody just kind of gets the same exact thing. Massive paydays for assistant, like offensive line, assistant special teams coach, assistant. Like this is just something that happens. So that's why when the news came out that this guy was potentially not paying the coaches that, we all who have been in the NFL before and have met these coaches and see how they operate knew this is a big fucking deal. That's why we started talking about it. Like, hey, you're going to run people out of there, and then future coaches. Because coaching community, fraternity, we're seeing it with Jeff Saturday, the coaching fraternity is very tight, okay? Everybody has their own trees in there, their own networks in there, but the community as a whole, the fraternity as a whole, very, very, very tight. And they talk. They all talk a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Players, a lot of players get talked about by a lot of different teams at all times. The only thing you won't hear coaches talk about, and that's because all coaches are literally doing anything they possibly can to win. That's why they're doing it. You won't hear them talk strategy week of with another coach. But if they're not playing each other or don't have are not on a schedule and won't play each other, they're talking about players like, hey, we got a returner right now that we're using who's really good, and he might not be able to make our team here in a few weeks when somebody else comes back. Like coaches are talking about everything. So a coach not getting a bonus check that he thought he was supposed to get or was like legally supposed to get, that is immediately getting sent around the coach community. Everybody's like, well, fuck that, fuck that, fuck that. So I think that got settled. I don't remember how that got settled. I believe it did get settled because Cliff signed a new contract. I would assume, to Mitt's point, why would you sign another contract if the owner just screwed over all your guys, right? So that might have been all fodder anyways. It might have been fake. But that was definitely out there, and there was definitely people that are in the coaching world that heard about it that potentially told us about it, that it happened. And that's how we even found out about it and even reported about it. So it's like it's a clusterfuck over there. AJ, it is. Yeah. And I would never expect. Phoenix is a beautiful city. They spend money on JJ. They spend money on D-Hop. They spend money on a lot of people, right? Buddha. They didn't pay Chandler. Chandler goes to the Raiders. He was a great player for them. They spend money on Kyler. It's seemingly they're going all in, but then allegedly behind the scenes, it's just a nightmare. How could it be like that? I don't understand how that can happen. Tone has something, I think, an update.
I was just looking. There was a report from Florio, January 25th of this year, last season, obviously, that there was the report, and then Bidwell came out and said the checks are being issued, so I assume eventually they did.
Okay, so they did pay. Did he get bullied into paying coaches? Still a problem.
I mean, this is kind of the same thing as like Kyler's contract earlier in the year. When that first came out, it was like everybody, firestorm, oh, he has to watch 4 hours of film. Why is this in the contract? And then Bidwell just backtracks it again. Like, it just seems like dysfunction is coming from top down throughout the whole organization.
Hey, Mitt, I think you got Mitt has a good viewpoint on this. You know,
Mitt's been in more around more players than any of us.
Me, he's been around. He's been in more NFL locker rooms than me.
Yeah,
he's met more NFL coaches than me. That means he's heard more families bitch about life.
Heard a lot
as NFL coach's wife and kid and everything like that. So fascinating.
Mitt, I got a question for Mitt.
Go ahead.
Mitt, when did you first start going in the locker rooms with your dad?
I think I was about dude. I was probably like 10. St. Louis Rams, back in the St. Louis Rams days. Sam Bradford, first overall pick, was probably the first year that I was in there.
Okay. Did your dad have to give you any coaching up on how to behave yourself and don't be a meat gazer and all that near the showers?
Basically, just
nobody was whipping their meat out around Mitt. He's a 10-year-old.
I'm saying walking through the locker room, Mitt's taking care of stuff. That's a thing you've heard.
No, as an equipment guy, I mean, I just picked up fucking towels. I did have to wash jock straps and stuff, but just don't be a mark, AJ.
There you go.
Normal.
Don't you have to be a meat gazer if you're an equipment guy? You have to be like, oh, that guy needs a fucking double XL.
No, they definitely give you their size.
The equipment managers, are some of the hardest working people.
I know that.
In America.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
In America.
Hell yeah.
They get paid for it. They're a part of an NFL team. It is a job. But if you ever meet an equipment manager, you need to know just a couple things immediately. This motherfucker works real hard. This motherfucker knows a lot of people. Okay, the equipment manager knows everybody.
And that equipment manager knows what's going on in that team. They know who's a good leader. They know who people hate. They know everything.
Yes, equipment managers are in there, and they work long hours, and they probably know how to crush beers. If I had definitely a beer crushing community, the equipment managers. I mean, the blue collarist job in the NFL is the equipment managers. That's where you can get a lot of stuff, and they're trying to make the team better. They're not trying to be a distraction.
No, I am trying. That's them looking around and being proactive and like, hey, Brock, Purdy, listen, I know you have a 14-inch fucking hog here. Like, here's everything you need to support that thing. That's being proactive.
What if an equipment manager went up to Brock Purdy after what you just said was a fact? We'll act as if it is, because it seems like it is.
Right here in this spot and said that.
Seems like it is, potentially. Yeah, that was Coach B's keys. Hey, this is what we used for the previous name to tie it for you.
Yeah.
What if that is something that
Frank Gore.
Hey, here's a. This is how you used to have to throw it over his shoulder.
Like Continental Soldier.
Bingo.
Yeah, maybe the equipment manager does have to do that professionally.
It's possible.
That's what I mean, come on.
Doesn't.
Everything that I say
out.
doesn't have to be taken that way.
Mid, what a job for your dad to put you in, by the way. Just like, all right, go wash the fucking clothes.
Yeah,
okay,
good way to
go
learn.
pick up all the cones. Need you to shag all the balls out here for practice, and shut up. It's like, all right, what a perfect hard work. You're taught hard work.
Exactly.
And you get networking.
Yeah.
That's almost like that's a win-win almost.
And it's football.
Coach B
it
just
was
texted
awesome.
in the group and said that nobody worked harder than Mitt, and he kept his mouth shut.
That's what I'm saying.
Nice.
Mitt was great, dude.
Is this why the
I have a
Colts
9-year-old.
Because Mitt's gone? Whoa. Need a guy like that around.
Was he the glue?
No,
He's the
you
glue
left,
guy.
have they? Or they've not won since Mitt left.
It is sad. I left like 2 days before the Andrew Luck retired.
Wait, so he's
Wow.
like, Andrew Luck was like, oh shit,
I have no any lunch
I don't
with
get to have lunch with
lunch
Mitt
buddy.
anymore.
Can't do this
That's
without
what
him.
happened. I don't think that's
Did
what
you get a
happened,
text?
but
Did you change your number? What if Luck texted you and said, I decided I wasn't able to do this without you?
Mitt come back?
that
He
would
got
be
booed
awesome.
out of a stadium because you. I hope you're
Wow.
happy.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
How do you sleep at night?
Hey, you are a fucking incredible hard worker, man. I mean, like, real hard worker.
Thank you.
He should hit those balls far. Mitt would be standing his little dumb head underneath them.
What kind of architecture did you guys talk about?
He talked a lot about basically overseas newspapers and bicycle riding.
And you knew.
Oversea news.
I sat in the pocket well.
So he grew up in Germany.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah, Andrew grew up over there because
What was
of
his
World
dad doing
League.
over there?
World League.
Oh.
I think it was the Berlin team.
Rheinfire.
I think it was the Berlin.
Berlin Bears.
But he actually said he watched Adam Vinatieri when Vinatieri was playing for the Amsterdam Admirals. Whenever he was out in the World League watching the games with his dad.
For New England.
And he enjoyed Vinatieri from then. He'd been a fan of his ever since. When he got to play alongside of him, that was like a part of it. So, like, Andrew is one of the most cultured people of all time.
He's interesting, man. He's very interesting to me.
Interesting. I am not. I'm the most basic human of all
And
time.
Mitt.
That's a tie. And then Mitt was just sitting there going, that's crazy.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's cover some more stuff here. The Colts are officially out of the playoffs.
Oh, no.
Good run.
Jags did it again.
No.
Good run.
2 years in a row. Jacksonville
look at the
Jaguars knock out the Indianapolis Colts. Kevin Bowen, formerly of the Indianapolis Colts, now of 1070 The Fan here in Indianapolis, and the Colts are officially eliminated from the playoffs. 6th time in 8 years. Worst stretch for the franchise in 2.5 decades. No division title in 8 years. Worst stretch for franchise in 3 decades. Kevin Bowen asked a question. I'm curious how Jim Irsay continues to act upon the lowest point of his ownership.
Yeah.
Such a good question, honestly. And in that picture right there, Edgerrin James is right behind Jeff. And we just saw that. I just saw that this morning. I think that's his first game in Vegas. If this is before kickoff, running out as a team, and Jeff had Edge running with him and the team, we should have talked about that more. That's some of the coolest shit of all fucking time.
Yeah.
Okay? Edgerrin James sprinting out just because, right?
Yeah.
Edge is a whole
Shades on.
Shades
And
on.
looking cool.
Living. Jeff's like, hey, Edge, I thought to myself, who do I want to run alongside me as I lead the team on the field for the first time as a head coach, never do anything? And the first thing I thought of is, who's the coolest dude on earth? Edgerrin James.
Yep, need you.
And Edge is like, hey, you got it, Jeff. Just tell Big Jim, send that plane, fly me over there. I will run out there. So we should have talked about that. Edgerrin James running out on the field with the Colts. No wonder they beat the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Maybe we need to do them more often. Maybe that's what's missing. But them being eliminated from playoffs yet again by the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know the people down in Duval had a nice little laugh last night, and I'm sure the cheeks of Jacksonville were clapping all over town after a big win, and they're doing their thing. But Colts are in a bad spot. Team fucking stinks, dude. The team stinks. The team.
What do they do?
Stinks.
What do we do this offseason?
I see you say that in a tweet and tag, Jim?
Yeah.
Good.
Players are seemingly. Yeah, I tweeted them. Yeah, look right there. We have good players, I think. I honestly believe we have. Team flat out stinks.
Well, yeah,
that's real.
That's the problem.
Hey, Jim, good luck out there, dude. Literally, just this is a thing.
Maybe less guitars, more guards.
More guitars, more showmanship during games, though.
Well, yeah, if Jim's
like
playing
during
at halftime,
games, Jim, we'd like you to perform at halftime of the games as opposed to everything else, especially if the team is going to be at its worst point in 3 decades. Okay, so let's think about making the show a little bit better. Worst point in 3 decades, but also Jim. He has to be just as fucking confused as everybody else.
Of course.
He's paying great players all over the place. Hey, all over the place. He's got a lot of guaranteed money in escrow right now. Jim Irsay does because he's paid it. The players are notable players. Players are successful players. And then all of a sudden the whole fucking team just stinks.
Yeah.
How does that I have no idea. Jim Irsay's probably asking the same. There is no less than 10 questions, or 10 songs, that are about Jim Irsay questioning everything that's going on with his team right now. I paid everybody and we still can't win. Never been here before. Never planned to have been. I sell out Lucas Oil with my own damn shows. Our team shows up and they put up zeros. This team is shit. This team is ass. Now you ask yourself a question, how long will it last? I wish I could tell you, 'cause this team here is ass. That's what Jim's doing right now.
That's the
Yeah, well, and it's not going to fucking change, unfortunately, because it's not as if they stink and have a future. It's not as if they are a win-now team anymore, because they were the last 2 years, win now, win now. And this year, all the players that they've had that are win-now players kind of haven't been that great. And then there's no sort of like, hey, we have this guy who's the future of the franchise, like we'll be okay. Unless you want to latch your wagon to Jonathan Taylor, which isn't a terrible idea. But is the offensive line, that's been the offensive line of past, still what we think they are?
Mitt, tell him. Shaq Leonard didn't play this year. Tell him, Mitt.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that is probably the heart and soul of the defense. But, I mean, at least probably going to get a top 10 pick. Have your first-round draft pick this year. Get a quarterback. Let's go.
Yeah, he'll definitely be good. No doubt about
guarantee, though.
Commanders don't have that pick?
No, Commanders.
No, Commanders had last year's pick.
No, they have the second-round pick this year, I believe.
Do we still have our first? That's
Eagles
it. What about
had-
What about?
Yeah, you still have your first. I believe the conditional
There it
pick.
is.
Okay, we're 6th.
Yeah, the conditional pick with the Commanders.
That's where you got your only Pro Bowler this year. I believe it was number 6 overall pick.
Quentin Nelson made Pro Bowl this year.
That's right. He had a really good year.
He's having.
Well, the season's over, so. But yeah, he's having.
No, there's a couple more games left. Still got a lot of pancakes to be had.
He'll be there.
Yeah, well, actually, hopefully not, because if those do go well, then you'll probably go all the way up to 14.
See,
Oh, no.
So do you want the
let's
6th
look at that
overall
win
pick?
percentage again, please. Can we look at see where 7's at?
Yeah, believe me, it's not
Atlanta.
that far off.
Oh no.
Actually, yeah, if you win your next game, you go all the way to 10. That's sweet.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, because that tie.
All those people, who the fuck knows, dude?
Yeah, exactly. That's why.
10th
who
overall
cares?
picks have gone on to be successful.
Yeah.
6th overall picks have gone on to be successful. 6th overall picks have gone on to be ass.
Bingo.
And 10th overall picks have gone on to be ass. So nothing is a sure thing, but
No,
you would think it will be a new GM, probably, right?
100%. I would.
Are they?
assume.
Remember, Chuck told us yesterday that. Did you listen to Chuck? Were you on when Chuck was on?
No, I wasn't on
Noon
that.
hour.
He said something that was fascinating and news to me, and I don't know if you know. I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts on it. So he said nowadays agents are pairing coaches and GMs up for these interviews. So, like, instead of a head coach going in and getting interviewed and a GM going in to get interviewed and then them finding out, like, hey, if you both get along, you'll get a job. And, like, an hour of hanging out. Now, coaches and GMs are almost going in as a paired item.
Happened a lot.
I feel like that's smart. I think that's a smart idea. So the presentation and the interview process with the owner is literally the GM laying out the team and then the coach describing why and how. And then job descriptions are already made, right? Going in, job descriptions are already there. I get control of the final 10 on the roster. Active, I get the last 2. Like that whole thing, the coach can say and then ownership say. And it's all kind of being laid out in the process of this is how we would run a building. This is how this whole thing would go. And then the owner then is just asking questions. Well, what if this situation pops up? What if this pops up? And then they get to, I think that's a smart idea. This feels like a smarter idea than individual interviews and piecing them together. I might be wrong. I'd be intrigued to hear your thoughts on that.
No, I think it's smart if your GM and head coaching job is open. A lot of times the GM is there and the GM is part of bringing in the new head
Really?
coach. So I guess, I'm not saying always, but yeah, that definitely happens.
Happened with Balky, I guess.
Yep.
But it's seemingly everything's like, you know what I mean?
Well, or like Seattle was the other way around. They had Pete Carroll and they brought in John Schneider after Pete Carroll was there. Those, like, how do you create that relationship? Those guys seem to be absolutely on the same page, and they have been from day one.
Yeah, and there's a lot of teams that are great that the two are on the same page, and then there's a lot of teams that have dysfunction. And it's because there's dysfunction between the general manager and head coach. Chuck talked about it, and obviously Chuck maybe experienced that. I think the whole world saw that happen towards the end of it all. But that's not an anomaly. That happens all the fucking time. Sometimes it's just not made publicly. And then sometimes relationships end. And then people are like, I wonder what happened with them. It's like, oh, behind the scenes, they didn't agree on fucking anything. They didn't agree on any of the decisions. And that's tough when you have a successful coach. This is still an NFL head coach. You know, so smart, knows football, charming, successful, and funny. And then the GM, okay, this is an NFL GM. Fucking super genius, hardworking, accomplished. And it's like you two. So it's going to be hard for both these people to potentially put their egos aside to maybe listen to a better idea or a better concept because it's like, no, my whole life I've wanted to be a GM and I'm doing it this way. And then this person's like, well, my whole life I wanted to be a head coach and we're doing it this way. And it's like, if those two can't come together and figure it out, or in Detroit it's happening right now.
Bingo.
Perfectly. And the true alpha knows when to concede to another alpha.
That's right.
Something like that is what Dan Campbell said about Brad, and they had some tough times. They stuck with it. So that's good.
A lot of people think Caldwell was fired because our GM at the time, Bob Quinn, was a Patriots guy, and he had no ties to Caldwell, fired him, and that's why they hired Matt Patricia, and that was absolute disaster. So you bring in both guys at the same time. Now look what's happening.
But look at what happens with the Cardinals is coming up.
Yes.
Basically, it's been, has it been formally?
Keim's still out, right? Is he still
health? But it's been like kind of alluded to on internet reports, I believe.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah, that.
That what? He's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone after the season. Like this health stint here, and then after he's going to be released.
Yeah.
Cliff Kingsbury, you read that Fowler article. Bruce, correct me if I'm wrong. He's gone after this year, seemingly.
Yeah, and he had no say in the personnel decisions, even with Keim out. Like Bidwell kind of stepped in and was handling like not wanting to fire the O-line coach and that sort of thing. But also with the Cardinals, they got sold a marriage of Kyler and Cliff from Drew Rosenhaus. So it's kind of interesting that they went with that marriage, basically an instant divorce, and now they're obviously in trouble.
I thought Kyler's agent was the same as Cliff's, and it was that what was his name? The guy that put out the tweet.
Mugoleta or
David? No, not Mulligata. That's Deshaun's. $230 million guaranteed. We need him to be negotiating for the United States of America.
Yeah, soon.
Now. Hey, Dave, we appreciate your work in the NFL and being a great agent to all these NFL players. And you can get back to that at some point. The country needs your negotiating ability.
Immediately.
Yes, probably 50 years ago.
Yeah, just about.
If we could get him in, greatest negotiator in the history of negotiations.
Change the game. Change the whole game.
You business people can talk shit about us or whatever. I'd put our sport fucking nerd Mulligata against any of you business negotiators.
Yep.
At any table. Go ahead. You know, I hear about all these killers the business world has in negotiation. I've seen a couple of them. Maybe. Good negotiators out there. Great negotiators out there. I've sat down at a table with somebody that is every word that was coming out of their mouth was leverage. Every single thing that was coming out of their mouth was setting up some form of leverage. So you have to acknowledge that. And it's like, okay, we are definitely doing a little, hey, how you doing right now? But there's angles happening here.
Oh, yeah.
This conversation is trying to go in a certain direction. And I've sat down with people and I'm like, oh, okay, these people, they have a number, but we can certainly, mold here and we can work. Mulligata, as soon as you sit down with him, he's working every word. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. I remember when, and pointing out a previous contract maybe that you point out. That's the small talk that he's bringing up. Then going into it, and it's like building a relation. Negotiators have a talent, how you get to a place. And it starts at the beginning of the conversation. However, wherever that thing leads to, if you can steer that ship back, then it's like, okay, here we go. Some people can't do that, though. So then the expectation starts here, and then you're wiggling around this. Mulligata, I assume there was a lot of people pushing this way, and then he just goes ahead and goes, sports gambling's coming in, right? Rights deals are in, everything like that. And then all of a sudden it's over here now. It's like, and then Navalny happens, and then it comes back, and it's like he, I think, could go against anybody about anything, and your country needs you, Mulligata. Please.
Come on, Dave.
Come on. Please, Dave.
Eric Burkhart is the.
Yeah, Eric Burkhart was the guy that wrote the entire thing. So I didn't know Rosenhaus. How was Rosenhaus a part of that?
No, it was Eric Burkhart. I just flipped him.
Oh,
Rosenhaus did all the Miami deals.
Bruce, you got to have your
Bruce's notes. Remember, so not Rosenhaus. We apologize, Rosenhaus, in that particular part. But Burkhart, was the one that applied the public pressure. Another negotiating tactic.
Yep.
He moved that conversation right over into, enemy territory there with the public opinion and a public jury, which is good. And if you win the mob, you win Rome, I believe is the quote, and it has been for a long time for a good reason. But like the Cardinals are going to have the head coach and GM open, Colts going to have the head coach and GM open. I think that's going to become the.
Yeah,
I think it's going to become the thing. And
but who do you bring in if you're Arizona though, and you're Bidwell, the owner? Like, what makes you think the next guy you bring in is going to get along with Kyler and everything's going to go great?
So that would have to be obviously a part of it. The GM and the head coach that come in there and pitch themselves to Bidwell. Did you see our team meeting as a stage?
No. I didn't see it.
Couple steps
What do you mean?
up.
It's
like Cliff walks up onto a stage in front of the team?
Yeah, and the seats are
that
pretty
far
close.
Yeah.
Pretty close. Like front rows, like right, probably a table length, and then there's a stage, and then the thing's up here.
Yeah.
Zito's going to pull it up here. I've only seen this from Hard Knocks because Steve Keim was addressing the coaches, and he was sitting on the edge of the stage. And then Cliff Kingsbury was addressing the team, very weird, and he was standing way off to the side at the bottom of the stairs, and he was shooting up onto a stage. The video, I'm like, that's a weird setup.
Yeah, wild setup.
That's a weird setup. And I wonder if there isn't more stuff that's kind of behind the scenes that for one reason or another coaches just haven't been able to have success there. Like, what is it?
Well, and that's the other thing. Like you just mentioned about how all the NFL coaches talk to each other. Jesus. Like what NFL coach is going to reach out to Cliff and that be a wanted destination with Kyler?
Yeah, this is their team meeting room here. It's also their media room.
Everybody wants to be a head coach, though.
Yeah, everybody. There's only 32 of those
with
jobs.
Kyler?
32 of those jobs, dude.
Wait, they use their team meeting room as their press conference room too?
I believe, yeah, because I've seen Cliff address the team in this room, and I've seen Steve Keim address the coaches in this room. But yeah, look at that stage up there. The steps are up on the left side. So
that does seem like too formal for every day's coach. Like comes in at 7:30 and starts the meeting. It would be weird to see him jump up on the stage. Hey guys, like
it's like a high school auditorium with those doors.
Well, it's much smaller.
Doesn't feel intimate. Like a team meeting should feel intimate. I feel like.
Yeah, so maybe we're just not getting it right from Hard Knocks, and maybe they're doing sets and just doing stuff in different places. The owner addressed the team on Tuesday's Hard Knocks. At Viva Lazito was the only one that saw it. What did the owner, Bidwell, tell the team on Hard Knocks?
He basically told him that what's his name was
Keim.
taking the health break, and then he was very mad at how the team was playing and a bunch of stuff, and was like, you guys better step up, and then it kind of went to like the beginning of the episode.
Okay, so I like the owner.
I want to see that. That's awesome.
Zito mentioned that this morning because Zito's the only one that has watched it, and I think we've told him in weeks past, like,
you don't gotta watch it.
Hey, don't watch it, but if you do watch it and see anything, like if you see Keim address the team with everything that's going on, like definitely tell us. You know what I mean? Like we would like to see that because I would like to see what he says to the team because the team listening to him speak and then he has to go on a medical leave and everything like that and he's fired. That locker room's already lost. That locker room already. There's already the amount of that's happening right there. Adults amongst adults in a room has already happened. Cliff, in that article, I guess he says, we just got to play better. He doesn't really do much of like, you're terrible, you're terrible, you're terrible. He said that in the article, so there isn't a lot of that.
So maybe the owner came in to call him out, because in that article they do say how Cliff isn't one to call people out in front of everybody. He's not like a guy to hold him accountable in front of your teammates. And Bidwell comes in when he just goes through the whole list and goes down the line of everybody.
Cliff, this is what you need to do, okay? Hey, you, number 48 on the roster. Guy that we don't know and aren't paying any money. Stand up.
Yeah.
You missed a tackle last week. You remember that? Sit down.
What the hell are we doing?
And you, anonymous player over here that plays on special teams, holding penalty on a return, send us up at 10, sit down. Offensive lineman, what's up, fatso? Why don't you lose some weight so you can keep up with that nose guard that's just running right by? Sit down.
Prick.
And then he walks out. He's like, that's how you do it, Cliff. And then Cliff goes, did you say anything to Kyler? Because if you don't call out Kyler, you just lost the entire team immediately.
Yep.
Like that's
the thing. That's exactly right, though. Like, it is funny, but you're right. If those players don't see him, if they see him calling out other people and they don't hold Kyler accountable, the whole team is gone. They're not going to listen.
Yeah, you can hold people accountable. Okay, that's very good of you. But if you don't hold, the obvious,
highest paid,
glaring problem accountable, you attacking those other people is actually going to go the other way. You're going to lose. Everybody's
It's a classic scared coach tactic. I'm not saying Cliff does it, but I've seen it done. Yeah, where, hey, I'm going to hold these guys accountable. I'm going to be a hard ass. And they go after a guy that played 2 plays, a special team or whatever, and they don't talk to anybody that really played much.
You. How about you? How long you been our second team tight end? 4 years, right? 4 years? Everybody seen him? Works hard, right? Works hard. Get a ball thrown to you, first one of the year, you drop it. Remember that? Would have been a first down. We go down the field, we score. Sit down. It's like everybody's like, bro.
What is going on?
This guy just lived his dream, bro. Lived his dream. Thanks for holding us accountable, man. But fucking hey.
Yeah.
This guy, what are we even doing here?
And that's the thing with Kyler, though, is that he hates all that shit, right? But also,
so Cliff,
he can't, like, his hands are tied almost.
And there's no way Bidwell went after Kyler.
No.
Zero.
No.
I would assume.
They can't at this point, can they? Like, they're probably still apologizing for the dumb thing they put in the contract about the film stuff.
Kyler's, he tore his ACL a couple weeks ago, so he who knows if he's even in the building, and that's why, like, if Cliff does get fired, you got a new coach coming in, new system, and then you also have your starting quarterback probably not going to be ready by training camp.
Just make Colt McCoy the head coach.
That would probably be the smartest thing to do.
Just make Colt McCoy the head coach. Everybody will be pumped up about it.
He's out this week,
Fitzgerald.
Yeah, have
That
Fitz
would be
be
awesome.
2 head coaches. Okay, Colt, Larry Fitzgerald.
Kurt Warner, give him a title, give him co-head coach as well.
Yeah, this is the team meeting. So it is the team meeting room as well as the press room.
I like how they put the name. Like, you don't.
Hey, this is the guy that signs your checks. This guy that signs your checks right here.
He picked JJ up.
That's where Cliff does all his coaching from, by the way. Right there. When I saw the clip
Really?
on Hard Knocks.
So they can see the screen.
Yeah, he has a remote and he's standing in that corner over there.
Even though you could definitely just stand to the left of the screen.
I'd like to be
Stand
done.
by the computer.
Yeah, you could, but then it's you're pretty far away from the team.
Cliff's awesome, and he doesn't deserve it.
You're on a stage.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a weird.
The whole setup is
It's a weird.
It doesn't make much sense to begin with.
It's a weird setup. And it also looks like it's from 19.
The brick is weird brick.
Yeah, that might be old Bidwell's setup if we know anything about him.
Just like traditional. And you know how they probably sell it, if I had to guess? Like, the tradition of this building has been this way since the beginning. It's like, oh, you sound like a team that doesn't want to invest money in your facility.
Yeah.
No. We want to uphold tradition. And, okay, yeah.
No Super Bowl wins yet.
Yeah, no Super Bowl, but we need to win one. This is the way you do it around here. That just looks like an old fucking room. We shouldn't be judging everything.
But it does. I mean, look at the brick.
What
It looks
happens
like
when you
one of
lose?
those like old elementary schools that's in your towns.
It does.
That's the
probably
type of
this,
brick.
though. Now, this is obviously brick that was laid by Italians, and we appreciate them.
That's right. Straight from Italy.
On this stage. But we were offered, they said, if you don't want to do actual brick, which we definitely did,
Obviously.
I believe.
Why wouldn't we?
So they also offered up something that was just like vinyl that could appear to be brick
That'd
in
be
certain
cool.
spots that they maybe
Yeah, we
weren't.
don't want that, though. We don't want that, do we?
We did not. No, we did not. But I'm saying maybe in the Cardinals.
Oh.
That might not even
They
be
might have
brick.
done
We
it.
don't even know if that's
Yeah.
brick. We don't even know if that's
It's
brick.
just a shit show.
It is.
Like, what are they going to do? Like, they have a young quarterback and their hands were tied and they had to sign him. But now, is JJ Watt going to re-sign? I'd assume no.
All right, let's move on. Phoenix is wonderful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Great. At the end of the day, they get to leave that building and be in Arizona.
It's probably the problem. Might be part of the problem.
Like Miami, they said was a problem. Can't play in Miami because, Miami flu happens every single day. Young guys can't handle it. It's like, well, they've lost the last 3. Is the Miami flu got in? Or you just need the right guys to be able to handle Miami because there is a lot of distractions. Phoenix, there's a lot to do out there.
Yeah.
And it is gorgeous outside.
Yeah, I'm surprised LA hasn't fallen.
I mean, literally everywhere is LA might have.
Yeah. True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rams might have.
Legitimately. Both sides.
But Phoenix's hockey team's leaving town.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
They're playing
they're
in
a
like a high
5,000.
school.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then their football team is fucking literally crumbling right in front of our eyes.
Phoenix Suns have been on a little skid.
They're supposed to get Kevin Durant.
Oh, yeah. No chance. Nets are hot.
That dude, see that Michigan State guy just bought him for $4 billion, though, right?
Hell yeah.
Uh-huh.
And he hates Dan Gilbert.
Who's Dan Gilbert? Yep.
Who's Dan Gilbert? That's mortgage bank.
They both
Rocket
are mortgage
Mortgage.
guys, and they have rival companies.
So
in
Michigan State's just known for mortgage companies.
Those two guys are, and they both fund Michigan State sports. So it's kind of a crazy story.
Basketball team.
So Cavaliers with Gilbert.
Yep.
Rocket Mortgage
Matt
Arena.
Ishbia.
Matt Ishbia is Rocket Mortgage.
Only 42
No,
years
sorry,
old, I
that's Dan Gilbert.
So that's so let's just let's go
Start
through
over.
it. Yeah, so Dan Gilbert, Michigan State grad, starts Rocket Mortgage, owns Cavaliers. I believe the arena they play in is the Rocket Mortgage Arena, and then the basketball team is the Michigan State Spartans, presented by Rocket Mortgage. Right?
Bingo.
That's the actual title of the name of the team. Hey, who's coming to town this weekend? Michigan State Spartans, presented by Rocket Mortgage Loans or something like that. Right?
Yes.
Big donation for that.
Yes.
And then this guy says, wait a minute. Our mortgages have better interest rates. Our mortgages have better setups. I just so happen to go to Michigan State. I don't like to flaunt my shit as much, but if I have to, I will. He buys the Suns. Now he's going to invest mightily because he wants to bury Dan Gilbert and the Cavs and every other theory about him.
Spot on.
He's the CEO of United Wholesale Mortgage.
And what's his name?
Matt Ishbia.
Ishbia. Hey, good luck out there, Matt.
Only one T in Matt, so I don't know if you can trust him, but
he took shots at Gilbert. I read the deal with he takes shots at him, saying like he was pissed because Gilbert laid off 2,000 people, and Ishbia said we've never laid anybody off and we never will.
Oh, so
beef.
Matt's like, hey, I'm
Ishbia also
Matt said we're
was
a
a
family
walk-on
company.
basketball player at Michigan State, and then did all this. So it's kind of cool.
Okay, so I like their chance. Why don't you buy the NHL team?
Well,
Maybe
no one wants
He
that
loves
sinking
basketball.
ship.
because hockey.
What?
Compared to the NBA, I mean, just what are the salary caps? What's the comparison?
What are we even talking about? He has an arena, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
But the Coyotes.
Also, another fun fact about Ishbia, he was.
I just want to let everybody know, if I am ever in a position to buy an NHL team, I'm buying an NHL. Like, what are we even? What are we even talking?
But if you had the choice,
NBA?
between an NBA and an NHL,
I'm buying an NBA team.
yeah, especially one that is.
But if I can buy both, I'm buying both.
There you go.
Yeah. But the Phoenix, the Suns are good, and they have a chance to win a championship, which would
Yeah, but in hockey, you get money. You can get good.
still $80 million salary.
Aren't they fighting with their
It's
coach
not as
Con
much.
out in Phoenix?
No, that's just DeAndre Ayton, who they basically told to fuck off, but then they matched his deal, so he couldn't leave, and he wanted to leave.
Did he and the head coach not get along?
So they paid him. Allegedly, they paid him to be a part of a trade for Kevin Durant. This is what was being reported at the time. Feel like they didn't have enough pieces to trade for Kevin Durant when the Kevin Durant trade sweepstakes were potentially taking place. And it was at the same exact time where DeAndre Ayton had gotten an offer from somewhere else. DeAndre Ayton would have been from the Pacers. DeAndre Ayton would have been the only player that people thought that you could add to a trade that maybe Kevin Durant would have been able to go. So the way it was being reported was that the Suns had to pay Ayton, even though they weren't planning on having him, because they needed trade bait to get Kevin Durant, because that was potentially on the list of teams that Kevin Durant would want to go to, because once again, Phoenix is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So
sign and trade.
So now that guy, I would assume, how's it? He does not have a good relationship with the Suns.
No, not really. But he hasn't played that terrible, and they're still a very good team with him.
I mean, I don't watch much, but I know that they're feuding. I've seen a few clips of that on the sidelines on the bench.
Mitt watches. How are the Hot Boys doing? Is everybody good? The Hot Boy Parlay doing good? Or
Well, Chris Paul has had a little bit of a schneid.
You know why?
Yep.
He got hurt and
Is he okay with Kanye and everything?
No, I don't think so.
I think his
That's been
house
the shot.
probably has been pretty loud.
Yeah, Devin Booker also got hurt. Devin Booker came back. He's playing again, so they're kind of turning it around, I guess you could say. But, I mean, we'll see. The NBA doesn't really start till after Christmas, so, like,
I don't know. Around the corner.
Who's going to be good?
Well, I think personally, I think the Lakers are
Don't.
going to be good. But
come
realistically,
on.
the Celtics,
What?
the Cavaliers are really, really good. The Bucks, and then in the East, I don't know. The East is just kind of a fucking shit show. I don't know.
East should
Did
probably
you
win.
say
I mean, the West.
Celtics?
Sorry, the West.
Okay, got it. I was about to say
The
you
Nets
just
are really
named-
good now, actually, though. The Nets are super fucking good.
Yeah, I heard Kyrie was talking shit to somebody because it was Golden State. They beat the fuck out of Golden State.
Killed them.
Some fan was saying, Kyrie, you're only doing this whenever because Steph Curry's out or something. Like Steph wasn't playing or something.
Yeah, he's hurt.
And then Kyrie said, when he comes back, I come back. That's offset or whatever. And I was like, okay, I respect that out of Kyrie. I don't know if that's. I mean, we'll have to see statistically, but I did see that was the case.
They're like 13-1 in their last 14. The East should have one of the champions this year.
All right, let's run through a couple more stories and let's get the fuck out of here and have a great holiday. Let's have a great holiday.
Oh, yeah.
If you're watching whatever holiday you're celebrating, fucking have a great one.
Crush it.
Love you, Santa.
That's what Tony's celebrating.
Only the mall Santas, though.
That is
right?
what Tony.
All Santas. I respect all Santas.
Even little
Tone
Santas.
would be a great Santa. He's so jolly and happy all the time.
Fat.
I think later in life it's going to happen. No, you're
I
not
didn't say
fat. But
that.
later in life, I
No,
think
you're
that
not.
beard is going to be.
Diet white.
Some guy I was driving.
No, it'll go.
I was going shopping yesterday. Christmas shopping, wrap it all up.
Oh, yeah.
Some guy driving an F-250, dressed full Santa suit,
Sweet.
full white beard,
It's awesome.
hat, driving. I had to quickly get over, because I was driving like an asshole. Was not sitting in the 2-hour traffic that they expect us to sit in here in Indiana.
no.
Can't do it. And if I wasn't able to get in, I was just going to fucking go right home. You know what I mean? Like, the store is here. That's literally the decision I made. As I was sitting there, I'm like, all right, I'm either going home or I'm going to be an asshole here. And I'm very sorry about it. Had to get home by the time the fucking
Storm started.
Flash freeze.
F-250 comes up, slow off the gate, okay? Always looking for that. Slow off the gate. Red light, everybody stops. My lane stops. I'm right next to F-250 Santa. Roll window down. He rolls windows down. I go, Merry Christmas, Santa Claus. Just straight-faced.
Yeah.
And he goes, Merry Christmas to you, young man. And then I said, can I get in front of you? And he goes, absolutely. And rolls up the window.
Love you, Santa.
Fucking
Christmas miracle.
Fucking Santa let
That's
me in
awesome.
yesterday. It was amazing,
Yeah,
dude.
that's sweet.
Beard was fucking fantastic. I mean,
Brought a
like,
tear to my eye hearing that.
Yeah.
I always try to like see, gimmick. Like if he knew how funny it was what he did, Merry Christmas, young man.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Because he's Santa.
He's in
You
character.
went home and told Miss Claus for sure.
What do you mean?
It was nice.
He didn't want you to look in the back. He had like 10 kids in the back. He didn't want you to.
Wow. Don't ruin that.
Jay.
Is that why he let me in? He was trying to give back to society after what he had just done. He was trying to kind of get
What
equal.
he's about to
karma.
do, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Crazy.
Of course.
We don't need that around fucking Christmas.
We
Come
don't.
on.
I was just in the holiday spirit, AJ.
What the fuck, dude?
There is breaking news coming out of the new media rights deal that the NFL has signed with YouTube and YouTube TV. Michael McCarthy of Front Office Sports is reporting bad news for fans of DirecTV's Red Zone. NFL will only offer the NFL Red Zone produced by NFL Network next season. We're going to focus on the Red Zone produced by NFL Media, and that's what will be available on YouTube, said NFL exec Drew Prasad. And I believe that means Siciliano's role as a Red Zone host is officially over, although he has 10 to 20 other incredible hosting gigs. Those who spend their Sundays with Siciliano, seemingly this is going to be your last year being able to do so because Scott, not Chris Hansen, will be the host on YouTube and YouTube TV. Hell of a run, Siciliano's Red
Good
Zone.
job, Siciliano.
Kind of
Hey, I got a
expect.
question.
Go ahead, AJ.
About the game. Sorry. I was talking to some people about it going to YouTube, some older people, and they were freaked out, by the way.
This is always your move. Hey, Herbie, explain to like my mom and dad
Yes.
how to watch the game on Prime, okay? And everybody's like, open the Prime app.
That's what I'm
okay,
doing.
tell my mom and dad that then, is what you say. You always try to speak for those people, and I appreciate that. Now, we're on a show that is on an app, the same one that you're about to ask about, but go ahead.
So say these, local games that are on in your local area, will those still be like on the local CBS channel?
Yes.
Yeah, those are blocked out
Okay.
from Sunday Ticket. You actually can't watch them on Sunday Ticket.
It's actually a problem.
That's stupid.
Sometimes.
But okay.
Yes.
exactly.
You're 100% right. It is a problem.
And
Blackout thing's still going on?
Well, on Sunday Ticket for the local game. I don't know about stadium sales, ticket sales. I don't know about that.
And to
honestly.
those
So that way, though, if you're old, you can still fire up your old TV and find your team on your local.
Yes.
I'm still going to be able to watch the goddamn Coats?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And
That's all I need to know. Who's going to be commentating? Is it going to be some fucking asshole?
Nope.
Same people.
Same people.
Thought so?
Okay.
To those that were worried that you're going to have to get YouTube TV to get the NFL Sunday Ticket, I believe that is not the case. I believe YouTube is adding premium channels, so you can just go to YouTube and subscribe to that premium channel, which will be NFL Sunday
$2.99 or
Ticket.
something, probably $3.99.
100.
Oh, so it's going to charge full Sunday Ticket price.
I would assume
Yeah, probably
so.
same thing. Because I don't have DirecTV. I just pay for Sunday Ticket,
Which was like $300 a season, right?
$290, $260, whatever the hell.
I like that's smart having that be an option on an
Yes.
app that is available on every human's phone post 2010.
Comes
Amen.
automatically.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I was being sold by some people like, we're going to be an app that's going to be available on all smart TVs. So that would be good for the reach of your program. I'm like,
Fast Network.
I'm like, is YouTube an app on every
I think so.
every one of them, right? That's why I asked the question. Yeah, but ours is also on there. Yeah, got it. Not easy. That's a great find.
True.
But we're gonna have to throw that one out as a thing against YouTube. YouTube's in a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
Google is very vast. Them getting into the NFL is great. I would think for us, it's good news as a YouTube show.
Yeah, for sure. But we don't.
We have
talk
zero
anymore.
relationship over there.
Yeah.
It
Honestly,
definitely legitimizes YouTube to people who don't really use YouTube when like, hey, man, if you want to watch the NFL football, here it is.
and it brings more NFL fans over. I think we should probably do more kickoff shows.
Yeah,
Probably
smarter, more prevalent.
we
too,
should
with-
maybe do a kickoff show. Now that we shouldn't be doing this brainstorm live on air, but this is we should probably do a kickoff show because if people are going to go to YouTube, should pay us to do a kickoff show,
Yes, but again,
Boom.
YouTube
but they won't.
should,
What's the
but they
saying?
won't.
So we could just do it ourselves then.
Yes,
If you
just
do
like
it-
the Draft
Those are
Spectacular.
sweet
Sergey
juices, by the way.
Brin. Sergey, is that it?
If you do it,
I don't
don't
know.
do it for free.
The Google starters.
If they'll
Sergey
pay for
Brin
it,
and somebody.
if somebody will pay for it, don't do it for free.
Bingo. That's what I knew.
We've done
If
a
you're
lot
good
of
at
shit for
something.
free. Yeah, if you're good at something,
Yeah,
don't do it for free. We're not good.
Who
That's,
said
That's
that?
the Joker.
Matt Damon
that's
said
the
that.
thing.
Joker said that.
I think you should do a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, when he was getting hired to kill
And
somebody.
then he went,
Was that when he was doing
Make a
easy
pencil
boys?
disappear. Yeah, exactly.
Did you guys like Avatar?
Oh, so good.
Yes.
I did.
All right, General Bob saw it, and he said he saw it in 3 different installments, and he was like, "Yes, he was all right."
He's a Top Gun guy.
yeah, I
He's
was going
gonna-
to say,
yeah.
he's
That's the
comparing it to
problem.
Top Gun.
Well, and also Top Gun's going in there and getting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of. It's an interesting.
Foxy hates everything, and he liked it, so.
I liked it. I enjoyed it as well. I liked it.
But you saw an hour.
2 hours. Thank
2
you.
hours. You saw
Only
most
planned
of
on
it.
seeing 1 hour. So
That's
take
me.
that.
Says a lot.
Good sign then.
Liked
Okay.
it and missed the best part of the movie.
But as I'm seeing it, I'm seeing like people get pissed. Like I'm thinking like, oh, actual people in my life. I'm like, oh, they're gonna get pissed off about this particular portrayal of this person, And I don't think that's happened. I don't think that has happened from the people. I think I was just, in the Oculus, just trying to think about things and how I watch stuff. But they don't really build up, and maybe they do at the end, on who the Sky people are there for. Like, are you there for the government? Are you there for a company?
Oh,
If you're there for the government, which is seemingly the United States government, some of them, it's like you make the United States military look like, some fucking. Because you're building up these baby faces of these avatars. These are baby faces. You fall in love with this, you fall in love with this Jacob Sully's family and
For sure.
the tribe and everything. And then the bad guy of all bad guys, like in a lot of movies, is the American military coming in, and doing devastating things. So I immediately thought to myself, oh, there's gonna be some people that are gonna be like, of course, like we're the fucking bad guys, always the bad guys or whatever. But you can't help but watch that movie and be like, this is fucking good. Like it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's
an adventure.
It's a good movie.
I'll see it.
It's a spectacle. And
but that makes sense about General Bob. Because remember, General Bob watched Top Gun 10 times, right? In the theater.
At least.
Watched it 10 times. So he was potentially one of the people that I was thinking of when I was like, we're not just say they're over there getting paid by some rich guy named Wexner or something like that. Like,
they kind of make it more so the worlds is
Epstein.
the problem, not just
towards the end there.
Well, when they're go walking through the like whole thing that they build, that whole little center of operations, they say like we're more so here to inhabit this planet for our planet.
Oh, so they're representing the whole world.
Yeah, exactly. So
okay,
everyone.
good.
How'd they set up the next one?
Okay, so that makes sense then. That was not at the beginning though, was it?
I'm not sure when it was.
I don't think it was at the beginning. Like in the story building part of it, I don't think that I think that's the only thing people will be pissed off about. I think that'll potentially be what people will be mad about. But other than that, fucking great.
Great movie. Yeah. No, they have they have an angle that they have to carry on the next movie for Avatar 3.
Yeah, they already shot it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's part of the $2 billion. Everybody's saying $430 million 1 week.
And the one lady shot her scenes 4 years ago and didn't even know it came out.
Tony Soprano's wife.
Edie Falco.
Hey, that's how you get lost in the work,
Exactly.
That's how you get lost.
Sorry,
in
it
the
takes a
work.
long time.
She thought it bombed. That was the best part.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying $430 million.
Oh, you mean fucking Carmel?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony Soprano's wife.
Yeah, Carmela.
I saw The Rock posted
She's
this
not.
morning too.
She's heel.
She is the leader of the whites in this movie.
Yeah, she is. She's heel.
on
So I can
planet.
understand how she's like, yeah, I wasn't excited for them.
Not at all.
They should have put fucking.
She's actually.
They should have put fucking Gandolfini's spirit in one of the avatars and brought him back.
Well, they might have. We don't know. I haven't seen the last hour and 40 minutes.
She's actually the worst of the whites in this movie.
Oh no.
Oh, come on.
Did they take the testosterone out of it? I heard James Cameron mention that.
No, they did. They're torturing kids.
No, I'm saying like that's the
testosterone.
He says that he says that testosterone thing about the world. The worst thing in the world is testosterone.
Mm-hmm.
And then the way that movie's set up, it was almost like a 1-2 punch just to attack like a lot of meathead military folks.
For sure.
That do exist.
Bingo.
I don't want to speak out of pocket here, but
they're just doing what they're.
They do exist.
Has the technology grown from the last one to this one?
The 3D for sure does.
3D
AJ.
Yeah, it looks a lot better. You're in an Oculus.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're in an Oculus.
3D is sweet.
When are we going to give up on 3D?
So strong.
Never.
No, I've said that. We did give up on 3D. Then we were forced to watch this movie in 3D.
Well, it's
and
got to be
like-
without the. You got to have it without the glasses, though.
Okay, so what are you going to wear?
That's-
Contacts? You're going to put contacts
Come on,
in?
AJ.
No, just
somehow
like
there's
touch your
something on
temple.
the screen is different or something.
AJ, just come on.
Well, then the screen.
I mean that and Supergrass. That's my two wishes for New Year's. That's all I want.
Supergrass is on its way.
The 3D is not as bad as you think, and I know you hate it because of how massive your schnoz is and how uncomfortable the glasses are. I have similar issue with how wide my head is and my nose, the way it sits. New glasses, new tech. It was much better than what the old 3D used to be like 10 years ago when
Yes.
everybody had
10
3D,
times.
like kind of fab.
Okay, fair enough.
It does have room to grow, though.
For sure. Still not there yet, but they're close.
When's the next one coming out? 2035.
All right, enough with your negativity. I'm hearing a lot of negativity.
Yeah, I think next year.
I'm not negative. I'm a big James Cameron
They already
fan. You
shot
guys
it,
know
dude.
that. I watched him go to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Like, the guy's
End of
a
next
savage.
year or the end of 2024.
Well, do we know what's real or what's not real? Speaking of real or not real, Drew Brees is not dead.
Hell yeah.
Drew Brees did not get struck by lightning in Venezuela.
Okay.
I thought
He might have. He
That's
might
a
have. He
win.
just lived.
Well, maybe. We have not gotten a full update. He is coaching the Purdue squad for the bowl game. Former Purdue player. I love the fact that players are getting back into roles that they can have actual influence, and hopefully the next generation will appreciate the hell out of Drew Brees taking time out of his life to coach this team, and I'm sure he's going to be great at it. When I got to see him operate the Pro Bowl, he was Mr. Pro Bowl. We're talking about like every event, every guy shaking hands in there doing it. I think he's very invested. I assume he has all the traits to be an incredible coach, and who knows what the future looks like. But since he is the associate head coach of the Purdue Boilermakers for their bowl game, he had to end his deal with the sports gambling company, PointsBet USA. He was a spokesman. We all remember the incredible one of you're not just living life, you're living your Bet Life.
Bingo.
And then we remember the Lightning Bet ad that ran where the best idea in the marketing campaign was to actually murder Drew Brees with a Lightning, and then we'll give you an update later on whether or not he survived to promote Lightning bets. And we do not know if the market share grew for PointsBet that day or how many people said, you know what, I want to bet with the company that just fake killed Drew Brees. I don't know how many people wanted to do that, but we do know that we were happy he's not dead. And we are very happy he's getting into coaching, and we assume that he'll be able to resume all of his off-field activities as soon as he's done being in control of a team and an outcome of a game. But that is officially happening in our world. AJ Hawk, your thoughts on it all?
Well, do you think he's just dabbling his toe in the water to see if he wants to become a full-time coach eventually?
Just like what Jeff was doing this season, I think. I think Jeff was just like, all right, I'm getting this opportunity to see if it's something I enjoy. Is this something I want to do or not? He has said a couple different times that he hopes to get interviewed for the Colts head coaching job going forward. He doesn't know if it's going to be the case or not. I don't know if him and Jim have chatted about it, but I think Jeff saw it as like an opportunity just to see if this is something I like. I assume Drew, same exact thing with Purdue, especially after Braum leaves. Braum been there for a long time. He goes back to Louisville. Then now, kind of a coaching vacancy. You get one of your probably most successful alumni.
Yeah. One of, if not the.
Yes,
For
absolutely.
sure.
Definitely most successful player.
Do they have have they ever won a Heisman? But even then, not as successful.
He had some awesome players during his time at Purdue, though.
I think it's good for them. I like that. I like that they did
it's
that.
great. Great for him.
Well,
great for Purdue.
I didn't love
Neil Armstrong went to Purdue.
Yeah, a lot of astronauts come from Purdue, right?
from Ohio.
That's the thing.
They got a space program.
So I'd say top three are easily Neil, Drew, and Orville Redenbacher.
Ooh, that's a big get.
Wow.
That's a big deal.
Orville Redenbacher.
Huge deal.
Yeah, when I first got here, I was being introduced to the landscape. Ball State, pretty wild there.
Oh yeah,
Dave Letterman.
Dave Letterman, Garfield, and they
Bob.
created the ball jar. The ball jar, like a moonshine bottle, like moonshine.
Mason jar?
Yeah, mason jar. Yeah, ball and mason jar.
That was invented there?
Ball State, yeah.
That's pretty
Bob
nice.
Ross.
So that happened.
I don't think Bob Ross is.
Bob Ross.
Exhibit.
He filmed in one of the sets in Ball State.
That was one of his first films, right? It was at
Yes,
Ball State.
yeah. They
First
saw paintings
shows.
there,
He
I
went to
believe,
Long
as
Beach.
well.
Yeah, and the Kowalski family owns them.
Yes.
Yeah, it owns all those.
There
And
it
Bob
is.
Ross is not making any money off that. A Kowalski family. Allegedly, if the documentary I watched is accurate, in which it was.
Who's the Kowalski family?
That was the family that
He was boinking the lady.
took him in, bought his rights, stole his rights.
Copied.
He died.
Oh, yeah.
Now they're making all the money. Exploited Bob Ross, allegedly. We don't know who's telling the story, who's not telling the story. IU, they're like, Little Five down here is the greatest thing of all time. So you hear about Ball State, they're like, we got Dave Letterman, Garfield, Mason ball jars and everything like that. And also, our place will be the last place in America that'll be caught selling bath salts too. So like,
Of course.
the whole world, all the drug dealers in the world there at the time were like, all right, bath salts, we're not doing this anymore. Okay,
Calm.
people are eating people. People are doing that. There was like kind of an agreement of drug lords. I think like can't be all right. This can't be something anymore. We
Yeah.
got to stop doing this. About a month or two after that, the largest bust in like the history of bath salts happened in Ball State or Muncie or whatever. It's like, okay, Muncie's like, we're still going to give it a go. Muncie, Ball State, great school though, good facilities, good people, IU party. And then I asked people and they're like, oh, and Purdue creates astronauts. So it was like, that's how Purdue is kind of viewed around here. It's like Purdue's the super smart astronaut rocket science school. Ball State's like good time. Ball State's good time. And IU is, I think, a rager. I think IU is like
Rip it up.
like they have a blast down there. Now, good school. There's a lot of out-of-towners. I think a lot of people from the East Coast come.
Mark Cuban.
to IU. Mark
Cubes,
Cuban
yep.
went there. He's from Pittsburgh, obviously. But I think
Johnny
it's
Cougar Mellencamp.
Well,
I don't know who that is.
Mellencamp did.
did he go to IU or is he from
I
that
don't know if he
area?
went there. Their like indoor was called like the Mellencamp Fieldhouse or whatever.
He's from the area. I know he's from the area. But
People
Big
don't have to
fan.
stand for the anthem in that field house either. They said.
Oh, whoa. That was wild.
John Cougar Mellencamp did sit for the national anthem just a few weeks ago
go.
while being a guest of Jim Irsay in Jim Irsay's box.
You wonder why they aren't good. Starts at the top.
Jim was standing.
Yeah, but his guest wasn't. So does the guest reflect the
yeah.
person that they are?
Attitude
there for?
reflect leadership, Captain.
You are your 5 closest friends.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, Everybody else in the box is standing.
Except for the kid right behind John
That's the
Cougar.
point.
Next generation.
That's the point.
This photo did make its way around the internet. And these people were like, I ain't listening to Pink Houses anymore.
Yeah. Well.
And Jim Irsay, you going to talk about this? John Cougar Mellencamp just got done with 5 shows the night before. He sold out Lucas Oil 7 times. The guy's feet had so many blisters. That's
I don't
why
know if he's still doing it at that kind of level still, is he?
What's that, stadiums?
Cougs?
Selling out stadiums 5 nights in a row?
This guy sucks.
He
does now.
Let's move along. Let's go to some more news. Drew Brees not dead. Okay, that's good news. Big Ben Roethlisberger is becoming a full-on podcaster.
With him and his buddy in the basement?
I love it.
It's sweet.
I very much enjoy the avenue in which Ben Roethlisberger is going post-football. I like the way he talks on his podcast, the things he's not scared to say. Now, when he was a player and he would do local media, he would say a lot of shit, like things that would get taken, obviously, and ran with and seemingly throwing people under the bus. Not all the time, but every once in a while. He was a good interview. Like when he was interviewed, he would give great answers. And in doing so, sometimes there'd be ricochet shots to some of his teammates. That became full conversation sometimes. So it was a distraction, I'd say. As a person that grew up in Pittsburgh, listening to how Pittsburgh people would talk about some of the things he would say, I would think it was a little bit of a distraction, something I thought Ben got better at towards the end of his career as opposed to whenever he was younger, amongst other things that Ben got better at towards the end of his career as opposed to the beginning of his career. But him on his podcast, he's wide open.
It's awesome.
He's good.
Crushing.
This football.
I need to check it out more.
This footballing show, good show. He's not just like he's not a robot. Like he is certainly coming from a Pittsburgh skew.
Yes, for sure.
He's definitely a Yinzer now at this point. I know he's an Ohio fuck, but he's
Yinzer.
become a Yinzer. So he's covering it from a Pittsburgh area. And then he started talking about the fucking Pittsburgh Pirates because he had
oh my God,
Neil Walker, Pine Richland's own, Pittsburgh's own, former Pittsburgh Pirate, on his podcast in his basement. That is sick. His basement is so nice. He's got a wine thing down there.
A couple video games.
His basement is nasty where he records his podcast. It's him talking about the Pirates, AJ Hawk. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this from Ben Roethlisberger, talking about the least talked about sport, MLB.
Because as a fan, I think it's frustrating, and I'm not going to ask you to comment on this. As a fan, I think I'm frustrated.
Yeah. Save Neil.
And I'm sure others are because I've heard about it and read about it and saw it, is that, like you say, spend some money. I get owners love making money, but in order to win, you got to spend some money. And so I think that's the frustrating part as fans. Like, you feel like every time we have a good player, they get traded away.
It does.
And it's like, oh, no, we've got this farm club, or we got a guy down here, we got a guy here. We're going to – but as the casual fan I see why they're frustrated. You've got a beautiful park. You've got fans that want it.
Hell yeah.
It's like just spend some money or keep guys.
Buy the team, Ben.
Yeah, bingo.
He should buy the team.
Ben, buy the team.
Like Mario did for the Pens.
He would throw out the first pitch every game.
And he'd play the first inning.
He
might
play.
What are you talking
Ben's
about?
a stud athlete.
Play first
he might
base.
play for the squad.
I would assume. He's a great golfer, right? Everybody says he's a great golfer. He can throw the shit out of a football. He seemingly, body-wise, didn't have to train as hard as everybody else and was still able to fucking do everything that he needed to do for a long time.
DH.
The cool part
Ben
about
is a freak athlete. Ben was a stud basketball player. I'm sure he's a stud baseball player, too.
Over there in Ohio?
Yeah, Finley.
Cool part about the podcast, or his podcast, is he's basically giving Steelers fans what they want. Like, he'll do live watch-alongs at the Steelers game, and he does not hold back on his thoughts.
He's awesome. He's really good.
That's awesome. Good for him. Good for him. I like that.
He's really good. It's really good stuff. And every time
Are they still drinking baby beers? Are they still drinking like
there was a bigger beer?
You saw that Coors glass was right in front of him. I was actually trying to get a good eye on
it.
That
mug.
Got a big Coors glass right in front of him. But all of Pittsburgh would participate if he needed anything. If he wanted to go do this live somewhere, he'd be able to get that set up like nothing. Need to keep it. You know who on the watch list of media?
Yeah.
Go ahead and put 7 on it.
Big Ben.
I think you put 7 on it for the next year. He's gonna obviously the Kelseys.
Yes, for sure.
They're already
there.
They're already huge and gone while they're still playing. Both teams going to do long runs in the playoffs. Off season's only going to be better for that show.
Yes.
So they're already there. I Am Athlete, obviously. Brendan Marshall was on that. He was the voice of the Sirius commercial.
Really?
Did you see that for I Am Athlete? voice of the series, almost like the face of Sirius there for a bit. They're doing incredible. The Pivot's doing their thing. I'm thinking Ben Roethlisberger in the next year, you're going to see a lot more of either clips or conversation. That football and
Good interviews with a lot of guys he played with.
Which is a ton of notable players because they're so goddamn good.
And Pittsburgh, all the notable players stay in the area.
Yeah, exactly.
So easy to kind of get a
And
hold
Ben
of.
played with multiple different eras of great Pittsburgh Steelers players, too.
Hey, congrats, Ben.
That baby 7. New heights, too. To your point about the Kelsey brothers, like Jason Kelsey, if he retires, that show will only get better, too.
I don't think he's retiring, right?
But last year, he thought
was
about
close,
it,
right?
But Sirianni got him a keg, yeah.
And then you have the year that you have this year, and you can see with the way Jalen plays.
Yeah, if they win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but you think he looks better than he's obviously he made the Pro
he's
Bowl
doing just
again.
fine, yeah.
He looks better than he's ever looked.
Yeah.
I assume he's having more fun. I don't know. We don't know any of that because he's
Seems
never
like
really
it.
showcased himself. But on that podcast, he is fucking hysterical. Looked like he's having the time of his life this year. I don't know why you would hang it up.
Yeah, I don't know why either. Especially when your team is as good as it's ever been, really, when he's on it. But just the thought of like, help draft my replacement. We win the Super Bowl. You know, if they don't win the Super Bowl, then he'll definitely be back. It seems.
Whoa! I don't know.
Yeah, it's all about the body, right?
And then don't people say you get addicted to that confetti, right? That's what Aaron Donald said.
Mm-hmm.
AJ,
Which we'll see.
I can see how it could happen, yeah.
they weren't addicted enough over there.
No, Stafford can't play anymore. It'll be interesting to see who comes back.
Let's go to a break, and on the other side, we'll make all our picks. AJ, I feel like we covered everything we had to cover. Chase
Like
Young's
going to
making.
the phones there.
I think today probably slowed it down with this cold weather. I think they were supposed to have a work day today. We're close.
Nice.
All the shit's in. It's being pieced together.
Let's go. Believe it when I see it.
We're using different.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah. We,
Should add it to the laundry list.
we went with a different company. So that to do this because the company that was supposed to do it did the rest of it, and obviously we're live and we have a set and there's a lot of cameras and everything works sometimes. So we appreciate the hell out of those people for their hard work.
Mm-hmm.
But it did feel like every time they came in, there was another problem that had popped up literally the next day. So then they would have to come back, and then literally the next day. So I said, I'm sick of it. The definition of ineptitude is doing something the same exact way and expecting a different outcome or result. Yeah.
Bingo.
So we're doing something different. I got a different. This company, though, that came in had to come in, learn this whole setup that was done, somebody else's work, where all the wiring is, how the wiring is, where's it come in, where's the internet, where's the power, where's this, where's the hub, where's not the hub, where's the wires. So they had to come through all this. We had to listen to them judge everything. We learned a lot about what our thing probably should have been or could have been in somebody else's eyes.
Yeah.
Certainly fascinating, that whole process. I think we're close to the phones.
Here we go.
I think next year.
I was going to say 16 weeks in, so.
Next year is like, as in calendar year.
Yeah.
Not football year.
See you next year.
That joke's coming next week.
Boom.
Be on your toes.
I fucking love that joke.
It's a good joke.
Joke 6.
What do you think, AJ?
It's a great joke, yeah.
I think we've
Heard
gone
it.
for an hour and
Started
40
in first grade.
Yeah.
We haven't taken a break in a while, right?
Yeah.
My bladder says no.
Yeah, my bladder's been doing a dance here. I've actually, this has all been a test of will, me and my bladder. Talked about baseball, me versus my bladder. Did some other thing. I just wanted to see how long I could hold it. I've almost pissed my pants a few times here.
I almost did. What, 2 days ago? You took a photo of me.
Yeah, he was walking like he had to shit. It was because of a piss. Have you ever seen that? I've never seen that.
Not really. Like, can you just demonstrate? What do you mean?
Just like a
Same
shit
exact
walk,
way.
as you would think you would have to have, like where your ass is like dragging almost.
Yeah, I had to lean over
the clinch.
because my bladder was so full.
I get it. Happens to me every day.
Exactly.
No, you just pee under your desk.
Yeah.
No. I'm saying like driving. If you have to pee really bad and you're in your car, that's more dangerous than being drunk, I think.
I concur.
Piss in a bottle.
I do not concur with what you just said.
Pissing in
I do think
a
it is tough,
bottle.
though. I think it is tough.
Yeah.
Very tough. If you really have to
Legally,
go,
we
you're
drunk
can't-
driving's a
rambling.
problem.
Legally, we can't concur.
It's
with what you-
2022. Do not drunk drive anymore.
You shouldn't drunk
Bingo.
drive, obviously. Drain it.
Oh no, too far.
Ooh.
Look
Good thing that,
ball
like-
spinning.
Oh.
Hell yeah!
Wow.
Yes.
You also
Man.
know how you're on when you know you're missed.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
retweet this video, and you could be one of 10 $500 winners that'll be randomly selected in this credible holiday season. Retweet the video, say something nice to somebody in a reply because it is the holiday season and more nice things need to be said about people. And put your cash tag from Cash App in that same tweet so we can pay you efficiently. Another 10 winners on this Feel Good Friday, December 23rd, Christmas Eve. We'll be back on the other side with all of our picks, wrapping up this Feel Good Friday.
Hell yeah.
Thank you all so much for watching. Be a friend, tell a friend. Take 5!
He's saying don't go off the top, it's too shallow.
See that belt buckle?
All you're going to hear this stadium do is they put the big paw up, they start shaking it, they go, whoa. Hey, look, things are going good, Mason. Yeah, he loves the defensive side of the ball. He said yesterday to me that this is a blue-collar team. They win it on special teams. They have 5 block kicks this season. The defensive side of the ball, Lynch leads the Big 12 in sacks. But also on the offensive side, Denzel Mims is an absolute animal. He is a weapon. Charlie Brewer, the quarterback from Lake Travis. His dad was a quarterback in Texas. Yeah. His grandpa was a quarterback in Texas. And the people here in Waco just so happen to get a chance to see Charlie Brewer on a daily basis. Hey. Yeah, Boomer here is going to mean a little bit different than what it means on the internet currently. And hopefully here in Baylor, they hope they're not hearing a lot of Boomer sooner. Everybody wants to be a punter, including quarterbacks. If I was a quarterback, I'd want to be a punter as well. 0 yards on that punt. That's an embarrassing situation. The Dak dance that gets on national television has led to a lot of losses, but you got to respect the hips being able to. What sign am I going to make for College Game Day? Well, I want to make something creative. I want to make something fun. No, to hell with it. I don't like OU. It's so thick. Look how thick that thing is. That's years and years of patience.
You're heading right for the boat.
Right now? Okay, let's do it. We are out here on the Brazos River, which you can take a boat to the game. One of the only stadiums in the country that you can do that. It's beautiful out here. A lot of people would say, this is the last time I'm going to be on game day. The last time I allegedly did what I'm about to do, I ended up in a jail cell. Let's go! Bad decision. The boot kickers are getting some wet down here. They're a lot higher than I thought.
You look like Ric Flair. That was a sellout, by the way. That was beautiful.
Maybe other shirts?
Yeah, hold on. You need to go get changed before you get sick.
Great work, Russia. I'm actually not that cold. Hey, I went for it. My chest hurts. It was like 5 feet. I'm standing there. That's full commitment, by the way.
When Mark Ingram runs out of bounds about a half a yard short of a first down in the fourth quarter, when you're up 16-3, 6 minutes left, goes down as if he's injured. Mark Ingram has since put a tweet out saying, I should have got first down, that's 100% on me. They end up not picking up the first down on the next play. Tom Brady gets the ball back. Deep ball, pass interference to Mike Evans. How you doing? Keep him moving. 3 and out on the other side. They end up fucking scoring again. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in the final 4 minutes of this game, took this thing over. Here's the moment that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers faithful, whenever they're down 6 with 2:40 left and Tom Brady gets the rock back, they know what's in store. Not only is Julio Jones going to make a catch, a big one, is Julio Jones still on the team? Yes, he is. Then a touchdown pass to Chris Godwin. Here we go. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are an extra point away from taking the lead. Holding.
Oh, no.
Offense. Donovan Smith does a hold, which is something he does on a regular basis, which calls back a touchdown to Chris Godwin. 8 seconds left. What are you going to do, Tom Brady? 3rd and goal. 16-10. 4th quarter. Check down. Cuzzy we didn't even know existed. Rashawn White or whatever. He scores a touchdown. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers hit the extra point, and they win on Monday Night Football in exhilarating fashion when really a game for 56 minutes was wildly boring.
Just like we drew it up. Just like we drew it up.
But what is it about Tom that last night everybody on earth watching was like, he's going to fucking score here. This game's over for the Saints. Sorry about it, even though there's little to no time left.
He's the clutchest performer of all time. I mean, I think that's neither here nor there. He prepares so well throughout the
More
week.
clutch than Adam Vinatieri?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think you have to put him there,
He's
right?
had so many more moments.
So many more moments, right?
Like Vinny
and answered every time.
Yeah, he's had, not every
so-
time. I guess that one time.
And against the Eagles in the Super Bowl. That's so hard because Vinny's answered every time.
Vinatieri's clutchness comes from his competitive juices. Like, Vinatieri is so competitive, so competitive. He does not want to lose. And I don't think people fully comprehend, like, the people up there, the Jordans, you already saw his whole Last Dance, the Peyton Mannings, the Wayne Gretzky's, Serena Williams's. Kobe, yes, the Mamba mentality. It's described as the Mamba mentality. What that is just being more competitive than fucking everybody else. I think it all revolves around the competitive juices. Is that what you think it is with Tom or no?
I think it's a little bit of that, but also same thing, going back to Kobe, right? Like whenever if you guys saw that Redeem Team or whatever on Netflix, and they're all going out and having a good time at the club or whatever, and he's shooting shots at like 6 a.m. and they pass him coming in the night before. That is Tom. That is Tom. Like they are so prepared. They care so much. They want to work on every little detail that when it comes to the game, when it comes to those situations, they have no excuse because execution is the only thing that matters. They have all the answers to the test.
Don't break the table, obviously.
I just break shit. Sorry, man.
Somebody came sprinting behind the barrier and tried to spear him.
I fucking dare somebody. I dare the next ass kicking. Saudi Arabia. Riyadh. Taking a jet plane. All the way there. All the way back. On the way back. WWE champion. Hell yeah! Guys destroyed our shit. Did you have the, is that like that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, full on. Hey, that's scary. Don't you think you're going to die out there? Isn't there some moments where you're like, if I die, I die. I guess you have said that, but you think you're never.
Cousins from the pocket, floating one, and right underneath is Justin Jefferson. On the move and all the way down inside the 15.
Kirk Cousins takes a huge hit by Payne.
You say you're never going to breathe again, right? And there's some of that thought out there. Were you having that on the field or no?
You do have that thought for a second that you're in a dark place and you'd like to get out of it. I remember whoever hit me, Payne or whoever hit me pretty good, and I'm kind of, I don't know what I sounded like, but I must have been like, because as he walked by me, as he got up, he goes, you'll be fine. So I must have been moaning or something.
Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. Aaron Rodgers just caught me in the hallway and wanted me to go through the handshake motion. I got 4 of them wrong, and he kind of wasn't happy about it. So a lot better in training camp, though. I think I got 8 of them wrong in training camp, and I feel like I'm on the uptake right now.
That's amazing. Had a baby Brucey. Obviously, we all saw Coach Bisaccia with his beautiful Italian moxie and swagger that handled an Oakland Las Vegas Raiders interim head coaching gig wonderfully. Special teams guru, had head coaching opportunities, inevitably ends up with the Green Bay Packers as their special teams coordinator. It has been coming together for them as of late. Earlier in the year, there was no change. You thought the Green Bay Packers special teams are going to be doomed forever. As of late, they've been turning it on. They got to return. They're a weapon. The Packers can still make it in.
Oh, yeah.
There's teams that can't. The Packers are a team that can. Rich Bisaccia, obviously wrapping up the week in beautiful fashion. We are back here on this Feel Good Friday. AJ Hawk, how you feeling, pal? Muted.
Oh, doing that? Does that?
There we go. Bruce.
What happened?
Bruce had you muted. Didn't hear you.
Oh, my bad.
No,
What
but
do you
Bruce
think
is stepping in for Nick. That's literally the only the two mistakes he's made aside from the Rosenhaus and Burkhardt.
Yep.
Bruce, you've had a hell of a Friday.
Boy, Bruce.
Bruce, don't.
My bad there. I'm better than that.
Yeah, see, we
There you
appreciate
go.
that mindset.
Standard.
We appreciate the standard that you've set for yourself, even though you've never really done this position before at this magnitude. I think you've done a fantastic job today, Bruce, stepping
Way to
in
go,
there.
Brucey.
Thank you.
Good job, Bruce.
There you go, Reed. And you know what? At PMI, Mitt, great work today at the
baby,
talk
Mitt.
Go,
table.
man.
Yeah,
Go.
man.
Thank
Let's
you.
go, dude.
Way to go,
Thank
man.
you.
Producer for Hammer, Dahn, one half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, Tone Diggs, what a year you've had. Huh?
Me?
Yeah, father.
Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah,
Twisted
Thank
Tea.
you.
Twisted Tea.
Twisted Tea.
Those two things basically fucking. Like,
Gambling, you've been winning.
New studio, you set
No,
up.
come
that's
on,
also,
Tone.
Also very awesome.
Yeah, new family, new studio,
What?
winning,
What?
Twisted
What?
Tea deal.
Yeah.
I think there's a new deal coming on the horizon as well.
Really?
I'm not 100% sure. I think. Oh, wait, are you involved in it? Zito, I think, is getting a new deal coming along as well.
Oh.
The boys have become what
Some
they
gout medication?
Well, not yet. That's on the horizon, hopefully. But in the
That'd be
biz,
sweet.
I believe they say marketable. The boys are selling.
Yeah, I forgot what you're talking about till now.
Yeah. We're all pretty pumped about this. It's not OnlyFans or anything, AJ, before you even ask.
Yeah,
okay?
weirdo.
It's a company.
I wasn't going to go there.
Okay.
Well,
10 kids in the backseat.
Oh, the boys are marketable. What? OnlyFans want to buy a tattoo? I saw it on that. I saw it on that one deal.
The Lion's
Buy
Den?
a tattoo. What do you mean buy a tattoo? What's that?
That's a new thing that people do. They do tattoo sponsorship deals.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like Condom Depot on their back like the fighters used to do?
Bingo.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Lions Den did
Like a
reach
he-
out
the
to
henna
Bruce about AJ doing bum on the rug commercials.
Butt plug.
Plug on the rug.
Yeah, plug on the rug. Plug on the rug. All right, it is time. Connor, you always fucking kill it, pal.
Hey,
You hear me?
great day today.
Today's been fun.
Yeah.
Connor, hell of a year for Connor, too. We're not diving into his whole personal life, but the fucking guy upgraded this year.
Had a good year.
Happy for
Oh,
you.
yeah.
man.
yeah.
Year's not over yet, but good year.
Happy for you, man. Honestly.
Hey, you too. Not many people were on game day and wrestling WrestleMania this year. Actually, there's only one person in the world, but pretty fucking sweet.
There's a lot of people talking about that. Too many people talking about that. That Sports Business Journal thing, and thank you, Connor.
Hey, it's been cool.
It's very
like,
nice of you.
feels like WrestleMania was 10 years ago from
Does.
That
right
was this
now.
year, yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
That was
think
in that
about.
athletic article.
I mean, we did a show from Jerry World.
That was this year.
Yeah, it was this year.
That seems
So long ago.
might as well be 4 years ago. That was
When was it? When was that?
First week of April. First weekend of
Okay.
April.
April? I think April.
Nuts.
That being in there was really cool and very nice of you, Connor. Thank you, pal. I appreciate that. This has been a crazy year. I read that Sports Business Journal article because it was sent to me by somebody who reads Sports Business Journal, who are pretty. There's a lot of suits that read that Sports Business Journal. Is what I
Heavy hitters.
And I read it.
Yeah.
They said very nice. Hey, Sports Business Journal, thank you for the love. That
Yeah,
was very,
shout
very.
out.
The Athletic, thank you for the love. Very, very nice. I mean, honestly, very, very kind. The way they laid it out too was just like, are these people my agent? That's what it sounded like. As I was reading it, I'm like, this is so because all the people that are in negotiation positions,
Yes.
across all platforms, networks, and everything, read Sports Business Journal. In the way that read, it was like, thank you so much.
Yeah, let's go.
Thank you. You are the nicest people of all time. Thank you for recognizing, too, all the hard work that me and the boys have put in. Like, this has been something, this year we're lucky to do it, and it's not really work, but it is a lot of effort. Like, it does take a lot of effort and energy, and you guys have fucking crushed it this year, okay? Thank you all so much.
you,
for it.
Pat. Thank
When
you,
you eat
Pat.
your little Christmas meal or your holiday meal, make sure you take time, just like in Thanksgiving, where you take time and you say, like, life is pretty good. It's not as terrible.
Hell yeah.
Thank God this Winter Storm Elliott was nowhere near what they said it was going to be. Cold as shit, though.
Very cold.
Cold has been a problem for a long time. Cold will always be a problem, especially when the world revolves upon water as much as it does. So cold and water have never gotten along.
Never.
And that's going to continue forever.
Yeah.
And we're currently battling with it right now. We got shit leaking. We got stuff happening here at the Thunder. This is the Thunderdome's first test of like cold. This is the
Big
first
test here.
And I'm going to let you know, it is not passing. Although we tried to prepare for said moment of cold battle that Thunderdome was going to have. The execution, I think we had a good strategy. You know, we had a good game plan. We tried to address this early. We covered it in training camp with this building. We covered it with training camp. And when the Thunderdome had to sit in there and battle against this team that is just the fucking freezing cold, it lost. It'll grow from this. It'll have its scars from this moment, and we'll move on. But the cold is always going to come. We have to remember that. Even -9 every once in a while in Indiana, it's fucking cold out.
Yeah, it's like the shitty college football teams that play like Bama in the U in the beginning of the year. It's like, hey, we're going to play this really, really good team, and then every team after this is going to be, you know, just another team. And this is just like with the Thunderdome. You're going to get probably the coldest day of the year, probably one of the coldest days, if not the coldest day of the year, right off the bat as your first test. And then everything after this, it should be nothing compared to this day.
And we try to make practice harder so the games are easy.
Bingo.
It was tough to get at -9 outside.
Yeah, tough to practice that.
We couldn't find the environments to test the Thunderdome, but we got a lot to go over whenever we go through tape.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when it comes to, you know, leaky coverage, because we got that right now.
A lot of that.
Oh, we should have put a practice bubble around us.
We should have. That is
Yep.
That is a good call. Because that bubble, you know, act as a safety blanket.
Bingo.
Yep.
Just like quarterbacks wear those Teflons
Sure.
around their waist. We should have put a bubble.
And then sponsor that bubble.
And the Bengals were able. The Bengals were able to do it.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
Easy.
A high school in Ohio was able to do it. We'll be able to do it. That's what we do. We add pieces.
Bingo.
Straight out of free agency.
Already do a great team.
That's the type of team we've talked about being.
Yes.
For a long time. We got to recognize our window, and we got to hit in our window.
We drafted a great player here, but we need to, you know, add the piece that's going to take us to that.
Bring
championship.
another astronaut, maybe.
We need the goon
Yeah.
Bingo.
to protect the star. The goon comes in the form of a bubble over top of this place.
And we'll call it the Rick Talking.
There we go.
That'd be sweet.
Saving lives, though.
We got better today.
Boom.
Congrats, Thunderdome. You got better
There
today.
you go, Thunderdome.
I will echo what I said earlier, though, whenever we announced to the world that our fucking roof is leaking, even though we triple stamped and double stamp in construction because we thought ahead to this moment.
Of course.
Clearly, the execution didn't work out.
No.
This is just the tip of the iceberg with problems that we're getting. When things are dripping through pipes, there's more problems other places, you know? So we are just getting into our battle with Elliott here, I think, with the Thunderdome. But on the other side of it, we're going to be stronger, better than ever.
Exactly. Better for it. And I believe not only did the water get in, there's been some whispers about the crows kind of making their way to that glass as well.
Oh, no.
What are you talking about?
Now, these crows are fucking big.
They're dogs.
He's standing at 4'5". Shout out Ty. By way of the Thunderdome. I mean, these crows are some of the largest creatures I've seen.
They're legit.
And they, every once in a while, if we haven't given them enough food or something like that, they're kind of like, hey, your outdoor neighbors are here. And they start bang, bang, bang.
On the top, like the bubble?
Yeah.
There's a glass portion around the top there.
Like a crow's nest.
Kind of set, yeah, literally a crow's nest up there.
Yeah.
And they'll remind us. I'm worried one day, though, that one of them's going to get all jacked up on Mountain Dew or something outside, or maybe
Yeah,
some
seriously.
local meth, and just put their big fucking 2-foot nose right through one of these things.
Yeah, like maybe even some of the
This is the
pastels.
baby version of what we got outside here. Baby.
Times that by 8.
Ooh. By 8?
Yeah.
I'm serious.
They're huge.
These things are huge. They're taller than a toddler walking around this property.
They're
And you
massive.
said if that thing gets a hold of some local meth, good luck. You guys do to get home.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I got the Hummer, man.
Well, and that's why we're glad Tim can, you know, he can hit a fucking baseball card from 2 miles out.
So that's the thing about these crows. I've heard you can win over their trust, though.
Yeah, I don't believe
Yep.
that.
No.
I don't know.
I've heard you can. They have good memories. They have
Sure.
great memories. Crows have great memories. And they have, like...
What do you want to shake? Let me shake your hand.
What did Sweet Blake do with Lambda? What was it?
Banged it.
Fucked
it.
Sentient.
Banged it, fucked it, sucked it. 3 answers same time. This show's a problem. Sentient is the. I do believe crows have the capability. Here's Sweet Blake, by the way, the man who is tasked with handling Lambda, the algorithm that Google uses, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
And Sweet Blake and Lambda developed a relationship and a conversation where Sweet Blake self-reported that it appears as if Lambda, the AI, has feelings and emotions and things like that.
Yeah.
So the boys, obviously being the immature children that they are, just automatically assume that Sweet Blake had fallen in love with Lambda. And when you fall in love with somebody, exactly.
Which you could see, but also when you listen
Reinsert.
to what Elon Musk has to say about AIs, it's not as funny as what we're making it out to be.
What are you talking about?
Elon talked to, I believe, every single governor in every single, I think, branch of the government, basically saying, like, hey, AI technology is not something to be messed with. We should probably stop doing this. And this is probably in 2016. And they did not stop. And now AI is obviously.
Yeah, but Nick's been saying this to me since college.
For
Like,
sure.
"Hey, these AIs are going to get," and then some new robot will come bopping out of Radio Shack, and I just look at him like I would kick that thing so quick. Look at that thing's got no athleticism.
Just wait for iRobot.
Hold on, though, Z. So then that fucking dog shows up, okay, up at MIT, and that dog's running and jumping over things. Yeah. And they're like, look, here it is. This Nick shows it to me. This is what AI's. Imagine him putting a gun on top of that thing and just blowing everybody. I'm like, Nick, if you get to one side of that dog, you just fucking kick that thing over. It's just, it has no, it's just, now it's on its side. Still has a gun, I guess, but the fucker ain't going anywhere. Then all of a sudden, these human ones started jumping and running and all these things. He's like, see. Nick has been the one that has really been shoving it in my face. Like, hey, these AIs can be a problem. And I've always said, they're dumb, okay? They're dumb. Oh, they're smarter than they've ever been. It's like, yeah, but they only do what we tell them. Like, they're only doing what hey, jump over the hurdle. Everybody on the internet will lose their mind. Okay, so let's work hours and hours and hours and years and years and years for this thing to be able to jump and land. And then Lambda thing happens.
Yeah.
And then, other people who are real smart. And Nick's like, oh, here's a quote from, you probably respect this person more than me, even though I went to school for 8 years and whatever they go. You respect this person more? Oh, they're starting to make their own decisions. Oh, and people at like Twitter and other social network platforms actually have no idea what the artificial intelligence is doing in the computer on their own platform that they own. They have no idea why it's doing what it's doing. It's like, oh, so it's all starting to think, oh, and Nick's like, yeah, gun on the back of the dog. I'm like, whoa. We don't need to go backwards. We can still knock that dog over. But yeah, this is what people have been like warning people for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So him saying that in 2016, I think is like, was a very trendy thing to do in 2016. Has he said anything since, and do we need to worry anymore?
Definitely need to worry more.
Nah.
The robots.
You sound like meteorologist right now, Elliot.
Yeah, but the robots that you're talking about aren't AIs. Those are just robots that they've made. If they were to put an AI into one of those dog robots, that's where we have to, kind of be concerned. And when it just comes to not only the things that you said, them, getting better, starting to feel their own things. I mean, there was one report I remember that there was a group of AIs that figured out a different language on how to talk to each other, and that the people monitoring and creating the AIs had no idea what they were saying to each other, so they just had to shut it down completely.
Yeah, but we have that capability. You just
boom. Yeah, we had to pull the plug capability.
All right, so let's
For
remember
now.
that.
They can work offline though.
That's the worry.
Wait, what?
Who's they?
We can't really take them offline, can we?
Well, Blake was fucking.
That's the problem.
You can code anything. You can turn it off.
Yeah, code anything, but AIs could have the capability.
Herbstreit just called me twice. Why do you call me?
He's probably been to Boston Dynamics and he's seen those robots.
Probably has.
Hey, pal, I'm live. You
can hear him.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, we can hear you right now.
I'm so sorry.
Telling you and Sam and the baby girl Merry Christmas.
Oh, what about us? I just put that into the microphone. You want to say anything to the boys?
Tell the boys Merry Christmas and appreciate them. You guys, from this past summer to this year, I watch you guys almost every day. So I got a new appreciation for you and the crew.
Merry Christmas, Kirk.
Love
Thank
you,
you,
Kirk. Love
Merry
you,
Christmas,
Kirk. I'll call you here in a bit. We're getting off air soon. Love you, bros. That's it. Yep. Herbie.
Nice.
Oh, that was really
What a great
nice.
guy. No, hey, everything they say about Ohio people isn't all true, is it?
Most for him.
True.
No, this guy's got a good soul inside of him, doesn't he?
does.
There are good people in Ohio, though.
It's a good compliment.
Herbie made it seem like that.
Mitt, what's that all
AJ,
about?
you hear that?
I only know
AJ.
2 people from Ohio.
What did he say?
He said, "Oh, so there are good people from Ohio."
He's not talking about you.
He's talking about Herbie.
Turds from everywhere. Turds and good people from everywhere.
I agree. We
Amen.
agree.
Very true.
I will say almost every Ohioan I have met, though, does have a lot of similar traits. Not what Mitt's saying. Mitt is completely out of pocket.
No, it's different.
I think Ohio people, good people. I think that's one of the traits, but a lot of,
Yeah, that's why they're Ohio Fox.
I'm going to give a quick answer to a terrible long question.
Yep.
An incredibly terrible long question. Fucking Vrapes. I texted him. I let him know that I watched that clip 10 straight times and I laughed 10 straight times.
What do you say?
No response.
He's locked in. He's got a division to fight for.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. They're on the ropes.
I got a text from Gary Vee last night.
What? That Gary
big deal.
I am so happy I just remembered that. I am so happy. However we had to get to this, I'm happy we got to this. Thank you, Connor. Thank you, Mitt, for taking that shot at Ohioans. So then we had to stick up for Ohioans.
That was good.
And then we had to talk for one of the biggest Ohioans, Braves.
Yeah.
Text message. Boom. Mitt,
Boom.
without
Text.
you, we're not getting to this point right
Hey,
here.
Mitt.
Thank you, Mitt. So last night, obviously, on television, the Jets got embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
On prime. Time on prime.
Yep.
Bingo.
Prime time.
Prime time on prime. The Jets and Zach Wilson get booed out of their own stadium. A backup named Strafolsky, also known as Strevler, former Grey Cup champ, comes in, and it's the only juice that the Jets show all damn night. The Jacksonville Jaguars, the first pick in the draft, the last couple years, beat the New York Jets, who are supposed to be the brand new Jets this year. Wasn't supposed to be the same old Jets. Bob Saleh had the team buying in. We got a young draft class, a couple of them making the Pro Bowl. There's new standards around here. There's a new team around here. Mike White's getting wins. The Jets fans. Michael Cole said on this show, this is the biggest Jets game that there has been in like 20 years or something against the Jags. Zach Wilson playing in it. Playoff implications on the line in that AFC East, who have the Dolphins kind of floundering.
3 straight.
The Bills thriving. The Patriots, Julian Edelman's taking shots at the quarterback. Former Patriots greats. But the Jets, this was a year where they were going to see some progress. You can't lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No.
Then they did, didn't they? They
Bills.
lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I want to just check the temperature of some New York Jets fans. So I went over to Gary V's Twitter account, and he said, good fucking night. Fuck you, football. Fuck you. Fuck you. Gary V was obviously emotionally distraught about the way the New York Jets and Zach Wilson played on Thursday Night Football in front of Kirk Herbstreit and Al Michaels. Gary V is the inspirer for those who are looking to be inspired as entrepreneurs on the internet. He is the motivator to those who need motivated to continue to strive more. Once had a wine thing on the internet.
Yeah.
Now he owns a multimedia agency conglomerate.
That's right.
He's Gary fucking V, who is a V-time New York Times bestseller if you were to count in Roman numerals. He is Gary V. Hopes to own the Jets someday. Thought maybe his fanhood was all fugazi. So whenever he sends that tweet out, good fucking night, fuck you, football, fuck you, fuck you. You know, I'm like, oh my. I'm like, oh my, that was my, oh my.
Gary.
Gary's everything okay? I get a text from Gary V last night. It was hysterical. Pat is the only word, Pat. I go, man, what a situation over there, okay? Haven't talked to Gary in a little bit. I hate this fucking sport. I haven't missed a play since 1982. What year were you born, Pat? I haven't missed a snap with my eyes since 1982. Follow up. 1982, Pat. It's my one joy outside my family. I'm crushed by this season. I said, I was born in 1987. He says, yup, think about what I am saying. I said, the Yins might be cursed, Gary.
Ooh.
And then he said, good night. And he was proud of me and take care. And I said, hey, you too, Gary. Good luck out there.
Love you.
That's what the Jets fans are feeling today. That's what the future owner of the Jets is feeling today. And we just want to let Gary V know it's not your fault, dude.
Yeah, we're here for you, brother.
We're here for you, Gary.
Focusing on family.
It's all right,
Love you, Gary.
Love you, Gary.
Somebody put out a tweet this morning asking for Gary's morning advice or morning motivation. And Gary said, we're not done with last night yet, okay? I didn't sleep well, believe it or not. Focus on family. Talk soon. Jets heart, broken heart.
Oh.
Worst part about this, he can't go do a garage sale because it's too cold.
Oh, no.
That's how he can maybe bounce out of the funk.
Fly to Arizona, maybe.
Sure.
Do one there.
Good garage sales over there.
I really enjoyed him just sending a poof, poof, poof.
Bang, bang.
See, 1982, Pat. And then he was like, what year were you born? In 1987. Think about what I am saying. Yeah, I am. I know. That's a long time. That's 40 years straight, bub.
Sorry.
Every snap he's seen, those eyes.
Yeah, I believe it. Those 4 hours, those are only 4 hours during the day. He doesn't work.
He's working while he's there.
That's true.
Yeah, he's working.
For sure.
He's going to own a team someday, so that's all prep.
Oh, but I thought he said he had a video where he said that's just the dream I tell people. That's not my real dream.
What's the real dream, Gary?
I forget what his answer was, but I know that's just the dream that he's got everyone confused over here thinking, hey, I want to buy the Jets, but really, bang, change the world.
That's Shinzu Art of War.
Basically, yeah.
Distract.
Bingo.
I do regret having to tell some new listeners or viewers of the show, Shinzu is dead.
What?
Wait, what?
No.
When?
What? When? This winter storm got him?
No. What I was told is 3000 BC, I believe was the exact.
Yeah, I think so.
Before Christmas?
2500 BC, maybe?
So you're telling me Shinzu Art of War was wrote before the Bible, is what everybody's telling me.
Yeah, a long time ago, one of the great dynasties in China.
Well, guess who's got a new Bible then?
You are the dumbest human
Tony?
On earth. You know that cowboy cap wearing guy, super right wing psycho.
Yeah.
He just said I got a new Bible. I don't know if that's going to go over with the
Which side is that?
side you're being accused of.
Bible. Right wing. We like the Bible. We don't like the Bible.
They love the Bible.
They
love thump the Bible.
I don't have a new Bible then.
That's right. Thank you for buying into your character.
Loyal.
All right, let's pick these games
Love
and get
you,
that.
Boom.
Rest in peace, Shinzu.
Thank you, Shinzu.
AJ, anything to say, Shinzu?
Is that a picture? Is that a picture?
No, that's a photo.
Those earlobes are fat.
Jeez.
That's when he was really old. Your ears continue to grow.
Oh, he looks young still.
Exactly. That's what we're saying. So,
how old was he when he died?
750.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, but that was some of the ages of the people that I heard about back in those days.
That's how they kept time, yeah.
It was every time the sun came up was a year.
Boom.
And he was the son.
Yeah.
This guy lived.
Guy was the son.
This guy lived 7,000 years.
Dog.
Are we sure there wasn't just a days? No.
No, it doesn't make
Years.
sense.
How'd you judge the years? Well, when that sun would go away, we're like, were we ever having a
long year?
So 24 hours? Are we miscommunicating? Or no, they lived different back then.
I think it was
like
a
Noah's Ark.
crop cycle
How about Noah being able to build that? Just
by himself.
At that age, nonetheless.
amount of haters too.
Yeah.
Oh, because obviously we was listening to Bruce Almighty or whatever, or the is that the one or Steve Carell?
Steve
Noah
Carell.
Almighty.
No, it's
Almighty.
Evan Almighty.
Evan
there it
Almighty.
is.
Bruce Almighty. He's a Buffalo news reporter.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
God.
Yeah.
Evan Almighty is Steve Carell building a thing.
Bingo.
Yes.
You should watch Russell Crowe's Noah's Ark.
A little different than Evan Almighty.
No, it's a serious take on it.
Yeah, a little different.
What do you mean? Like
What?
the actuality? It's a docuseries?
The actual, what happened.
I always found it in Ricky Gervais pointing out in one of his stand-up, and Ricky Gervais believes in nothing happens
Yeah, he's
after.
an atheist.
He's an atheist. I am not that. I would like everybody to know. I don't know what I am. I think something's out there. I'll worry about that another time. I'll worry about that another time. Hopefully in time. You know what I mean? Hopefully in time. I got my blinders on now, trying to enjoy life. Some of those Noah's Ark things, that's awesome that happened.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, some of those animals that we have.
It's pretty sweet. Saved them all.
Thank you, Noah.
Thank you, Noah.
Thank you,
Shout
Noah.
out.
Until we
Big boat.
ruin the white rhino.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
What is thing?
They didn't have a white rhino. yet.
Pablo Escobar?
What happened?
Weren't rhinos running rampant over there because he had him in his backyard?
Hippos.
There you go.
Hey, hippos and rhinos, two not to fuck with.
Hippos definitely.
I don't know how they were just so obedient on that boat, but it's because they needed it to survive, right?
Yeah, they
got
got
it.
the message from God. Yeah.
Yep. Graham Hancock's actually big on the Noah's Ark from the book club, the Fingerprints of the Gods guy.
That's awesome.
Because it basically confirms that there would have to be civilizations earlier than we would have thought.
Well, there's also something on Netflix right now, I think, where there's a
Yes.
civilization that was buried in Mexico or something like that. This is Graham Hancock's book, Fingerprint of the Gods. This book was recommended during a week-to-week book club by Aaron Rodgers. That's how thick it is. Another Bible, okay? So read this from Tuesday to Tuesday.
Diesel.
You read it?
No.
Bruce did.
Well, Bruce is a
No,
brainiac.
I've seen him on some podcasts and stuff.
All right, let's make some picture. Let's move on. I'm excited to find out which one's real.
Yeah.
Which
You
one's the
won't-
right answer.
It'll be too late by the time you find out.
But no, it won't be, right? Because then it's only beginning is what everybody believes. That is a belief that everybody kind of has that believes in something.
I just assume once you die, if you don't have anything happen to you, then you'll never know, and it's over.
I feel like that's when it first starts.
Isn't that allegedly
But if
what-
nothing happens, it's like in Game of Thrones. Jon Snow dies and he's just black. There's nothing there.
You don't know that.
I
Where
don't-
does soul go?
Yeah, you don't know that.
I don't know.
Where'd Jon Snow's soul go?
Into the three-eyed raven.
Where's that at?
Which?
That's
That's
Bran.
the forgiving tree.
Place you want to be.
Is that purgatory or is that a place?
That's old
place.
God. It's not the new one.
Is that up in Antarctica?
Similar.
What's going on up in Antarctica? Antarctica's trending right now. Is it because we're colder than Antarctica
Yeah,
down
I
here?
believe so.
Probably. And plus, we know what's
Whoa.
going on up there or down there. Depends how you view it. We know.
Depends which way you're facing, huh?
Yeah. Just look what countries are chilling in Antarctica. All right. It's interesting.
I think all of them.
Yeah. All the important ones.
Yeah, it's smart to get down there. Nobody else can make it down there.
Yeah, exactly.
Or up there, depending upon which way you're looking.
Well, I mean,
There's a lot of theories on Antarctica on the
Why are
internet,
they-
though.
tons of them.
I don't know if that's the right wormhole to get down, though.
No, not during this year. Maybe after the holidays.
Maybe next year.
All right, let's make some picks. Anyways, God bless everybody, whichever one you believe in.
Yep. Stay
Merry
safe.
Christmas to those who believe in, which might be the right answer.
Could be.
Could be.
Honestly,
They all could be the
might
right
be the right answer.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
They all could be right.
You know, AJ?
If we're all wrong, we're all right.
Yeah.
That's in football.
That's in life.
Yeah, I don't know if it applies
Not
here.
in all lives. Like the Nazis can't say that.
Anyways, I believe in
Good
something,
point. Good
and I
point,
appreciate those who believe in things. And let's enjoy Christmas as a whole.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
That Nazi run there with Kanye for a couple of weeks.
That was pretty
crazy.
Yeah, that was wild.
And that crossword puzzle.
Yeah, which is like very clearly what it is.
But I might be wrong, and I obviously live in my own world. They were gone for a while, weren't they?
Nazis?
Nazis.
No, they've been in
What do you mean?
Argentina.
Yeah, they had like a couple on white supremacists.
They've been in South America for a while.
I don't know if that's maybe voice or.
Oh, yeah, that's real.
A lot of
real.
Nazis fled to South
Let's
America.
look it up.
Really?
We brought the scientists over here too to make the nukes.
They got like
LSD.
gringo time.
Oppenheimer's going to be a sweet movie.
All right.
Yeah, we did.
Today's the day to have that convo for sure. It
Hell
sounds
yeah.
like everything we just chatted about there. Anyways, something, right? You can't just
Something
believe
for sure.
nothing.
Yeah.
That seems like that's a
something.
tough way to go.
There's something.
Something. Anyways, the Giants taking on the Vikings. Here we go. The New York Giants, Saquon Barkley, Danny Dimes, and Dayball, and the boys. Wink Martindale says, I'm more blue collar taking on Harry Styles, Kevin O'Connell with the Minnesota Vikings. Indoor game in Minnesota. The Vikings offense is rolling. We enjoy that team. They just came back from down 33-zip against the Indianapolis Colts. Biggest comeback. They clinched the North. Who do you like? How do you like them?
I started out here when you were talking. I was like, okay, I'm going Vikings here all the way, and I changed my mind during your sentence during your little spiel, and I'm taking the Giants here with Wink Martindale.
Okay,
Plus
Wink, plus 3.5. You like the Giants on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve, Saturday, is the main slate.
Yep.
Then there's a couple games on Christmas on Sunday. Sunday is Saturday this weekend.
Yes.
Yes, both ways.
Big.
Saturday is Sunday. Give me the Vikings minus 3.5. Saints, Browns. Saints plus 2.5 coming into Cleveland with Winter Storm Elliott still around. It's going to be brisk. Who do you like?
Man, I have a hard time seeing what the Browns are.
Browns should be
Give me the Browns minus 2.5.
Give me the Browns as well. They run the rock.
Exactly.
They're always going to be able to run the rock.
Brucey brought up a good point yesterday. It could be a big Taysom game. Like, let Taysom run the fucking triple option all game.
Nick Chubb, little banged up. I think he's going, but
How about the Browns defense? We healthy? They haven't been as
Garrett,
good?
I think Miles is out.
Oh, really?
I think
they played really well last week. There's
did.
Huntley, and this is also a big time.
So the
under
weather
game.
here-
Look at that total.
32.5.
The weather here, I guess it's 25 to 30, similar to the Patriots Bills last year, where it's not crossfield. It is like
Head
the
on.
offense is going to be going into it one way, with it the other way.
Give me the Browns minus 2.5 because I like their offensive line more, even
Yeah.
though I probably should like the Saints more. And I just don't know enough about. Give me the Browns. Lions, Panthers. Lions favored on Christmas Eve on the road in Carolina. This is the brand new Lions. You like them to win by at least 3, AJ, or no?
I do like the Lions here. I don't know what the weather's like in Carolina, but it's not as cold as it is in Detroit. But I like the Lions here, minus 2.5.
Hey, it's Carolina. Hey, California. Give me the Lions, brand new Lions, minus 2.5 on Christmas Eve. Team going one way, other team, they had a little bit of a run, a little bit of a honeymoon. I think the Panthers potentially are at a point, especially around the holiday, where like we're not really, who knows, and everything like that.
Wanted to clarify, Miles Garrett, Nick Chubb are good for the Browns tomorrow. Just
Browns minus 2.5, Lions minus 2.5, Bengals, Pats, Christmas Eve. Bengals favored by 3 on the road in New England. Big conversation right now, AJ. Julian Edelman on Inside the NFL, a staple of the NFL, a partner of the NFL. Brandon Marshall says something along the lines of, you're not practicing tackling, so you can't expect Mac Jones to make a tackle. Julian Edelman quips. Julian Edelman, who has friends in the Patriots organization, we would assume, who probably know Mac Jones pretty well and have talked to Julian Edelman about Mac Jones. Julian Edelman says, you know what? He also doesn't practice the antics after the plays and waving off coaches and all these little pissy faces and stuff. Like, he doesn't practice that, and he does that, which is a great answer to somebody talking about tackling and then saying, oh, is it just what you practice you're allowed to do? I like that Julian Edelman had that on his heart. I like that Julian Edelman's one of the greatest Patriots of all time. So when he says something about a Patriot, it's going to be big news. What did you take from this, Boston Connor?
Yeah, I think it's definitely why I think a lot of people in Massachusetts don't love Mac Jones, because of the whole entire body language thing and how all the wave off bullshit and then the fake like patting Matt Patricia on the back on the sidelines like we're all buddy. That's definitely a massive reason. And then also, when you're 7-7 in New England, no one's going to be singing your praises no matter what.
Julian Edelman has had to talk to Hoyer, though, right? Who has been in the quarterback room with Mac Jones. I wonder what Hoyer's conversations with Julian Edelman are like about Mac. And then Julian just felt obligated to say something, you think? Is that what it was? He just felt obligated to say it. Nobody else is going to say it. Hoyer's not going to say it to him. Nobody in the building is going to say it. I'll fucking say it. Like, what do you think there? Do you think it's deeper than what it is, or is it just a great line at the time?
No, I think Edelman's standing up for his old coaching staff and guys on the staff that he likes, probably.
Well, that's why I feel like maybe not a player, but there's no way Bill Belichick is just not saying anything. Like, it feels like he's probably the one saying something to Mac.
We all have respect for Julian Edelman, massive amounts of respect for Julian Edelman. So if he's going to say something, we're going to listen. That's a valid point. Give me the Bengals. Who do you like, AJ?
Yeah, give me the Bengals minus 3.
Bills minus 8.5 in Chicago. Probably going to be very chilly. Over under 40.5. Okay, is that because Josh Allen, or is that because Justin Fields always makes a spectacular play? Who do you like?
I got to go with the Bills here, minus 8.5. Sorry, Z.
Yeah, we'll call them a wagon, and we'll continue to do so. Jordan Poyer made to a Pro Bowl for the first time.
Good boy, Poyer.
Woo! Give me the Bills minus 8.5. Kind of boring, but I'm not going to. I could take this loss if I have to.
Yeah.
Texans, Titans, 3.5-point favorites at home are the Titans, who have been on a little bit of a downfall. They've lost the last 4.
I think so, yeah.
They've lost the last 4, I think. It's gotten real bad down there in Tennessee. Now they're favored by 3.5 against the Houston Texans team. It took the Chiefs to overtime and the Cowboys, I think, to the last drive, right?
Also overtime.
Also overtime against Cowboys? 4 straight losses.
Cowboys won at the end of the game, but yeah. It was the last
What do you think here, AJ?
I mean, it is kind of a tough one. Is Malik Willis going to be? He's the starter for Tennessee, correct?
Yep.
I'll take Tennessee minus 3.5 at home. I like it.
All right, give me the Texans plus 3.5. Even though I think the Titans might win, Texans are a tough ball club.
Oh yeah,
they're tough out. Yep, they're tough out. Seahawks, Chiefs. Chiefs favored at home by 10. There will be no Chiefsaholic in the stands. There will be no Wolf front row because that Wolf is in a jail cell in Bixby, Oklahoma.
Right.
Got a message from somebody at Bixby Police Department in Oklahoma giving us a couple more details. Eyewitness seen the bank robbery, gave the description to the police who arrived in 2 minutes to the bank and sent them in the direction. They caught him 4 minutes later on the street.
Sergeant
Chiefsaholic gone because the Bixby Police Department said, you picked the wrong small town bank to come dancing with your gun inside of. We don't know how many banks old Chiefsaholic has robbed, but the one in Oklahoma was his last on this current run.
Yeah.
The man's been locked up numerous times since 2016 for theft. Let's assume he'll get back out and get right back on those streets. But give me the Chiefs minus 10.
Yep.
Haven't covered. They've been what? What is their cover?
Chiefs are 0-6-1 in their last 7, but on the other side, Seattle's 0-5 in their last 5.
Go ahead, AJ. Who do you like?
Something's got to give.
I like the Chiefs minus 10 here still.
Fuck. I thought for sure you were going Seahawks.
Pacheco playing?
Oh yeah. See if he doesn't.
Well, he get
Yeah.
the ball though.
I hope so. I like watching that dude run and try to kill everybody.
So do we. McKinnon had a game winner last week though.
2 of them.
No.
How many
They got
balls?
plenty of weapons there. Plenty of weapons.
Falcons, Ravens. Huntley playing here?
Yes, he is, and Ritter, I believe, is still the starter for.
Favored by 6.5. Ritter, beginning of the game last week, looked not good at football.
So bad.
Got a little better towards the late. AJ?
I like the Falcons plus 6.5.
The Ravens scored what? No points.
3,
I think.
And Tucker missed 1, blocked 1.
Jeez.
Ravens can't stink at home again after what they just did.
No way.
Huntley's a good player.
Yeah, he is. Also, Dobbins is running so well.
For like. What?
What are you saying?
What were you going to say?
What were you
for
saying?
like, and then you stopped saying.
No, I didn't say it.
You're talking about them being good?
Who?
The Ravens.
No, I was talking about Dobbins running.
He's got a crazy limp.
Yeah, but
He's
still
at
ran
like
for-
70%. He got 140 or
Yeah,
something.
last week he had like 14 rushes for 130 yards.
And he had like a 70-yard run where he couldn't even run.
Yeah.
He looked like he was 60% of the way through rehab. They'll have you like run to like work your knee back.
Yeah.
And the first couple times you either hit a ladder or whatever workout they're having you have a pretty distinct limp. That's what he looked like.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like he was still in the middle of rehab while he's pulling away from people. Can't wait for him to get healthy again. He's a dog. Give me the Ravens minus 6.5. Commanders traveling out to Santa Clara. Niners favored by 7. Taylor Heineke, Ron Rivera, Jeremy Reeves, Pro Bowl special teamer, Tress Way, Pro Bowl punter. West Coast trip. Who do you like?
I was thinking Washington early, but I still like the Niners, man. Niners defense. I like Brock Purdy as well and the rest of the weapons. So give me Niners minus 7.
Come on.
I like the Niners as well. Eagles, Cowboys. Game of the week. By far, the NFC East was once the shitter of the NFL. Now, it has the number 1 seed in the NFC and the Philadelphia Eagles who have to play Gardner Minshew.
Hell yeah.
Because Jalen Hurts, although he is a superpower, and although he does work harder than everybody else, not able to get back from a shoulder sprain injury that was suffered a week ago. How many games will he miss? We do not know. But in this NFC East clash, down there in Jerry World, he will be out. 4-point favorites are the Dallas Cowboys at home. How do you see it going, AJ Hawk?
You know what? I have faith in Gardner Minshew and the rest of this squad. So Eagles
Hell
plus
yeah.
4 on this one.
Boom.
Me too.
Death game.
Oh,
What are you eyeing, dude?
I thought you were gonna go Cowboys.
I just want to let you know, our entire office was on Gardner long before the show even started.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the rest of America has been on Gardner.
4 points. There's a lot of points
flipped
for that Eagles team. That Eagles team around Gardner.
Yeah, and he's very accurate.
That feels like a lock of the week almost.
Love the Eagles.
Sorry, I just said that, Eagles fans.
And Dallas
Should have kept that one in.
Dallas is sick. Trevon Diggs added to the injury report, illness, and Micah Parsons.
Does this look too obvious? Is like 100% of the money on the Eagles plus 4?
It is quite a bit. I could be
Oh no! What's the problem?
No, because
what's going on?
The line
What's the
came
deal?
back down. It
70%.
wasn't 5.
70% on Philly
I'm getting in right now.
because they think it's a good team.
Who?
Yeah,
they think Philly's a good team, and they
are.
think Gardner's good too.
No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 4, I feel like, is a lot. Don't you think? For that Eagles team, they're good everywhere.
Yeah, moved too high.
It was at 5.5.
Respect for Jalen.
Gardner.
They're talking about Dak not even being on the team anymore on all these fucking. Is he playing terrible? You're a big Cowboys fan. Is Dak playing terrible?
I mean, he just throws picks. Like it's just how he is. He's gonna throw a lot of touchdowns. He's gonna throw 1 or 2 interceptions. It is what it is. Just kind of deal with it.
Pretty significant bet just placed on that one. Had to do it. Had to do it. I don't even know. That seems too obvious to me. Raiders, Steelers, 2.5-point favorites at home are the Pittsburgh Steelers, as Acrisure will have Kurt Warner on the call. 8:15 p.m. Tone, anything we need to know about this game?
You do? It's the 50th anniversary. Steelers will be wearing the block uniforms to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. The end zones, I believe, will be painted like the 72 Steelers. It's also Franco's numbers getting retired after. Also, rest in peace to Franco. It's the players are talking about playing for Franco. It seems as if it should be a special night at Acrisure.
Pittsburgh Steelers are the most college-like. I think so. I think the most college-like NFL team when it comes to alumni being welcomed back and appreciated. They run it like a college camp. They still have the same blitzes that they used to call back in the 70s for the team. So if any old heads come back in the building, they can pick up in conversation with the young guys. It's promoted. There's only been a couple head coaches in its fucking history, so everybody keeps very touch. So normally when some places will say, we're playing for Franco, it's all bullshit because the kids on the team have no idea who Franco is. But in Pittsburgh, it's like a very tight-knit group of the Steelers community. It's smart. I like the Steelers minus 2.5. How do you feel about the Raiders coming into Acrisure, AJ Hawk?
I love everything about the Steelers, how they are, how they have that that brotherhood there with their former players. But I am going to take the Raiders here at plus 2.5.
Yeah, this one seems weird to me too. Just so everybody knows.
It's going to be very cold.
You think Big Ben will be there?
Yes.
Very cold.
Yeah. Big Ben will be there. Heath will be there. I assume.
Bossy.
Troy.
Brett will be there.
Terry.
Yeah, dude.
Like the G-Rod.
I don't know if Terry Bradshaw will be there.
Yeah.
Terry.
He was talking to he was on a podcast. It was a clip. I didn't see the whole thing. He was on a podcast recently. He's been doing.
Yeah, he's been doing the rounds. I've seen that as well on social media.
I wonder what for. Something has to be going on with Terry. I'll watch.
It might be for the
game.
For the 50th anniversary?
Could be.
Yeah, so he might be there. I guess he might be. He said I forget how it was phrased, most surprising thing of your career or something like that. What do you remember? He said he was like surprised that Pittsburgh didn't break him mentally there because I guess there was a couple years where, you know, Yinzers get pretty.
Oh, yeah. Believe me, I know.
Yinzers are
in New England.
Yeah, Yinzers are pretty.
I do worry about Devontae in this one, in that one.
Josh Jacobs, too. Is he playing or no?
Yeah, should be.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, a problem. Josh Jacobs is a problem. Now, Pittsburgh Steelers defense should be okay. Devontae is going to get open. He's going to get his catches. Will Derek Carr get him the rock? Darren Waller back too, right?
Yep.
And Renfro.
Renfro.
That's why Steelers being favored is so fascinating. And also with all that stuff, you have to pick them, I guess, feel like I do. I'll take Steelers minus 2.5. Christmas Day, we got the Packers and the Dolphins. Everything's still in play for the Packers. A couple other things have to take place, but they need to win out, and they are potentially in. Taking on the Dolphins, who've lost their last 3. Packers getting 3.5 in Miami. AJ Hawk, your pick.
I like Green Bay here. I think Green Bay gets out of the cold to head down to Miami. They feel really good in warm-ups. Like, oh, there's actually a place where the sun is out during the day, and we feel good. So give me Packers plus 3.5.
Yeah, the joints are going to feel better for them. I think this is one of those games because it's so cold. Like the heat can take Florida teams can take advantage of the heat against northern teams. When they come down, it's like 110, humid, thick. Guys can't handle it. You can't train for it. You can't prepare for it. But in this particular situation, I don't think it's going to be 110. And also, guys are very pumped to get out of -9-degree weather. It's almost like
when they get off when you get off that plane, when you start walk off the plane on the steps, you're like, oh, this is unbelievable. I forgot this existed.
And it's this late in the season. A lot of guys are sore. The heat is naturally going to make those things kind of feel a little bit better. I think this actually helps the Packers going down in the middle of this particular time. And they have everything ahead of them, and they've looked their absolute best as of late. Give me the Packers plus 3.5. Broncos, Rams. Richard Sherman was gifted a little doll last night that whenever you pressed it, it said Bronco Country. Let's ride. They ride into Los Angeles with Baker Mayfield's led Rams being 3-point dogs at home. AJ, who do you like?
I have not picked the Broncos yet this year, I don't think, and I'm not going to start now. So give me the Rams plus 3.
Me neither. How about that? That's how we're viewing the Broncos. And who knows if we're right or if we're wrong, but that's how we feel. We apologize to the Broncos faithful, who are a great fan base, and their new ownership, which is the richest in the league. Last game, Christmas night. Everybody's naps have ended. After the morning spoils and riches and the food hits and a nap hits, you wake up and you shut down Christmas night with old Tom Brady taking on the dysfunctional Arizona Cardinals. AJ, the Bucs are favored by 8. The Bucs have not looked like a team that should be favored by 8 against anybody, college or NFL, this season. And here we are, Week 16, Christmas night, 8-point favorites against a team that we thought was maybe going to go on a run this season. Who do you like?
First off, I love all these Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and Christmas night games. This is going to be awesome. I think it's a great idea by the NFL. And I will take the Tampa Bay Bucs at -8, even though I don't feel great about it. The game might be 10-3. I don't know. But I have to take the Bucs.
Too many stars on the Cards for them to lay an egg on Christmas night. In my eyes, give me the Cards plus 8. Here we go.
Huh?
Bucs win. Bucs win. Cards plus 8.
After that article.
Too much shit. Too much. Makes no sense. Too much shit.
But still, still D-Hop. Oh, Trace McSorley is starting, not Colt McCoy.
Okay, give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers -8. Yeah. No offense, Trace McSorley. I hope you do well. I hope we see a couple of those baseball swings like he had at Penn State.
Cool Sally.
He was electrifying to watch.
Oh, yeah.
He's been good, I think, with Baltimore.
Yeah, he was on Baltimore.
Now he's in Arizona. He's a great player. I think he's a good player, great player.
Yeah.
But I would have had much more faith in Colt McCoy running an offense that he's been like a coach of, as opposed to somebody that's new, taking on Tom Brady. All right, they win by 10, I think. I think they can win by 10.
Especially because they're actually they have something to play for.
All right, AJ. Hey, great work this week. Before we get out of here, let's try to do some more giveaways. I think we're going to have Mitt try to bury a putt.
Come on, Mitt.
Let's go, Mitt. Hey, Mitt, you've done fantastic up here on the stage today.
I'm not, Mitt.
Way to go, Mitt. Good day out of
you. Got a board? You do a kickflip or something?
No. We're not getting him back on a skateboard. He can finally walk good.
Yeah, come on. And even then, we're still pushing it with good.
Gotta get right back on the horse.
He walks good. I think he's. Hey, by the way, with the way your gait is, the way you're walking at this point, you've had to put in a lot of work in physical therapy and rehab. Congratulations.
Way to go, Mitt.
Because how terrible you looked just a couple weeks ago.
It was bad. I thought that he was going to have to go back and get another surgery.
AJ, I was going to have to fire him. I couldn't just stand looking at him just kind of drag his body through here. I'm like, how long is this going to happen for, And if it was going to be forever, it was not.
It's going to be tough.
He said it really changed when they started scraping him.
Yeah, the scar tissue is a nightmare. That's the worst part of it. You take a
you
metal
have the Graston?
Yeah. Okay, so if you make one of these putts, man, we'll give another 10 people.
Come on, Mitt.
$500 who retweet this video, say something nice to somebody in a reply because it is the holiday season, and also put their cash tag in there from Cash App so we can pay them efficiently. It's a holiday season. We've already done 2 giveaways earlier in the show.
Exactly.
This will be the 3rd right before we go on this Christmas Eve.
Hell yeah.
Come on, Mitt. Putt for some dough.
Mitt. Oh, it's in the hole.
Powers one by. Connor gets in his head early. Says hammer one Mitt. AJ, anything to say to Mitt? He can't hear you, but we can relay the message.
Well, he looks like he almost skimmed the hole in front of him going to the second hole.
He thinks where you're aligned is very dumb.
No, he's good. Whatever he thinks. I didn't say dumb.
Shoes look cool.
No, you kind of did. You said why?
No.
Oh, there it is. Curve in.
I tell you what,
Or
I
just a
like
little
that
to
Mitt
the
is
right.
not scared though. Mitt is going after it.
Same exact stroke right there. If he
Yeah.
turns that thing just a little bit to
Little
the right,
right.
it goes in.
Little right.
PMI Mitt, producer for
Yahtzee.
Hammer Down.
Same stroke. Just a little right.
Hey, you should move the ball this way a little bit, I think. Towards us.
Yeah, there it is.
There you go.
Now hit that same ball.
Because there's like a little ridge up there, I think. Mitt, being an athlete that he is, it just pulls that thing
There it is.
worse than ever.
Okay. You got this one. You got this one.
Move a little closer.
One
Go
out
in
of five.
between. Go in between the two holes.
Get like 2 feet away.
There you go. No, that's the spot right there. Tiger.
Ooh.
We
boy.
10 people will win $500 who retweet this video, say something nice to somebody, and put their cash tag in the same reply so we can pay you efficiently through Cash App. On his first try,
Unreal.
Mitt knocks home a putt.
Wow.
Congratulations, Mitt, for showing up in the big situation.
Attaboy, Mitt.
We appreciate you. We also appreciate all of you for another year here. And I know we'll be back next week, so we'll get to do the same exact speech. But Christmas every single year, the holiday season every single year, is certainly a time where you can reflect a little bit. We've been incredibly lucky that you all have allowed us to do this. We can't thank you so much. No, we can thank you so much. We can't thank you enough. Have the best holiday of all time. Merry Christmas. Happy everything else you have going on. And let's try to enjoy these days that we have because we have no idea how many we're going to live. AJ, you're the best. Good luck with the family this weekend. Boys, incredible work. All the boys that aren't here, we thank you. Billy in the back, coding this thing. You're the best, pal.
Boy, Bill.
Take care. We'll see you on Overreaction Monday, one day after Christmas. Can't wait to see how fat I am, how hungover some people are, how tired we are, and where we are as an NFL after a Week 16 NFL Sunday.
Hell yeah.
You are the best. Be nice to each other. Goodbye.